And we're off.
And people are actually commenting. What are they saying? Who is it? Check.
Let's see. Some dude named Matt. Hi, Matt. Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Jacqueline.
Huh?
Sierra.
Hi, Sierra. Hi, guys.
Sierra Masters. Is that the chick that?
Who?
Sierra Masters.
Oh.
She the one that?
Don't, dude. They can hear you.
Jamie? I don't know how this works.
He wasn't wearing the headset, so they can't hear him.
That's how it works, right?
No, they can hear the mic on that.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. Anyways, Game of Thrones, episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
8-1. Yes.
God damn it, Jerry. So we're gonna go into a segment today where we're gonna actually introduce ourselves, and we're gonna actually literally do that. Like,
As I was subtly pointing out when you just started jumping in without getting any information. Yes.
Yeah, so officially, the producer's name is Goddamn it, Jerry. That's who you are. Game of Thrones.
That would be me.
S8. Episode 1. What else? Golden State blowing a 31-point lead.
A
31 lead. Yes. Golden State blowing 3-1 lead again.
Sidebar to that, Steph Curry, after Tiger Woods won the Masters, posted on Twitter the greatest comeback in sports history. Needless to say, Twitter and the internet had something different to say.
You're like, dude. I think let's pretend that never happened.
As to give the axiom / trope / whatever of the modern day is the internet still undefeated.
The internet is always undefeated. Like, wait, dude, did you blow a 3-1 lead on LeBron?
The only 3-1 lead ever in
the
NBA
finals.
basketball playoffs.
And then also you beat a team that was up 3-1, and then their best player, superstar, joined your team in order to beat LeBron.
Yeah,
it took all of you to beat LeBron.
It never.
And then they barely did it.
And you were a 73 win team.
Yeah. Your 73 win team was like, hey guys, we're gonna add the second best player in the league to our team to defeat LeBron. That's why that whole GOAT thing got really bothered me, because hey guys, we need 4 future Hall of Famers to beat one player.
So the last 14 games of the playoffs for Golden State that year, they lost 7 games. And during the regular season, in 82 games, they lost 9.
Yeah. Talk about choke job. Anyways, so what else happened? We'll talk about the Shaw and Hobbs trailer. I like it.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, like I said last time, I'd rather have that movie come out than another Fast and Furious movie.
I think we'll get one more. Today?
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it.
I think we'll get one more Fast and Furious to wrap up, and then we'll have a plethora or a cornucopia or a assload of Hobbs and Shaw, because I think they're going to the two.
Well, they introduced his family, and now out of nowhere you have.
No. Let him watch, because it doesn't tilt it. It doesn't tip that in the first trailer. So because I was just wondering who this was, and then when I found that out, it's like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm so excited about this. Vanessa Kirby, who apparently played Margaret in The Crown, the first 2 seasons of The Crown.
But also she's in
Mission Impossible Fallout, playing the daughter of the Max character from the first Mission Impossible, of which that, I believe, is her great aunt in real life. Vanessa Kirby is
related to
not Richardson. Yeah, it's because Ralph Richardson was like the great grandfather, the first of the actors.
Hobbs and Shaw. We'll talk about that.
Oh yeah, this is the door scene.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it.
What, a lot of bad guys behind that one?
1 week to go before Endgame comes out.
Tiger Woods wins the Masters.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Tiger.
Of course, golf people are complaining, since it happened earlier in the day, the ratings weren't as big. The only reason the ratings would be big is because of Tiger Woods. The only reason that these golfers are making as much money as they're making is because of Tiger Woods.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, no, we're not going to give him any credit.
The replay of that Masters final round, of which everybody knows who the winner is, was the highest rating golf event outside of the morning when he won it.
Ash is here.
Holy shit, is Ash here?
Here.
We have a Hash sighting. Should I go grab
Well, not
him?
yet a sighting. Go ahead and see if you can actually see him.
Lightning show?
No. Well, that show's actually pretty good. I liked it.
He's not.
Is that show even still on TV?
Yes, it's on. Well, it's on the CW.
No, is it still on TV?
Yes.
Actually, The Flash has been really good this season. Have you watched that at all?
No. They're so interconnected. I didn't watch Green Arrow, and I watched the first couple of episodes of The Flash, and I liked it a lot. It's just when shows are currently on, there's a finite number that I'll watch as they air.
No,
I found that number's about 4 or 5, and it's outside of that.
Well, my thing with them is they've been like interconnecting all the shows for some episodes, and I only watched The Flash. I stopped watching Green Arrow, and what's the other one that they do? Well, they do Supergirl now,
and Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow.
They haven't connected Black Lightning yet, I don't believe.
Oh, but no, they also but Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow. Actually, Supergirl's attached too, but it's a different.
He said, different universe in the. I know. Is it not? This is the best thing ever. Have they reached to the Polynesian islands yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is the helicopter? Is this part?
The helicopter's connected to the 4 cars, and they pull it down.
And then Rock pulling the Captain America scene.
Yeah.
The Rock's gonna be playing Black Adam. Huh?
Yes, I'm pretty.
That'd be pretty cool.
You can do that.
That's what I figured. I'm just gonna.
You wanna? What, you want to watch Wallace and Hobbs?
No.
Wallace and Hobbs?
No.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Where are my pants?
The trailer.
That's what they look like outside of Clay.
I heard that trailer dropped.
I was just thinking of
good old Dwayne.
Wallace and Gromit. Like,
how about Dwayne
Wallace and
Johnson
Hobbs.
2020? Let's
wear
get
my
it.
trousers.
If we're gonna have any sort of entertainer in office, might as well be a good one. So
we'll talk about NBA playoffs a little bit. Also, I'm thinking that we should actually
making Vanessa Kirby a Shaw sister is the greatest thing ever on this, because now it's like what's going to be who are they going to add on as the team expands? Well, now Vanessa Kirby's going to
I know. I like where they're going with that.
I know they can still bring in.
No, they're not, because The Rock and Vin.
No, I'm not talking about Vin. I'm talking about
hate each other.
No, I'm talking about
Oh yeah, didn't they have like a bad fight scene or something like that in it?
No. I was talking about they bring in
Oh, he's still in Luke
Shaw,
Evans.
Yeah, Luke Evans. Shaw's brother.
Yes.
Luke Evans, who really I like him a lot.
He's a fantastically underrated
He
actor.
really is.
Yeah.
He has a lot of range.
I like him in that really shitty Dracula movie he was in.
Dracula Untold?
Yeah, that was not a bad movie.
He was in Immortals. He played Zeus. He was pretty good in that. He was one of the only things I liked in the Hobbit movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he was Bronn. He was Bronn the Bard.
Yeah.
As we confabulate our Game of Thrones and Hobbit continuous, because he was the guy who shot the arrow.
Yep. Good movie. Well, now wait, we have more people talking. What we got going on here now?
Hey, you people.
Hi, people. Who's watching? We have an audience. Oh my god, I can't believe people actually watch this shit.
No, there's an audience. Wait, people watch this?
Yeah, look, we're live.
I thought this was a podcast. You just hear.
Well, no, I broadcast it live on Facebook every now and then.
Well, he airs it live.
You've been making fun of me for 3 live episodes. Like, I should have just kept not coming.
Those are just the ones we've done in the studio.
Oh, great.
You were going to become the Matt Damon of the show.
Sorry, we don't have enough time for that.
Sorry, we don't have enough time for hash.
All right, I'm out.
One day we'd finally have you come downstairs and like, well, we're done recording. Like, sorry, you can't come.
Sorry.
I just feel like they're gonna run out of ideas at some point.
How can they run out of ideas? Absolutely not. I mean,
well, no, I'm going to treat these movies like a Bond film, like what Bond film can do now, doesn't do anymore.
The Roger Moore.
Yeah, just absolute lunacy. I love lunacy.
It's not even gotten crazy yet.
Yeah, I love lunacy.
Yeah, you like actually how ridiculous they are.
Yeah, I don't like
because you don't like the new Bond movies, right?
No, I don't like the new Bond movies.
Who doesn't like the new Bond movies?
See, these
like
Fast and the Furious movies,
Casino Royale and Skyfall.
These Fast and the Furious movies are as if the closest to actually what a comic book can be made into a movie. Because it's like, let's go do the most ridiculous and crazy thing possible that you can only draw a picture of.
Well,
no,
the thing is
we'll do it. We'll do it in real life.
The thing is they actually do their stunts. All their stunts are actually practical effects.
No, yeah, I saw the thing. They actually dropped the cars out of the plane.
Yeah, all that shit's practical effects. So like everyone's like, that shit's not real. Like, no, they really did do all that shit.
I mean, Paul Walker didn't run off the edge of the 18-wheeler, but they did dump the 18-wheeler off.
Not in the movie. He didn't.
Wow, you gotta be fucking shit.
Oh no, it's not even close to as crazy as it gets.
It gets more ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. That was my favorite part of the trailer.
No, wait, no. The best thing is everyone comes out unscathed. Like,
they're dirty.
All the
They're
metal
dirty.
flying, all the shrapnel, just everyone flying everywhere.
They got
no
dirty
broken bones, just this little cut on their face.
There isn't enough emphasis on like how people take showers in movies to wipe off all that stuff.
Yeah,
there could be so many like Dove or Old Spice.
Definitely not practical body.
That was one of the in-series jokes to Due South. It was the Mountie who came down following on the trail of his father's killers. Is whenever they would go chasing and running after everything, his Chicago cop partner would come up disheveled, dirty, things ripped, and he'd pop up just like a ready for the line of perfect everything in the right place, and his hat right on top of his head.
Well, I wonder if people that run insurance companies just like look at it and be like, oh, well, I'm raising stuntman insurance for like
actuaries are like, come bring it on over.
Yeah,
no,
they're actually always wanted in Hollywood. Stuntmen, like there's never a shortage of them. Like, hey, you want to jump out of the building? Yeah, we'll pay you, no problem.
Yeah, but that's not the best thing to hear. Like, there's always a job available for you to jump out of a plane. What happened to the first 10 guys?
Fantastic. Think about that for a moment. Like, dude, junkies, adrenaline junkies, they can always have work.
That's true. Yeah.
Just think about that. There's always a few that die every year. Like the chick that died making Deadpool 2.
But what Karl was talking about is that's why motorcycle insurance in the state of South Carolina is less than motorcycle insurance in the state of North Carolina.
Because they kill themselves off.
Because there's no helmet laws.
There's no helmet laws in South Carolina.
So in South Carolina, if you're a wreck on a motorcycle, your likelihood of surviving is less.
That's why
there's no long-term insurance.
We don't have to pay anybody.
No long-term insurance costs.
And if anyone's noticed 77 nowadays, you can't go more than 30 miles per hour on it, so you're fine.
Well, that is in North Carolina because it's only 2 and a half
so
lanes.
it's super safe.
I got 8 lanes going southbound.
All right, NBA playoffs. We're trying to get a list. Anything you'd like to discuss, Hash, today?
Actually, no, I don't really want to bring it up.
Hobbs and Shaw.
What? The Mueller Report?
Yeah.
You
guys,
we already had that.
I actually had the Mueller Report. Billy Barr lowering the bar.
Lowering the bar.
Jezebel's headline. Jezebel's headline. The Mueller Report shows.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Donald Trump Jr. was too dumb to take part in any collusion. That was their headline.
Well, wait. We're gonna have to say you're too stupid so we can get away with this. Sure, go for it.
Listen, what rube can we pick to actually manipulate this government?
I read the excerpts in that, and based on what it was, and this is my belief on almost every large conspiracy, is that people are too dumb or incapable of keeping that a secret. Everybody knows somebody. There are only 2 people ever knew anything, and immediately everybody knows. We're talking about hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And if people are that smart, they don't need that many people to be involved with it. They can just do it. And that was the thing, is like, he just had a meeting. He's like, oh yeah, we'll do all this. And they're like throwing out illusions and things. And he didn't take any of them because he didn't understand what was actually happening. And then the year later is when they try and hide the contents of the meeting, because then it's like, oh, she was hitting on me. I should have said yes.
I mean, grab her right by the pussy.
And so he was wrong. And then it's like, oh, now I need to hide this because now it might look bad. Whereby him trying to hide something bad where he didn't understand actually made him look worse.
I'm gonna do this.
Well, wasn't his like one of his first plays early on when they were talking about all this? Wasn't it to like say, hey, Trump Jr. Went over to Russia a couple times? Yeah.
It's like, no, we have international relations. It's like we are connected with all these
business. The power of the dollar. It's got to go everywhere.
When anybody backs up the money truck, everybody waves it on in.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's our Mueller Report talk. Done. Check. Like, okay, perfect. No more discussion
Moving
on that.
Right along.
Redacted.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, how do you, we need a little beep sensor thing, like.
Yeah, you have to like hit a button so we can just move on.
Actually, we kind of need
make a noise.
We need a.
Yeah, we don't have like one of those.
Look at me at this. These are all the things I've been telling him and how.
Oh, you don't have any audio bits?
His show
audio bits.
Yeah, like little sound clips. You know, like
like Mad Money does.
None of those.
Like Drive Time Radio.
What kind of professional podcast is this, ladies and gentlemen? Whoever's listening to this.
You want me to download a soundboard on my phone?
It could be anything, bro. Do something creative. Come on, like Arnold. One of those.
I could just keep doing like French ambulance noises.
We do prank calls at one
Hash
point?
finally shows up and he's telling us how to do this.
I'm just saying. I mean, don't sound so boring while you're doing it, is the problem.
No, we're not boring at all. I mean, we have.
As you whisper into the microphone.
He's trying to get those ASMR people off.
Yeah.
This is the Quiet Hour.
Is that what that is?
This is Quiet Hour with John Simon. Simon Says Quiet Hour.
What's the next subject you have written down on that fancy notepad of yours?
Your favorite lullabies.
Yeah, we're going to lull you to sleep with my voice. Soothing.
I was completely unaware that the Barney theme song and This Old Man were the same thing.
Oh, shit. Really?
Whoa, they were.
It's
like Twinkle Twinkle and the ABCs being the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was like out of high
This
school.
many year old.
Yeah.
This many days year old.
Like after high
I
school.
bet some Drake songs go on top of that beat, too.
All right, so anything you'd like to discuss, Carl, other than your Swin and Small Stuff segment?
Well, I was having an argument the other day about voting. Yeah. And, my position on voting for the president is that you shouldn't vote for the president.
Go on.
Well, in terms like your vote actually... Yeah, no, this is the reason why, because your vote actually doesn't count.
It never did.
It never does. And so, for me, I think it's just like, at this point, the reason you vote is so people can sign you up for newsletters and for jury duty.
First off, the saying your vote never votes is you as an individual, yes. But the problem is 10,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 people also believe that, and that's when they become stupid.
Yeah.
Because 100,000 people do vote, but if you selfishly think that your vote doesn't count, then it ends up actually counting.
But in terms of the president,
I do want to ask though,
no,
Jared,
still for that.
How about the 3 million votes difference in popular vote between Trump and Hillary Clinton? What do you tell those people that pretty much did vote and they confidently voted, thinking that, hey, we're not going to change history?
Where are the 40% of registered voters that didn't show up at all? That's what I tell them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like where you want to point the blame. But we're asking if our vote carries weight.
Your vote does carry. Your vote does carry weight. No, it does carry weight. It carries weight because, again, the game has never changed. The way that voting is done hasn't changed since they changed the way that senators have been elected. You are voting for your state's representatives to change it. Guess what your state can also do? Guess what your state can also do? Because a couple of states do this. And what they should be done is the other thing is Nebraska, and I think there's one other one that they switch. They are their electoral votes are broken down by percentage based on the percentage of the population with the vote, where the other 48 states are it's a all or nothing. Whoever wins it, whether it's by 1 vote or by 8 million votes, and possibly in California, all the electoral votes are like that. Each individual state gets to choose how those things are allocated. So you, as a representative of North Carolina, if you want your vote to count, why don't you get more people to show up and force your state house to change your rules to be representative? Oh, because you don't care. When's the last time you voted?
Last election.
Okay.
I was there.
And you're advocating that your vote doesn't count? Which part of the hypocritical argument do you want to stand on?
Wait. Here's my thing with that, though, is in the Electoral College, though, some states, you have to vote for your party.
No.
Or you get fined.
No. Well, yes.
Yeah, you get fined.
But the other thing is it's different. The electoral the states,
there's money involved.
Yeah, but still, if you chose not to and you voted the other person, like there wouldn't be a GoFundMe page open up before you're even sentenced to the fine to have that.
Well, that's true, but they're saying
but the electoral voters are not an individual set. They are chosen by the party.
Yeah, exactly.
That wins the election within their state. But even in that, they can't force them by law to vote for. They can find them internally with the party, but that can't be enforced by state law necessarily because that becomes something different.
Isn't that a conflict? Though?
No, the Electoral College was put in place specifically for this last presidential election, in that if the people that are electing the president is like, maybe this person doesn't have the qualifications, maybe this person shouldn't be president, and they have the opportunity in that vote in December to say, no, we're going to vote for the other candidate. Now, the other thing is the presidential elections, the last 1, 2, 3 two-term presidents, they've all been line jumpers in when is it their turn to run for election. Bill Clinton in the 88 Democratic Convention was known for having a 40-minute keynote speech where it's like, who's this boring person who's yapping all this time and taking everything else? And it wasn't his turn to run. Boom, 92, he runs, he gets in 2 terms. In 2000, for the Republican side, it wasn't supposed to be HW. He said, I'm just going to run. And he goes, and he gets 2 terms.
Yeah.
Now, President Obama in the 2004 election was the keynote speaker. It wasn't his turn. It was somebody else. It was Senator Clinton. And guess what happened? He beat her. he wins 2 elections because he jumped the line.
And
then the Democrats fell back into it's her term, where the people in her party already said they don't want her.
I want to rewind time hardcore for a moment because you're definitely going to remember this. What about when Al Gore lost to HW
in 2000?
How about those votes and that recount in Florida where it just so happened that the governor happened to be the brother of the candidate.
And not just that, but also
there's a lot of
except
there.
that it was a federal situation.
It was, the federal judge didn't allow them to finish the recount.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what happened to him? What happened to that guy? Who's now in the Supreme Court?
See, it's all about.
I'm not saying there's not connections. I'm not saying there's all of that stuff.
Been that. It's that old time.
But you can take it out of their hands by how many people showed up as first time voters in the 2008 election. Where were they in 2016?
Probably
not voting.
Maybe they weren't old enough.
In the United States, there are more middle-of-the-road left-leaning voters than there are middle-of-the-road right-leaning voters. But the middle-of-the-road right-leaning voters always show up to vote.
How will you feel fast forward to 2020 election, and it's probably going to be a record amount of young voters?
We hope.
It's gonna. If there's people winning Nobel Peace Prizes at 16 for. What did she do?
What happened to Malia?
The greenhouse. Well, not
the
just
Malalia.
The one with the trash?
No, something about the greenhouse.
Oh, no, the other one.
Education. She was for women's rights and education. I know that one. The other one, the German, Austrian. She did something.
That's a big difference to make when talking about Germans.
I'm just saying it's going to be disheartening to see if in 2020 all the young voters come out, they change their state elected.
Okay, so
their state elected officials, and then their state elected officials drop
Democratic
the ball,
Party
happens all the time.
The Democratic Party did it to himself in 2016 with the superdelegates that were already pledged to Secretary Clinton, because at this point she was like, well, it's Secretary
somebody
Clinton,
magically died from a rivalry.
And what happened? The young people showed up. Bernie Sanders got them all excited and invited. They were showing up. They were coming to polls. He was polling very close, winning things. But the superdelegates kept him from the opportunity of winning. Again, the reason that Al Gore didn't win is the other thing that you don't do that because is the other thing that happens is that you get people that you want to vote for as opposed to people you're voting against. And the 2000 election.
That's like a double-edged sword there, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's like it's President Obama. The people voted for him because they wanted to vote for him. People voted for HW because they wanted to vote for him. Al Gore was like, well, here's the other guy. It's like he wasn't an inspiring candidate. Yes, he was the vice president for a 2-term successful president that people didn't care about.
He was super serial.
Technically, you're the next in line if that's the case, right?
Well,
in history, most of the time, vice presidents have been elected.
But why didn't Joe Biden run? Because he would have been much more liked.
I don't know if he wants to. I think I don't know if he has.
He missed his opportunity. The Me Too hashtag Me Too is going to take him out.
It's going to take him out. But honestly, I mean. In all realisticness, I think politics is always going to be controlled by an invisible hand. No matter how much we up cause, there's always going to be something that magically distracts us from what's actually happening. And then we just...
I disagree entirely.
Because we're all like a bunch of goldfish nowadays.
Well, I agree with that.
But
the thing is like everybody showed up in 2012. And in 2008. 2010, they didn't. The House and the Senate get closer and they turn around. In that 2 years, the Democrats could have done anything they wanted. They could have rammed through health care and it could have already been working. And everybody said, oh, no, this is great. We're not going to do anything. But instead, everybody was too worried about maintaining election. They pass a softer version of health care. And what happened? Every single freshman congressman got voted out anyway. They should have used that opportunity to actually make a change. But instead, too many people are waiting for the opportunity to maintain election rather than actually do the one thing. And that's on both parties, on both sides. But the other thing is, everybody showed up in 2008, and much like everybody in their day-to-day life, it's like, oh, I walked 3 miles today. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. No, you got to walk 3 miles tomorrow and the next day. Every single election, if those people that showed up for the midterms and their local elections and everything else, it would have changed.
I completely agree.
But they don't. But who does show up? The 50-plus conservatives, and guess where the elections always come back to? Because people don't show up for the primaries or the local.
I'm only talking about the presidency alone. The local stuff is your chance to change things.
That is
the presidency is what my issue was, because I always get flack from my parents, grandparents, friends, and all that I don't go vote for the president, and that's been my bone of contention because don't need to.
Well, and up until the late 90s, early 2000s, you shouldn't really have to. It shouldn't make that big of a difference because that person is the face. The president is supposed to be the face to the world of what the United States is, and then the Senate, Congress, and your state house and local elections are actually what run the country.
Yeah.
But then in the late 90s and early 2000s, everything started to change, and then more hands-on, and then it's continued to go through that, and then that's what's kind of tilting the country to what the checks and balances aren't working the way that they should.
Yeah.
But if everybody showed up in the same number, God, I hope so. I mean, I was the first person I ever voted for was Paul Tsongas in a South Carolina Democratic primary in '88 in '88 because I would have had the opportunity. No, that was '92 and '92 for a presidential election because in South Carolina they're not party specific. It's open primaries. You can vote and won, so you can. I kind of knew who was going to be on the Republican side and said, "Oh, I got a voice on the Democratic side. I'll vote for one of the candidates there." And then come back for whatever needs to happen.
I mean, really, at the base of it, though, the two-party system is flawed.
Well,
it was never supposed to be a two-party system.
No,
it's no parties.
No parties, exactly. Yeah. And that's actually where probably shit just got all kinds of murky.
Because that's why the Electoral College is in place. It's for a multi-party system.
Yeah.
Because the times that the first 3 times that it was used to determine the presidency is when there were 3 people were there and nobody had a majority. And I think it was John
Adams.
Well, the Jefferson over Burr was the first time it was a direct head-to-head. John Quincy Adams was the 3-headed race, and I don't think he didn't have the popular vote, and he might not even have the majority electoral votes because Andrew Jackson and I don't think Monroe ran again, but there were 3 people, and he ended up being in. He was a 1-term, and then Jackson came in immediately after.
Well, then doesn't it go to the Senate if
that was at the time? Yes.
Yeah.
But that would be an awesome thing to see if it was abolished to be clean slate.
Well, the thing is, like the federal law could also say that the Electoral College votes are broken down as a percentage thing because then it's
that would be good.
If the Electoral College is completely abolished. And it's like, oh, that'd be great and everything because basically you hate people that disagree with you. That's the ultimate thing.
That's the foundation of all that.
Because then the liberal Democrats, it's like I'm campaigning in California, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New York,
and
Ohio.
That's why they call them battleground states because the ones that they don't frequent often. They don't.
But the thing is, they would not even pretend to show up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Or the Southeast because it's like it doesn't matter at all.
That's why those states, Ohio or like Indiana, like those are those last 2-3 states that they're fighting over.
Yeah, it can swing the election.
The irony though is like I think the big thing though is if it is a proportional because that's the thing is like California actually and Texas and Florida become much more important because now it's not that you win like Republicans going to win Texas, Democrats going to win California, and you get 54 votes or you get 40-something votes. No, now you're only getting now it's like how big of the population because if you only win it by like 51%, that's not as big of a deal winning California as before because now those votes all do count.
Exactly,
which is why Democrats won't be in favor of that because their advantages in New York and California could be lessened.
Yeah, well, I think at that point it would fall on the individual to vote. It actually if Would it force more Democrats? Would it force more left-leaning Democrats to show up in the Midwest and the Southeast?
I don't think it would matter
because if they show, if you lose South Carolina by 60 to 38 or whatever, but now if you show up and you get more people to show up and because people won't vote in South Carolina or in California of the opposite party because they know that the Electoral College, but now it does go and it goes to total. Maybe people might show up a little more.
Maybe a little bit more. But, I mean, if those people don't have any interest in voting, I doubt they have any interest in... They're
not showing up and all of a sudden.
Yeah, they have interest in actually the system that it takes. So,
well, it's not... And again, I understand why, but the Electoral College is not the issue. It's the way that we handle our politics as a whole.
Yeah.
The Electoral College is the safeguard. We've just chosen to eliminate the safeguard by how we elect electoral voters and also in the way that we go about campaigning.
Oh yeah, my biggest bone of contention is that I get like pretty much scarlet lettered for not voting.
Well, I mean, you're not voting; you're just not voting for president.
Not voting for president.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're showing up for the things that actually affect you from a day to day. Yeah. I got no beef with that.
Yeah.
But I do have an utter and complete disgust and disregard for straight party voting. Yeah. If you can't take the time to go through and individually choose it, because on occasion it's possible a person from the other party could be better suited. Yeah. Because it's regardless of the party situation, if somebody moves into a neighborhood, a town, or state that's only been there for 2 or 3 years, and somebody grew up there, just the nature of knowing where you're from is a benefit to governing of those people. Whether they use that.
It's not easy, though, to find policies based on certain representatives of states. They don't always make it easy or clear on what it is they want to do to benefit the public. It's always like very generalized, and there's not many details, and it's more storytelling, like your boy Pete Buttigieg is doing. It's not.
I always thought it'd be a cool idea if they got sworn in to what they were going to do. Like, if they had to actually write it, what they were going to do, sign on a piece of paper. These are the ones
accountable.
Well, the voters could ask for that, but they don't. We don't.
No, we don't.
And also, some states don't care.
We just kind of lay down and take it.
The state of New York doesn't require you to be a resident of the state to be eligible for office until the day of election.
Correct.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
So First Lady Clinton moved into New York like 2 weeks before the election to become Senator Clinton, which is crazy.
Yeah, I actually am totally against that. I don't believe a senator or a representative of a state should be from anywhere but that fucking state.
Well, some places,
they should be homegrown and bred in that state so that they actually understand what is happening in the state. Not like you said,
others have like a 2-year or 5-year or 10-year residency. There's other states. It's like no, it matters to them.
Yeah, of course.
Other bigger states is like don't care.
But then I
can't really fix the problems if you don't know what the problems are yet.
Or have an emotional connection to the people of who you're representing.
Yeah, completely.
But the Rockefellers, they don't care. They came out of New York, and at one point there were senators representing New York.
Why would they ever care? Rockefellers,
West Virginia, and Arkansas.
The Morgans,
the richest people.
Rothschilds, none of them care about anybody except for themselves.
Rockefellers had the Republican Rockefellers and they had the Democratic Rockefellers.
Mm-hmm. That's why they don't care about anybody.
Well, the funny thing is, like, they both had the exact same beliefs. The parties just changed from the time that they started, and some of them said, "Oh, wait, I'll just keep the name and still do the same thing." No, now the other party's doing the other thing, so I'll change.
Well, God help us all when that election comes. We'll see what happens.
Whose podcast is this, by the way?
Yeah, I know. I've been wondering.
I'm not sure. I forgot his name, first and last.
What are you doing?
Starts with a J, ends with an N.
Have we gotten more people? Hello, new people.
Yeah, there's actually.
Are there new people? How many people?
A few people.
Oh, that's really cool.
Watch right quick.
Are there people really watching? I don't believe it.
Bananas are high in potassium.
I don't believe it. Are there people really watching?
There were, not anymore. You can normally see an eyeball there.
The one day I did one person.
Oh, is that just them liking it?
That is not a camera that you have to worry about for that.
I think we're the ones watching it.
Like if you don't want to be, on screen, you can be next to Hash.
No, it's okay. I give a shit.
She's going to eat a banana on the internet. She doesn't care.
We're starting.
You have to make direct camera eye contact when you're eating the banana.
Look at the camera right there. Look at it.
Boy, have you guys ever seen the 3 steps of as a guy how you have to eat a banana? You can't eat it like that.
Sideways, right?
Yeah.
You have to say no homo before you eat it.
That's step number 1. Then number 2 is you can't peel the banana. You have to eat right through it.
Just like
you can't and while not making direct eye contact with anything.
So you have to scan your surroundings.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and discuss sports after we get away from pop culture and all that stuff.
We're good.
I don't think most of these.
I know nothing about sports.
Oh, what are you talking about? I just watched fucking Tiger win the Masters.
Well, no. I'm talking
is that sports or just pop culture and everybody likes Tiger Woods?
14-1 odds,
Did you?
Dog, trust me, I was watching.
Was it $85,000? There's an $85,000 bet that paid off like 1.13.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, 1 point something. Over $1 million pretty much for 85,000. But he also had over $600,000 floating on the Masters. So he's like a professional gambler. He knew what the fuck he was doing.
Right, well.
So Phil Mickelson is finally admitting that he votes on Tiger.
Oh man, he didn't even play. It felt bad for the guy.
So it was him then. Since there's
never know.
Shaving strokes.
He could have been in cahoots.
So Hash, do you watch Thrones at all?
I do not. I am a virgin.
You're one of the. Oh,
This is cool.
Straight virgin.
Oh my
well,
God.
this segment's gonna be.
Actually, I'm
completely
lying.
not
I
for
watched
you.
the first episode like 4 times because it was tough.
Okay,
And all I remember,
Are you?
all I
It's only
remember,
3 a.m. and you're
all I
high as shit or
remember is
drunk.
this parkour kid getting thrown off a tower for watching incest. That's all I remember. So it must have not made.
You know
it
what's
must have
weird?
not made
Really
like
isn't this
a.
much in between.
Yeah,
that,
no,
right?
no. To
Yeah,
be
no.
fair, no, you've circled. This is circled back because if you've watched the first episode, you've just watched the most recent episode, basically. Just fast forward a little bit in time.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah, except for dragons.
So they
They
like.
parallels
Yeah.
each other.
It's pretty much that.
The first episode of season 8.
Damn.
first
So they're
episode,
doing
they
full
parallels.
circle type
This-
flashbacks.
This,
Okay.
well, no, this
okay.
episode, the episode we just saw, ended with the guy who pushed out the kid locking eyes, and it went to black.
Dude, so I should start
Yo,
watching.
bro, he's like, yo, bro, I'm gonna need a push.
Like, can you lend a hand?
Yeah, can you lend a hand?
Honestly, though, I did feel like some heartbreak when I saw the
So
kid
wait,
fall.
should I go ahead and
I
have
was like,
Hash
damn.
watch? Because we're probably going to talk about.
Well, we can't have him watch the
A
whole.
whole
No.
hour? I mean, I can
No,
leave,
no,
bro.
no.
Just
I can
quick
have
as
a-
I came, I can leave.
Oh, like the recap.
I'm gonna have him watch the 52-minute recap.
52
There
seconds.
was a
52-minute
15-minute
recap is the
I got
episode.
headphones if you want to catch up real quick.
a whole
and
hour.
You
No,
know,
no,
about, like, a YouTube clip that's like,
no,
you know,
I can't.
all
I
of
can't
the
ruin it
seasons
for
of
myself
it.
like
That-
that.
that
I gotta
bringing-
really
Well,
invest
the-
the 73 hours
It's
and
like
some
8
change.
hours
I'm gonna
into
have
it.
to.
Well, 73.
So yeah,
Let's
Hash,
just call it 80 because
just-
I'm gonna fall asleep.
just
in
to let you
between.
know, spoilers and.
I mean, can you just save that for last and then I can
he's not
bounce?
gonna understand the context of it.
No, at this
Really
point it's your fault. It's been like 7 years,
Oh, come on.
That's been 7 years.
7
Come on.
years.
8 years.
It's
Because
like if you
nothing
had
was last
somebody
year.
It's all your
forgiving
fault
you.
that you haven't watched at this point.
I guess it is, but I mean,
Bruce Willis was a ghost the whole time.
This is like getting mad at somebody for talking about Breaking Bad, like
Right.
because you haven't seen it, but
actually,
it's been over for
Breaking
years.
Bad. I haven't seen all of it either.
I
stopped through these seasons like 4.
I watched the
I
pilot
watched-
and last episode. And that's all
Why are
I've
you
seen.
shocked? For
Yeah.
as much as I move around,
Oh, no,
why
no.
are you so shocked? Like
I couldn't get into that show.
Mad Men? No, I'm like an epic.
Back when
Like
women knew
maybe.
their place. Yeah.
a
And we
season.
just
I
lost
felt
half
like
our
Mad Men
audience.
didn't have a lot of
I'm
advertisement.
joking, Jerry.
I've
I
taken a
would
set
totally
tour of
John
Mad Men.
Hamm, like,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Wait, really?
Invited by Matt Weiner.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Oh. Once again, Jerry being Jerry.
I'm waiting for Jerry's bazingas.
All right. So anyway, so Thrones Talk episode season
465.
8, episode 1. No, it's it'd be
The baby
episode
68.
Yeah, episode 68. So what'd y'all think?
So wait, you just
I mean,
skip?
just seriously.
Do we skip sports just like that?
Well, no,
Just
we're
talked
gonna
about.
last.
It's because I have 0 things to
And
contribute
call
to
it,
sports.
these two have zero to contribute to sports, right? But,
So
If
this
we-
is like
if we
them
jump-
talking about shit.
we've been doing-
That's fine. You
The
can talk.
biggest thing I
don't
can
care.
contribute is I'm happy for Tiger. That's the only thing I can say.
Fair enough.
That's all I know about
It
sports.
wasn't a swing and a
No.
miss.
It was, yeah.
Talk about game. That's fine. Go for it. I'm not gonna understand anyway.
I enjoy how many white rich people all of a sudden like a black guy playing golf.
Well, they did.
Golf
and
is
then they
back,
did it,
baby.
and then they did it.
Golf is back.
He's a bit Asian, isn't he?
Well, Kablasian.
He's yeah.
Blasian. He's
It
Blasian.
makes him sound like a form of a blister than a human being.
Right.
For a few months he was
So
kind of.
recap. Anyways, go ahead. No, enough Tiger.
All right.
Let's recap. What was your favorite moment of that first episode?
Braun
so
or
many.
no Bran. That's all.
Being the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Brain just being the comedic relief, deadpanning everything.
Yeah.
Like just dry wit.
Yeah.
Isn't that bread?
They had about 2 or 3 intentionally laugh out loud moments, which you can tell. This goes back to what we were speaking about previously,
With the writing.
with the producers being fantastic producers, but not necessarily really good storytellers.
Storytellers, yeah.
Because
No
when
wonder I
they
fall
asked
asleep.
when they asked like Lord Umber, and then he leans forward, it's like it was legitimately funny because you forgot. Oh yeah, he's a kid. Ned's a little kid.
Yeah.
And
Well, when she's like, "So what do dragons eat?" Anything?
well, actually, that was
Mic
actually
drop.
it was that, but that was like the only one that was like close to legitimate because that was like Daenerys knew that Sansa was trying to assert herself, and it's like, oh, you just walked into the
Yeah.
dumbest thing you could possibly ever say.
Oh yeah, no, I thoroughly
There's
enjoyed
dragons
when
in
they
this
meet for the
show?
first time, and you just see this like dagger
I'm
eyes
totally
thing
fucking
go
with you,
on
I know.
between them, the feigned niceness of Daenerys, but politeness also. But then you get this like dagger eyes from Sansa.
Ooh, they hated each other.
And then all of a sudden, Danny's giving dagger eyes to him, like, ooh, bitch.
Can I
cat
ask a
fight,
random
cat
And then
question?
fight.
Daenerys is like the CGI
So,
budget.
so as I'm referencing the scene, hold on. This is Leslie Jones's Twitter from Saturday Night Live.
Here we go.
And 2 full-grown dragons. What do dragons eat? Anyway?
Here we go.
Whatever they want.
Whatever the fuck they want.
Like, oh shit, they eat whatever they want.
Which is legitimately how I felt at that scene. But the Umber scene, and again I laughed at the moment, but it doesn't fit the show when Ed and Tormund and Beric all come into each other, and he's like, he's got blue eyes. I've always had blue eyes.
That was a great moment.
That was actually a great moment.
It was funny, but it doesn't fit the way that they've told that story or anything.
And then what comes after with the symbol. And
George R. R. Martin does not have a sense of humor.
Well, he does, but not that way. No, his situation is humor dark.
His sense of humor is the Red Wedding. What are we talking about?
That's what his sense of humor is.
Slash.
Not just Benny Hill, like, I have blue eyes, I've always had it. Like,
But going back continue. I got to think about what my favorite.
My favorite moment in the entire episode was when the dragon looked at Jon
again
as he's making out.
But
with
no.
Danny.
It wasn't a. I don't think that dragon was like actually looking at him like, oh. Dude,
the way that was cut. No, the way they cut it was
like,
intended
dude,
like that.
It was like, dude, you know that's your aunt.
Well,
like,
see,
that's what it was.
Well, we didn't know that.
They don't know.
What? There's more incest?
So much more.
Come on, guys.
Again, full circle.
Want me to watch
full circle.
Full circle.
More than Pornhub.
But also not.
So on a scale from 1 to 6, how pornographic is it?
I mean, you see some definite.
It's not
lips.
Spartacus.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure.
There's a lot of dude wang.
That's
very.
It is a swords and sandals show.
That makes me want to watch it so much more.
So much wang.
It's not quite Spartacus. Blood and Sand, which was basically porn. But
blood and sandwich.
But speaking of porn, though, I enjoyed, especially knowing like the seriousness. Well, no, but Pornhub. Blah, blah, blah. Shout out. It has to be every episode.
I can only get so erect.
Really, that's sad, honey.
Must be small.
Pen drop, angry therapist pen drop. So knowing especially how dramatic the ending of last season's episode was, I thought it really funny, and I don't know if anybody else picked up on this, but there were so many dick and ball jokes going on at the beginning.
Yes, yeah.
Especially when there's the caravan and Tyrion's like sitting in there with
Varys,
and he's like, you get so offended by midget jokes, but da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, at least I have balls.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then like there was scene after scene after scene where they built up this humor, and then it kind of tapered off, and then you go, my eyes have always been blue, kind of thrown in there. And then you get the seriousness of, the Nightwalker child. Also, can we talk about the scream of the Nightwalker child?
My God. I haven't jumped in that in a while.
Wait, have you seen the meme of the hamster with the cross?
It's very funny. me watching that scene.
Okay, put it up.
Me seeing that child start screaming and his eyes turn blue, like, no! And there's a hamster with a
the whole time when they were shooting that shot, I thought they just wanted that little boy in the background just to like frame up the shot, and then his eyes just open. But then his eyes open. I'm like, oh my God.
The last scene that made me jump like that was in Lord of the Rings, the first one, where Frodo's getting the ring from his uncle. Or whatever.
And Bilbo's like,
and Bilbo turns into the face thing. That is like the last time I jumped like that because I'm
so my favorite moment was obviously the dragon making eye contact with Jon, saying, "Dude, you're porking your cousin."
But
or
also
your aunt. That was my favorite scene. I thought it was the way it was cut, like Jerry was saying. It was cut to make you feel like, look, he's judging you.
But the thing is, like,
if he had a smirk on his face,
but they didn't even have to show him. But it didn't even have to show him because once you see Jon looking, you know what he's looking at. Yeah. But then they do what these guys tend to do is extend. Hey, we're making a joke. Here's the dragon looking back at him. Just so you know, this is where you laugh.
Well, no,
it's very Joss Whedon and Justice League.
It was okay. That's
I had to give you a cue.
I didn't see it.
It's very hokey and corny. I didn't like it. I mean, I did and I do.
It's one of those things. It's one of the things as it's happening. It's like, oh, this is funny. Okay, yeah. But then then you think back, and it's like it doesn't stand up to the rest of it.
See, I just wanted the dragon to vomit. When that, dry vomit, like that,
like a fire belch or something.
So wait, hold on. So what was your favorite part?
Oh, when Daenerys is telling Sam that her father died.
Well, actually,
and they killed him.
Wow.
By the way,
actually,
the violin music right there. Damn, bro.
The guy who plays Sam did a really good job acting.
No, he's my favorite actor on the
Bradley.
show.
Yeah, he did a great job. Because when he finds out about the father, he's just like, dad. He was a dick.
Well, at least Dickon will be able to carry on.
Like, okay, my dad died. Oh, well, he was a cunt anyway.
Yeah, at least I'll have. Yeah.
But then when he found out about his brother and the subtlety and the change of his expression and all that, great acting.
Oh yeah, if you actually watched
really
it on
that.
HBO, they talked about that in the producers actually talked about that in the recap. They were like the actor that plays Samuel Tarly. They were like
James Bradley.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Encyclopedia Pop Tart.
Reference to a previous episode.
This is how much people love Game of Thrones but hate your nation's leader. You see that? You see that?
You see where people are
notification?
focuses are.
Notification, Mashable. HBO to Trump. Stop tweeting about Game of Thrones. We don't want you to drop our ratings. No, Did you see the tweet he released after the report got dropped today?
What the Game of Thrones cleared, obstructed,
tweet, game over.
Oh,
blah, blah,
the
game over.
Yeah. Dumb.
Of course, they don't want him to use anything of. They should sue him.
Well,
I hope they do.
Dark Knight Rises asked him to stop using the score. It was Dark Knight or Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Like everything, everything he touches, like every artist, like dude, stop using.
It's melting
music.
like
Fuck
acid.
off.
I don't know. Kanye would probably be up for it.
I mean, he was friends with Harvey Weinstein, wasn't he?
I don't know if they're friends. Oh, I mean,
they're
both rich, so he probably claimed him as a friend.
And that the hedge fund owner that he had his own like private island. They threw parties. They were fucking sketch balls. He got off with like a 2 years probation and all kinds of shit. The Attorney General of New York struck a deal with him.
Well, yeah,
forgot the guy's name, but he's now I have to look it up.
You have a phone. Just use your
phone.
If only there was a device that could look up all knowledge of humanity.
Yeah, my brain. If I could just have a good memory.
Well, no, the phones. Keep it away from the devices.
Yeah.
They make the things.
Anyway, so back to Thrones.
I think maybe Sansa, since Ghost was not in the episode, fuck these guys. I think
Ghost. I don't think the Ghost ever comes back.
No, absolutely, or else they're lying to us even more because they say it goes back.
I'm totally expecting a Nymeria.
In the books, absolutely yes. In this series, no, because they can't. They've clearly shown that we're not going to spend money on direwolves. I think Arya and Jon's meeting, I think, was the one I enjoyed the most.
Yeah,
because even
made a lot of emotion.
I was underwhelmed by Arya and the Hounds meeting, but it fit the characters because they're not going to be.
They're not going to be cushy.
Oh no, yeah, no, I like what he said at the very end. He's like, he just calls her a bitch and walks away.
Well, the other thing, the last thing she said to him, it's like when you didn't kill me, but I robbed you.
Yeah.
Well, and then you see as he's walking away, this almost like. It's like this curl at the very
very
subtle, smile. Almost
they're happy to know each other's alive.
That was of all of the meetings, other than the Bran and Jaime one, which was perfect because Jaime is like, oh fuck, everything that I've done is now coming back to haunt me.
And not just that, but now he's the most powerful character on the show.
Well, but he doesn't know that. But as far as Jaime is concerned, he is the most powerful because he can say something and we're in his house. But then the next one, the Gendry one, actually, so it's like, oh, there's hope for Arya still having a heart. Because the greatest bit of acting that Maisie Williams ever did, I think it was in season 2 when they're going with the prisoners that are being sent up to the Night's Watch before the Fellowship of the Bannerless Men or whatever come by, and Gendry is like near the stream or whatever, but he has his shirt off, and then Maisie just takes kind of like a gander. It's like, oh, I just became a woman. She eyeballs him.
It wasn't slitting a man's throat or taking their face. It was definitely the side eye.
Yeah, and then they come back, and then they're going back and forth, and he calls her Milady, Lady Stark, and she doesn't like that because she's not that person. But then he says, "It's like, but don't all rich girls like that?" And she walks off. I'm the only rich girl you know.
Yeah,
that was a great line.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoyed that banter.
What's she trying to build? What was that?
Well, I think it's a combination of it's like a dagger at the end of a spear handle, so she can in hand-to-hand combat she can rip that off.
I think it's
it looked like a shooting device.
It did look like that, but I think that's the capture, so it can hold it, because in the teaser for the episode you see her spinning like a staff type of thing, which I think has the knife, the dragon glass at the end of it.
Yeah, maybe I think she's definitely making a custom dragon glass. I think it's like you're right. I think it's gonna be half spear, like on regular steel on one side, and the other one's gonna be dragon glass.
Let me restate. I'm repeating dragon glass because that's what I've read people to say, but my thought would be, why would she not use her dagger, which is the Valyrian steel?
Yeah, exactly. You can.
Or maybe she is.
Well, she could be, and that's where she was. So I don't want to say dragon glass because that's what people say.
But it looks like dragon glass.
At this point, she's all about deception, right? That's her bread and butter.
Yeah, well, it's people underestimating
her. Oh my
her.
God, maybe she's pulling the
She's an
cliche chick
assassin.
thing, like bat my eyes. Hey, can you do this thing? Thanks. Flirt with you as I walk away. That could totally be it too.
Well, no, I she was
she had a thing for him.
Yeah, she was.
And also, they're circling back to episode 1 when Robert Baratheon and also Ned were like, we need to combine our families together. And that's gonna how that's how it's gonna finally happen.
That's the thing of the combining of Targaryen and Stark bloodlines. There's 2 combinations because there's Jon and Daenerys, and then there's
Targaryen and
then there's
dude.
And then there's Arya and Gendry.
Baratheon and Stark, though.
No. Well, if as I'm continuing to talk, because Robert Baratheon's grandmother was a Targaryen, so not only is Gendry Robert's son, depending if he gets whatever because he's a bastard, but Robert's grandfather was a Targaryen who married a Baratheon, so he has Targaryen blood also. So that could also be but again, going future, if nobody dies now, which everybody's going to die, Sansa could be the Lord.
I don't think anyone dies now. Actually,
really?
I genuinely.
Grey Room and Missandei. One of them, they're not getting they're not going to give us that happy couple.
Well,
there can only be one happy couple. I think.
And it's going to be Gilly and Sam.
That's why I said they're going to survive.
Yeah.
No, but I think given who's producing the show now and the way they kind of had given fan service, I generally don't think they have the chops to actually kill off anyone. I think
Daenerys, because
we're gonna end up.
Wait, John.
Daenerys.
You don't think anyone's gonna die?
No, Daenerys is now definitely gonna die.
Yeah, but we're gonna have secondary
character death. No main character.
Daenerys is definitely gonna die.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's.
It's gonna go full on Harry Potter.
Well, no. That's I absolutely disagree. Because the promise of Harry Potter was told to us in the title of the very first chapter.
Harry
the boy
dies.
who lived.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking no real main characters actually ever really died.
But that's a children's story.
Don't matter.
Game of Thrones is not. Game of Thrones is not intended to be that.
No, I know what you're going for.
But again, it's different writers. But Daenerys is totally dying because they went to the waterfalls, and as Ygritte said to Jon, we should have stayed in that cave. And as Daenerys says to Jon, we could stay here for 1,000 years.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Unless she's pregnant, but then that puts Jon on the throne. Sansa is the Lord of Winterfell, Lady of Winterfell. Arya as a King's Guard or Queen's Guard or some sort of guard.
So I'm kind of hoping that Jon and
Gendry could be the head of the Stormlands, which is the House Baratheon.
Isn't there a midget?
There is a
Tyrion.
Is he still alive?
Tyrion is the head of Casterly Rock. Robin Arryn is the head of the Vale.
Oh, don't count him out.
That just leaves the Dorne and the Reach.
Never count out the midget.
Sam ends up being the Lord of Highgarden.
Oh, for sure.
Because he's with the Riverland with the Reach.
I got my money on the midget.
Edmure Tyrion's still around. No,
Dorne.
He can still be the head of Dorne.
They're setting him up to die unless
they absolutely are.
Yeah.
Oh,
can we make wagers?
He's not killing her. He's not killing him. He's
not going to kill Tyrion.
Can we make wagers? Is
Yeah.
that possible?
And he's not killing Jaime.
How do you think about them bringing back the Lannister crossbow?
Well, that was a clever part of it.
Caught that.
The intro.
Everybody totally
caught
that.
Which was definitely different.
Oh, whatever.
They even say this is.
This is Joffrey's crossbow. Now the only question is if that's the exact same crossbow that Tyrion killed Tywin with.
Right.
But it's totally Joffrey's crossbow.
Okay, so
but I like how
from
they
one
set
to
it up
Tywin,
where the
how
characters
scary are you to go to the
literally
bathroom at dark?
Cersei's our queen has a cruel sense of irony.
Oh,
Poetic sense of irony.
And by the way, the only 2 scenes last year in the season finale when Bronn says, "Hey, Pod, let's go get a drink," because Lena Headey hates Jerome Flynn.
Yeah, hates him.
And then Cersei is like, "Oh, let me hire Bronn." Well, Qyburn has to do that because Lena Headey hates Jerome Flynn.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Jerome Flynn and Lena Headey.
Yeah, they used to be a couple. Now they ain't.
And they broke up horrifically. That was
her smash buddy back in the day.
Oh, really?
Horrifically.
I not know this.
So it's in the Thrones whatever stuff. So they haven't been in a scene together since like season 3, maybe 2 or 3.
So I have this question though to kind of bump back to the big reveal of I guess of Jon
Which shows
Snow.
you how much power she has, by the way.
Of riding
to
a
say it's like, hey,
Well, okay, hold on. So
that was an underwhelming scene. It happened too quick.
Them riding a dragon.
Hold on,
dragon?
let me finish. It was significant for more than one reason other than cool, Jon Snow rode a dragon.
Well, why?
It is literally said by the same. I forget whose daughter it was. The one that had dragon scale.
Shireen Baratheon, Stannis'
so
daughter.
When she's reading all these books, and one of the main characters that she likes reading the books about is Aegar and his dragons. and Aegar Baratheon, like the third of his name or something, was legendary
Targaryen.
for dragons.
Yeah.
So that was like prophesized back in like season 3 or 4 with the Red Witch. Cool. So literally, she states in that scene where she's teaching what's his face to read.
Talos.
Thank you for filling that in. She says that she learned.
You want to have people yelling at your podcast? We leave those names out.
Appreciate you. I mean, I've got good general ideas.
No, you're describing exactly who the people are.
So, like, she prophesies this in like season 3 because one of the things she says is that only Targaryens can ride dragons.
Yeah.
So I'm over here watching this scene of like Daenerys all like, you know, dickmatized, being like, well, nobody knows how to ride a dragon.
Well, no, she's right though because
they don't.
they don't make a big deal of it.
But Dany should know
But as I'm saying,
she knows everything about dragons.
Yeah, she's the mother
Tyrion
of dragons.
Nothing about
Yeah,
dragons.
she just has
So
them.
she's over here like, yeah, hop on, it's cool.
You know, Tyrion
and
doesn't
she
know.
thinks it's right, but he doesn't know, and Dany doesn't know, but she does know the lore of her lineage, which is that only Targaryens can ride.
Because her brother
dragons.
knew. Her brother knew, and Tyrion knows, and so does
Well, Tyrion read
Jorah
all the
knows all
books.
about
So
dragons
she's
too.
literally like,
sure that he
ride
would've
my
filled her in.
dragon,
Jorah
thinking-
was too busy trying to pay for a woman he couldn't afford.
This is true. But so she's literally in this scene
womp.
going, we all lament the things we can't have. So she's literally going, okay, hop on my dragon.
He doubled down on that, by
Not,
the way.
That was not a bomb moment. And she's not realizing that it's not her permission she's giving, it's the dragon acknowledging another Targaryen. And she's like, well, nobody knows how to ride a dragon until they do. And then they're doing this whole like romantic swoopy scene that could have been, you know, out of The Lion King or whatever.
But I don't think she's as aware of that as we as the viewers
But
are.
she's not.
Yeah, but
but
from a
she
narrative-
knew.
hold
But
on.
she knew she should know from her
From a
lineage.
narrative standpoint,
From a
we should have got
narrative.
We should have got Sam unveiling.
So you're saying there's a bit of a hole, is what you're saying?
No, Sam should have unveiled that like the whole connection between Jon being who he really is. That scene should have came first.
Well, no, because I think
all this stuff built up to it.
Well, also I think John or Sam would never have. Sam knows the volatility of that, and he would not reveal it until after. So that was. So that's why the writers chose to make him angry.
Yeah, had to drop that bomb on
to force him
he
to put a wedge between John and Dany.
Bad writing.
Which I don't like that reason.
So
It's
bad writing.
It's good. It's good as in like that's why somebody would do that, to be angry and release information. But that's not something Sam would do. Yes, that's not something Sam would do.
No, there's not understanding the character. Sam
and they
would
put
not
so much
do
emphasis
that.
already. Like
That's
Dany,
his best friend. That's his boy. You know, like
he would run to Gilly and spoken to her about she did all of this.
See, I thought
and then
Bran
maybe
was gonna
depending
drop
what she was
that.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought it was gonna be Bran
and
who
again,
dropped that bomb.
like Bran saying it's like, oh, it's not my job to do that.
Yeah,
that was bullshit.
It's
too.
totally your job because
Come on, Magic 8 Ball,
he'll
do
trust
your thing.
he'll trust Sam, and John believes because they've shown and he's warged into ghosts, so he understands the science, and he's seen more magic than anybody else.
Yeah.
So he gets this. And you want to switch seats so she's on the mic.
Sure. I'm nerding out.
And
I was like,
it's that would have been much better to where if the two of them are there with Bran saying, "Yep, I've seen this," and John or Sam having the proof, then John was like, "Okay." But I very much like that when Sam does tell him it's in the crypts. This might be as much as the execution was poor, I did like the payoff.
How they did it in front of
in front of all
Lyanna,
Ned and
in front
all
of
that.
Ned's statue when because the last time he sees him in episode 2 of season 1, he says, "The next time I see you, I'll tell you about your mother."
Yeah,
Well, and
that's,
then
And that's the
Yeah,
first
how
time
it
he sees him.
happened. Well, and then
Yeah.
nice circle there, but
wow,
still.
Yeah.
And then in
pick
the
up on
scene
that.
right before that, when Dany tells him about his father and his brother being
Sam's
killed,
father, yes.
Sam. I'm sorry, I should emphasize, yes, Samuel Tarly. The first thing he said, or the second thing she says when she goes, somebody has to tell John, is that you're like a brother to him, even though so and so might be,
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're in the tombs, and he's which only Starks are allowed in. So that's almost like a visual representation of their brotherly bond, because not only are they brothers of the Night Watch, but they're brothers via emotional experiences they've shared.
Yeah, you can
but
take
then
it like that.
also, because they share that bond. And so the fact that he acknowledges, like, I know I'm not supposed to be down here, but then literally John is unfazed. He's like, what's going on?
Well,
He's not even concerned
yeah.
with it. It's like, okay, you should be down here. This is fine. What are we talking about?
Well, he isn't
There's a
one for
reason.
tradition for either though.
Well,
Yeah,
but the
John
whole,
doesn't
yeah.
give a fuck about tradition.
Well, that's because he's been placed down. He's been lowered because of that, and
Because of the whole
Tyrion has
bastard
taught him don't to be beholden to that. But also, with the whole setup of this, is Jorah would know Sam is a Tarly. Jorah would know
he knew.
Dany killed. Jorah would not walk her into that situation to have her say all of that to upset him, because it's like, oh, well, let me go thank him. He killed his dad and his brother.
They're also painting Dany to kind of just be.
Well, no, they're creating the divisiveness.
They're kind of making her look like an idiot right now.
No, they're painting her to be basically kind of what her father was.
See, well, here's the thing, though.
They lay down the thread of like, listen, if your sister doesn't get her act together, I am not afraid to burn that bitch. Because she like, basically, right before he got interrupted by the Dothraki, she was about to say to Jon, like, yo, if she doesn't get in line, burnt.
Actually, no, I think the opposite. I think it speaks to her character that she went and personally told him, because he was going to find out eventually, right?
But she almost had this smirk on her face while she was doing it. Like, it wasn't pleasant.
Sure?
But
no, I think
but when
she was surprised
like,
and unprepared.
But your brother stood next to him also. And
at least my brother's alive. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, no, wait. But she almost has this, like, pained, but, like, I did what I had to do as queen.
Yeah, she's not apologetic for it.
Unapologetic.
No, she's just kind of like, this is a fact.
Yeah,
well,
she had the common courtesy to go tell him herself, though.
But why did Jorah have to be there?
I don't really think that was
Jorah have done it himself?
I don't really think that was her intent when she went down.
No, it wasn't.
That was not her intent.
But this is where I'm blaming. This is where I'm blaming Jorah, though. But again, maybe Jorah's trying to create the division between Jon and Dany, because he's always holding out that hope.
She's like, hold on, whoa. You're a Tully?
Tarly.
Tarly. Excuse me. Tarly, whoopsie.
He's not a Teletubby, honey. He's a Tarly.
He'll still end up being the Lord of Highgarden, though.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that doesn't even. I think it's ironic that it doesn't even register him. He's like, yes, I know, but like also.
Well, what was her main intent actually to go down there for?
To thank him for curing Jorah of Grayscale.
Yeah.
Is this the man who did it? He's the only. He's the only one who did.
Jorah would have been like, "Yo, dude, by the way, that's a Tarly."
It's a Tarly.
No, but because Jorah knew, because Jorah was treated by Sam in the.
Yeah, and they talked about it.
If this was George R.R. Martin writing this, then yes, that's Jorah trying to create the division between Jon and Dany for himself.
But to serve what purpose?
This isn't then to serve the purpose to keep Dany closer to Jorah rather than to Jon, because that would
Jorah's also like crazy and in love with her.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because he knows that she. But that's if George R.R. Martin was writing. He's not. So this was no. We're going to complete the create the divisiveness between Jon and Dany for going forward in the politics. But they've set up the last 2.5 seasons of Jon saying it's like politics is fucking stupid. We got to fight the White Walkers or we're all dying. And this is clearly a political machination. Would she give up the crown for you? That's all the small stuff that he's been telling everybody. Yeah. Shut up.
The titles don't matter.
If they catch him up into that and that becomes an issue, he'll tell Dany, but. Or he may even not, but however that gets to that, it's like the way that they've shown this character, that revelation means a huge amount to him, but not to the point to where he'd say, "Oh, by the way, I'm actually the king, so let's hash this out." Said, "No, let's kill these bad guys first, and then we'll worry about this." And the thing is, I don't even think he wants the crown. He doesn't want to be the Lord of Winterfell.
No,
he doesn't want to be the king. He doesn't want to. He just wants to go hang out with his wolf. God, give him his wolf back.
You're never going to get that wolf back. You're never getting that wolf back. I'm sorry.
Ghost is a ghost.
Can we talk about the smaller sideline that happened in this one, where because at the end of last season, Theon got his ass kicked to get his respect back from his people.
How he's magically a Navy SEAL all of a sudden?
Right.
Well, he's always been a great archer.
I can definitely take a punch better than his ass.
Yeah, he's in man.
He saved Bran Bran from Asha and the other wildlings that came below.
Literally Navy SEAL now.
But then in this one,
he's from the Iron Islands. He grew up swimming.
He's literally. I'm just saying.
I do enjoy though that he had kind of his redemption moment,
which I don't like.
I hate him just a teeny bit, like hair less.
He's not supposed to be a character
because I love Yara so much.
Speaking of people that will definitely survive, Theon.
No, Yara. I think Yara will definitely survive. Theon will run into the woods and cradle his not nuts.
No, Theon's gonna live because of everything he's gone through.
I definitely.
I
think
if he hasn't died by now, they have no intention.
He'll end up going back to. The Sea Stone throne at the Iron Islands to help Yara run the Iron Islands.
And I like the emphasis that kind of subtly made throughout this.
I love how she headbutts him though.
Oh, that was great. Fuck you, but thank
you. You pussy, fucking.
Oh,
asshole.
now you find your non-existent balls.
It was the most sibling thing I've ever seen. Fuck you, but thanks.
As they kill one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
they killed
Martin Starr.
They killed Mac. Yeah, he's actually the guy.
Again, the only reason
he's the first guy he gets an arrow through the eye.
The only reason I'd ever watch that show was just so I could get the emotional payoff, even more so from watching the clip when he did the modern dance scene
I
in
saw
the prison.
that scene.
It's amazing. I have no context for the show whatsoever. It's fantastic.
I haven't watched the last season. It was always fun. I need to
before I watched the new episode, I watched the last one of season 6, and just to make sure I had the continuity, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I like this hint that they keep making, because they keep bringing in the Iron Islands a lot more, and it's not so much just about ships anymore, which is what a lot of season 6 emphasized. They keep talking about the fact that other than the fact that nobody outside of really Winterfell knows that there's an ice dragon. The other thing, though, is that they keep emphasizing, and Cersei even says it actually in the last episode of season 6, is that we have an island, go back to it. Like, we need someplace. And what Yara echoes in this episode is that we need a place. I'm going to go hunker down. Like, we need a place where the White Walkers can't swim. Yeah. I mean, it could also be a Pirates of the Caribbean moment where they're walking on the water floor. You know, who knows?
Or the Night King becomes an Uber Lyft kind of with the dragon.
Maybe he could call it a Disney Tesla.
Yeah, there you go.
Only
goes to Disney.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, he can't raise the people that he kills with the dragon.
Can he not?
Because they become dust.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They get burnt.
Yeah, it's ice.
As I air quote that. However, well, it's obviously it's not ice because
blue flame.
It's just blue flame because it melts the ice wall.
I wonder if that's what they actually mean by a dance of fire and ice, because he's killing somebody, but he can't resurrect them anymore.
Well, no, it's that's who knows what this is going. No, I mean it's who knows on the TV side. Who knows what this is going to be? And it's the Song of Ice and Fire.
It really could be something as silly as that.
And the Song of Ice and Fire would probably. Well, the interesting thing is that of the possibilities of what can be the prince who was promised in Lightbringer, it was always thought that the prince would be a person and the Lightbringer would be a sword. But what if the prince that was promised was actually Rhaegar, and the first tempering was when he was killed in the Trident, trialed by water. Right. Then his wife and his first son were killed by the Lannisters, trialed by lion. Mm-hmm. And then the last one is Jon, who has to kill, Jon was born killing Lyanna, which was his wife, and so then Jon is actually the Lightbringer. Jon is the sword, and so that's the and what is the Night's Watch? The sword in the night.
And then
I said that is when I thought that moment at the exact same time.
And literally the reunion of Arya and Rob is
they're measuring dicks, swords.
Same difference. But literally they're like, oh, what do you got? You still got needle? Oh, yeah, this is a big-ass Valyrian steel. She's like, too big for me.
Yeah, but she also doesn't explain that she actually has Valyrian steel.
She doesn't show
the dagger at all.
You never show all your hands.
It's literally right there. She's
that's
like,
Assassin
here's
101.
needle, but...
No, I love when she sneaks up on Jon and he actually mentions it. He's like, how'd you get behind me?
It's like the only other thing that can do that is Ghost. But he knows that Ghost is there because he sees through him. But that was pretty clever. And the reveal of that was great too, because they're behind it and so it's like pause. Like, oh, look, she's there.
I do like that their reunion was under the tree, which is one of my favorite imagery shots of just like a singular object that they have going on. The contrast of the white trunk with leaves, and then what it goes back to and what it means in season 1.
As Jon becomes more and more like his father, he's not.
So he does, and you see that actually. So as actually we were talking about earlier, Daenerys starts mirroring these Mad King kind of,
that's what they're telling us.
We're kind of getting the gist of, this
slaughter everybody first,
exactly.
Ask question later.
But we're also getting the same dichotomy out of Jon Snow. He's going through the motions that Ned went. He's going down to the tombs and paying respect and being self-reflective. Yeah. He's going to the tree out of just, I need to be alone for a little bit. Like, he's rejecting all of this power that he's that's being thrust upon him, literally, which is what got Ned killed.
Yeah, I was about to say, it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, because one time Ned gave into it and was like, all right, Rob, I'll help Robert Baratheon, I'll help you out. Like, and then he ends up with his head on a spike, which we all were like,
So do you think that Jon's going to get a little bit of a haircut too close to the neck kind of thing pretty soon, or what?
I mean, it would be a full circle kind of thing. I
can't imagine Daenerys and Jon both surviving, and that's
I agree. It has to be one. No,
one's gonna die.
No, there can only be one.
There can only be
literally
one.
In this one there can only.
Oh
be
no!
one.
If both of them die, then as much as like all of the build up and all everybody would say is watch Game of Thrones, all it would be is fuck Game of Thrones from that point on, and nobody would want to ever rewatch it again.
Well, I
now want both of them to die.
I think Tyrion kind of foreshadowed
but you hate
it,
everything, and you don't like Joy.
No, not true. I like ending.
Would you? You like Cersei?
No, I want Tyrion to win. Well,
I mean, in the books,
she
very
well
could be.
I think in the books that's what happened.
You like Cersei because she's got the Enya like crazy haircut thing going on right now.
First off, how about her whine saying you want to? You can go buy a whore, but you have to earn a queen.
But then she
literally starts porking him.
So
and Cardi B comes on.
Did you see the tweet after that? It's like every basic white girl's Tinder profile.
Yeah. Oh man.
If you want a whore, buy one. If you want a queen, earn it.
Yeah. And every girl's like the end of the meme is like, yeah, all of those girls are immediately going to go over and bang the fuckboy that's just slid into their DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
I kept laughing at that because they're like, did you not watch the rest? Did you not pick up on the all right, come stick your dick in me side look like fuck, you're right. I've got to keep up this deal.
I was shocked and surprised how much Cersei was into the idea of elephants.
Oh yeah,
I thought
she
she
wanted
had
those
elephants.
No elephants.
She was so pissed about those elephants.
It's like, I paid you money for elephants. Where the fuck are my elephants?
Yo, okay, just total speculation, just like wild out there. What if there was ever a night elephant?
There's not elephants though.
I know, but there's no elephants.
Because
Well, also,
the
I'm
CGI.
just saying.
No, they have mammoths. They already had mammoths.
And they have giants. You're right.
They have
tall
giants
things.
and
They have
mammoths
tall
already.
things
Considering they have those dragons, they can't do anything else with CGI.
No, their CGI budget
and if
is
they
big.
bring in a CGI elephant and no ghost, fuck those guys.
Yeah, all the castles and everything you see are built because they can't afford anything.
They did like
with
a
CGI.
Tim Burton miniatures kind of thing.
All those horses, all those men, completely real.
Hashtag bring back Ghost.
Hashtag justice for Ghost.
Yes.
Justice for Summer.
Yeah, they'll get a pit like.
Oh God.
I know. You're the
Wasted
saddest
deaths.
moment.
Oh my!
The
It's
saddest moment.
Like I get why Hodor connects, but it's like whatever. It's like summer for nothing.
I actually met a dude at the metal show last night that his nickname was Hodor, and so like his friends, instead of like doing the caca, like where you at, they just screamed Hodor, Hodor, and then like this dude found them across like the smoking patio or like the venue, and I'm like laughing hysterically because the dude actually is kind of built like Hodor.
Oh yeah,
John, did you actually
He
see
really
this dude at the show? You know what dude I'm talking about? He was in the gray shirt wearing the I love Canadian or I'm a Canadian girl shirt. Did you not see this dude? Your face is hilarious. Anyways, but he like looked like Hodor kind of, but with a little bit more going on.
Was he letting people through a door?
Actually, he did hold the door for
Was he a DJ?
He did actually hold the door open like a Canadian girl, gentleman, lady thing. Held the door open actually for a couple people to go in and out. So yeah, that's a side note. But, yeah. I met real life Hodor. He did in fact hold the door.
Hold that door. All right. So
what most of the reunions of Tyrion, they're making too much of an effort to make Sansa more than she is.
They are.
Especially with that line of like, Tyrion, I thought you were the smartest person I know.
Well, no, when I was younger, I thought you were the smartest person I know. That was okay. Or the burn with like, and you trusted her, but I mean, Tyrion's holding his hand. It's like, well, I think that she's pregnant. That's why I would think that she might do something different.
Well, no, he didn't drop the pregnancy thing, but he
didn't. But I mean, that's one of the things he could sit in and defend.
She has a reason, kind of thing.
I wonder why he's holding onto that card in his pocket.
Well, again, that's one of the dumb things with this is why all of Sansa's rehabilitation is completely stupid and ridiculous. Because every opportunity she had to actually take a step forward and have control of her life and actually balance between the Cersei that she's clearly becoming and Ned, which is what she told Jon, you need to be the combination of the two. She's always played it dumb. She could have gotten rid of Littlefinger in the Vale and stayed safe there, and it's like, oh nope, I'm Sansa Stark, and he totally killed my mom, put him to death. Boom, he's dead.
You could just like
when
300
when Brienne shows up, if I told Brienne to kill you, you couldn't do anything to stop that. It's like, yeah, you should have right then and there.
Right.
And then when she says, Jon, you need more knights, I said, this is all that we got, and said, yeah, you're right, go ahead and go die. Oh wait, let me write a secret letter to Baelish and then bring all these knights that I could totally tell my brother about, and then we could still have the same plan.
It was very
and the same thing.
We could wait a little bit,
and not kill all the people that we had killed and still accomplish all the same goals.
It was just very like runaround way of accomplishing a goal in a way, though.
And then clearly she's learned nothing from Cersei, because the first chance that she has to disagree with Jon in front of everybody, she yaps right in front of everybody and disagreeing. Rather, it's like, hold on, guys, let's go talk for a second, and then rip into him, and then Jon understand what she's trying to do, and then actually learn something. But no, they've written her horrifically. They're trying to get us to buy in that she's smart. She's making stupid mistakes, and then they're trying to beat us over the head with like, oh, she's the smartest person I know. Arya, you're lying to us. You're very good good at it.
Oh no, that was Arya totally playing a Lord Baelish.
Because she can't possibly believe that. Because the other thing is, Sansa clearly doesn't understand Bran's visions.
No.
But we're supposed to learn that she spoke to Bran in order to confer that Littlefinger was doing all this because she sees it. So if she spoke to him once, it's like, hey, did he do all this stuff that I think? Oh yeah, I've seen him do this, and okay. Then she could have told Tyrion when he come up. It's like, why are you trusting her? I had Bran look. The army hasn't moved. In fact, sellswords have come in the other way. No, she hasn't done that. She hasn't used the things that she supposedly used in the past to show that she's actually learned anything. It's like, oh, this guy can see visions. I don't trust him. I'm not going to ask him anything to confirm what I think or doesn't think. And then she leaves out something so dumb and stupid as like, what do dragons eat anyway? Because I'm going to exert my power because we don't have food. Whatever we want. Now you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And then the next scene is Daenerys going, wait, only 8 sheep?
They're so underfed.
12 goats and 8 sheep. If they write Lyanna Mormont into a terrible line like something like this, I will riot.
No, I was pissed. I mean, Lyanna Mormont brought up like
has been continuing. Straight arrow the entire time.
She's the most gangster 9-year-old I've ever met. I love her. Like she's like low key, like if there was like small people involved, I say small stature wise, like if there were younger characters involved that had like more moxie, I love her.
Oh no, she's the best. She's the best, and she gives the thing. It's like she's like, Daenerys is right there, and it's like one king, the king of the north, his name is Stark, not you. It's like she's not scared, and everybody else is like,
she's straight up.
They got dragons. Maybe we should pay attention.
There's all these like old men in the room going like, I don't have the balls to say it. Also because I probably stepped on them. But then she's up there like challenged. Like she's like, I don't even know what to call you, Lord, Grace, Your Highness. Like I don't know what to call you. And then that's when Jon Snow goes into his rant about titles don't matter, yada yada. And it's like, well, actually, they kind of do.
That's the only writing they've actually maintained in consistency with her.
Well,
the entire episode.
As far as character continuity, yes. But I hate that most of her scenes are just in that Stark like gathering hall.
Well, that's kind of where she belongs. Though.
Well, no, because she's in full armor for the next episode.
Oh, that's right. We do see her that.
And she's already,
they show a battle shot.
It's leading up into the Battle of Winterfell. The third episode, which was supposed to be 60 minutes, they added 22 minutes of.
They added 20. I just saw that.
Crazy.
Which means that's going to be the battle.
That's going to be the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're like saving face and like adjusting each episode is like based on ratings.
It's supposed to be like the biggest battle ever on TV show history.
And then they realize it's like, why are we spending all this money and doing a 77-day shoot and cut out 22 minutes that we put into the show?
Like, might as well just put 22 more minutes in there. Fuck it, we have our own channel. It's not like it's going to advertisement. That's not ours.
But she's also the one who told everybody else. It's like, we teach the women of Bear Island to defend themselves. We will train every man, woman, and child. And she's eyeballing everybody else. So it's like she's not going to be sitting back and like, oh, go ahead and write it. She's going to be on horse in the front of that.
Oh, absolutely. I would be horrified and actually boycott the writing of that show if they portrayed Lyanna Mormont to be like
anything other than
anything other than a G.
Speaking of meetings,
you think she goes in there and she actually like whoops ass during that battle?
I think she's more. I think she's.
I mean, she'll have a lot of knights around her.
Over under 5 kills.
Under, because they're not going to give her the screen time.
They're not going to give her the screen time.
Not even 1 kill.
I think she'll survive, and I think she'll
survive. We'll see.
Hopefully, she doesn't turn into a symbol.
Oh, that'd be awful. No,
what was that symbol again? I'm going to sound really like
it's the spiral. It's the spiral that they've shown around
the first one was like what, like a diamond thing, right?
It was a circle with a line through it.
So this is the third symbol that the Night King has left us, right?
Well, it's the third. There's only been 2 symbols. It's the third time we've seen the spiral.
He's so bad at emojis.
That's
but he didn't leave the first spiral, or the first spiral wasn't
left in the first episode.
He didn't leave the first.
He didn't leave that first one out.
The first spiral was the horses at the Fist of the First Men. The second spiral, and when I say first spiral, I don't mean chronologically within the show. I mean chronologically within the time frame in the show. When the White Walker was created, and they show the White tree looking down. He couldn't. He didn't exist, so he didn't create that first spiral. Yeah. And we don't know if that first spiral was created or that just happened to be the design, and then that's what has been taken since then.
I wonder what he's trying to communicate then.
Which is weird, because the symbols aren't in the books.
Well, no, I'm trying to figure out when I was watching the scene before I had the, oh my god, dead child moment.
Thanks, Bran.
I'm trying to figure out what, because I mean, as an artist myself, you know, you don't construct something without trying to convey intent or message or something.
Fear works from that.
So the materials that you use are also equally important. So he chose
dismembered body parts,
limbs only, no heads,
because they're the arms of the spiral. It's harder for the torsos for that.
I mean, he could have easily just chopped it up into pieces that were shaped like it, but instead he chose just arms and, you know, calves.
Well, the thing is, it's like he may have for the arms, you could take one arm off of every other person and still have a White Walker with the other arm.
With the other arm.
Sure, I mean, I'm clearly overthinking.
Okay,
all
no,
this.
you're right. No, maybe so.
But
It's a show of
clearly overthinking it. Literally.
I mean, you're
Here's
right.
my arm, E.
My arm, E.
Is he that smart?
That was the most fucking dad joke I've heard you make in like a week.
Well, thus concludes Game of Thrones talk.
But then I'm positive that all jokes that are dad jokes to one form or another. It's just the delivery that makes it better or worse.
While we segue, I'll
but the other one, the very first symbol was the circle with the line through it that's found by the Rangers. And the first one, the second one,
the first 10 minutes.
Yes, and later in the first season, the spirals is the Fist of the Horseman. That's the horses that are all chopped up, as well as the other things.
Oh, you're right.
And then we've seen the circle with the line through it at Dragonstone in the cave. The spirals when the first White Walker's made, the spirals for this one. So some people, book people, since the God's Eye hasn't really been mentioned a lot in the TV show, are positing that the circle with the line through it is for the God's Eye, which is where all the other were trees, which is where the treaty of the first fight between the First Men and the Children of the Forest was held. Yeah. But that's, I think, way too far south. If the White Walkers get that far south, I think Game of Thrones and Avengers Endgame are like, oh, we want the battle with Thanos / with the White Walkers, and it's like, nope, that's actually the first half of the end of the story.
Yeah,
and the last half
I think
is something different.
No, I think that Thanos, not to really talk segues into Endgame talk, even though I'm kind of dying to do that.
I know. I saw your ears perk up the moment he said Thanos.
You know what? I did this to Karl when we were talking sports, and I took it back to not sports, and he put his headset back on as you were about to fall asleep. So I was like, let me throw this in-game combination in.
Well, no, I was about to say that that whole battle with Thanos, I think that's the first.
So that theory. We don't know anything.
Okay, I think that's probably going to be the first.
But that's what I'm saying. Is
we're
going
to take him out because he's weakest.
I think the as much as the Night King is being built up as the thing that's is the end of the show. I don't think that's the end of the show.
He is not. No, he's definitely not the end
clearly,
of the show.
Because clearly the titles matter. But the titles don't matter until the Night King is gone.
No, I think that they're going to take he's
because you're right. Titles do matter. It's like, what do I call you?
Titles do actually matter because I mean, think about the Night King. He's the only one whose title in this entire shit has not changed or been questioned.
No, and if you take him out, all the rest of it goes.
No, I think he gets taken out in the third episode. He'll be done.
No,
that'd be way too easy.
No, I think Winterfell falls. And then maybe
Winterfell
the fourth.
falls.
Well, and that's why I was trying to talk about with Yara.
It's got to make it serious to Cersei as well. Like, oh crap, this is
well.
real.
Episodes 4, 5, and 6 are all about 80 minutes.
And said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna like."
So I mean,
down
I
on
think
my
it could go to through episode 4, and then 5 and 6 are the political.
Well, that's
settlings.
what I was trying to bring back the whole what Yara said when she, after the whole conversation, like you don't have to pick Stark or Greyjoy, in that conversation between Jon and Theon, Yara's like, I'm going to go
which
hold down.
Which sets up for himself.
Right.
He doesn't have to choose between Stark and Targaryen.
Well, and it validates what Jon said, too. He's getting the information twice, so it's actually sinking in, and he's finding his balls after losing his balls, which is really great. I'm actually he's mildly
referencing the behind the scenes where he almost lost his testicles in the buck for the dragon ride because he slid to the side and one got like mush between the thing and it's still going around. And it's like, this is how I go.
Yep. No, I saw it in his eyes. He was like, that's a ball, and this is how I go. I'm
going to die riding a dragon.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think the political thing is going to come to a head in like episode 4, and I think it as much hinting as they've made at islands being so important or being across some kind of body of water, which is ironic because ice is a form of water, and it has always been a point of contention or protection or water. I mean, literary wise, is always a metaphor for a motive of change. Yeah. And literally water can change in and of itself. So
purification change,
change, it's phase change of sorts. So
it's where Excalibur was with the Lady in the Lake.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that,
not the Sword and the Stone, by the way. 2 different swords.
Yes. I mean, we are having a sword fight of sorts. But yeah, so I think the political thing is going to come to a head in episode 4. And I think the islands are going to be much more emphasized because they're going to have to go, oh my God, Winterfell fell, literally.
Yeah, we got to get out of
here.
So
let's back it up to, second phase of water, water. Let's go back it up to an island.
Well, I mean, that gets to the neck and all of the swampy area through there and how that deals with that. But I think, there's going to be all of the stuff going with the White Walkers and then the Cersei resolution, whatever's going on without after.
Hopefully death.
I did enjoy... Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, I genuinely think the White Walker, all that's going to get resolved in episode 3. And
4. Winterfell's got to fall to give us the desperation. And then episode 4 is about 80-something minutes. And then that's where it happens.
Yeah, because you need a climax of some sort.
Well, you need the heroes to suffer. And if they've built all up to this, and then Jon says, "Hey, this is what we got to do to hold it," and they hold it and they win, that's not the story.
No, it would be way too optimistic.
Winterfell is going to fall. Something bad's going to happen, and they have to fall back.
Oh, absolutely. It would be way too optimistic if they had all this build up in episode 1 for they're coming. We don't have time for this garbage.
Unless Winterfell stays and then some main characters go out.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, you can interchange it possibly.
When I say fell, it's like there's the battle is lost in some way.
You need morale to be completely depleted.
Yes.
Yeah. So Winterfell could stay, but something else could happen.
And
I mean,
they've also hinted at contingency plans.
I think it all gets resolved in that episode. And
3 ends on a downer.
Yeah, no.
It is with someone dying, but I think...
No. I mean, a big downer. Not like, oh, we won, and not like, was it Fred? Not Fred dying. No, George.
Yeah.
Not George dying, but we won the Battle of Hogwarts. It's like, no. It's like, oh, fuck, we lost the Battle of Hogwarts. It's like, no, this is... it's a definite down. It's Empire Strikes Back. It's not Return of the Jedi.
I wonder if, the culmination of all this is that they're actually going to get all the way to Cersei's ass over in King's Landing.
Well, that's
and
what I'm
just
thinking.
fuck her up. Or they just, the Battle of Winterfell happens, and then they march just fuck it all the way
if you
south.
mean the Night King just wins.
I mean, because they put emphasis throughout the entire series on the King's Road is a direct route from Winterfell to the Wall all the way to...
The King's Road is a direct route from...
but it literally goes from
King's
the top
Landing.
From King's Landing
it does.
to Winterfell.
It's from King's Landing to all of the heads of all of the different kingdoms.
It's literally like the aorta of sorts.
It's the Appian
So you
way.
think Winter wins and stays?
I think that the actual culmination battle is actually going to be the place that we wouldn't think, because they put so much emphasis on Winterfell throughout the entire series, especially the last 2. I think it's actually going to be over in King's Landing. It's going to be the last place.
The Red Woman in Varys totally died because she said, "We're both going to die here." Because she said that in episode 2 of last season.
Before she dipped out.
It's like, you need to go away. It's like, no, Sir Lord Varys. It's my destiny as well as yours to die in this strange land. He's like, what?
Also, I know you never actually explained to me what that thing was that came out of the Red Witch's snatch. You were supposed to last week?
It was the shadow demon of a doppelganger of Stannis. It was Stannis's demon ghost child or demon spirit child.
I know
Negastannis. Negastannis. There you go.
The player hasn't been unlocked yet.
Achievement not unlocked.
He definitely didn't get the second life.
Face yourself.
Okay, thank you. That was one of the questions I had from last week.
Because Brienne saw the face of Stannis. That's how she recognized Stannis when she killed him. It's like,
off-screen
I saw
kills
you.
him. Yeah.
One of the the only kill that stayed
the
dead?
least satisfying kill in the whole show.
Yeah.
And it's off screen. It's
he's still alive.
I still wonder how they're going to throw in.
We could see him still.
He could still very well be alive.
Well, he's definitely dead, but we could still see him. Because there was the Battle of the Bastards. Well, no. See, this is the thing.
We still have bastards.
But Jon would have surely, because he knows, would have had all of the bodies burned. So it's like nobody from that battle, but his was the one before. So he might have been laying out in the woods under some snow. So when Stannis tried to take Winterfell and they lost, those people could be raised outside the wall.
Are there any headless White Walkers walking around? I haven't seen one.
I don't think that.
I don't think there can be.
I don't think I've seen armless ones. I guess you can't have
the one.
Without
the one was cut in
like
half.
a head, just like rolling around trying to bite at ankles.
Little whip, ankle biter.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how they're beheaded. If it's the Dragon Glass or Valyrian Steel, dead. If not, then maybe they are
Oh, maybe with like a regular sword.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Deadpool head.
Well,
Headpool.
I
I don't know.
don't
We'll
get-
find out pretty soon how they.
I
how
mean,
it
but
works.
really, though, what I don't get is like, okay, like I get it. You can slice the torso horizontally, but why is nobody thinking pragmatically? Like you could literally cut it head all the way through the middle, like slash it vertically,
like
and then it's
bisecting them.
yeah, and then it's useless.
Then you
Or
make two.
it doesn't regrow. It's not an
It hops and kicks you.
it's not an amoeba. It doesn't like regrow half of
Just
itself.
rolling or like circulating around on its one
it's
leg like that.
The one that the
or does
white.
he tie it together with string? Or...
Well, I think potentially that could happen, but the white that they took
l-
to the dragon pit is when they cut it in half. He was still using his arms to drag
that was
himself.
well,
toward
that
it.
was to a point. Also, that was to.
I mean, eventually. I mean, obviously, you can't travel great distances.
You have one that's left brain and one's more creative, one's more analytical.
One sets traps, and the other just comes straight at you.
Yeah, or passionate about what it's causing.
One setting up some. That would be great.
I cannot with you guys.
Home Alone type traps.
I've got a tripwire that'll work.
He goes all Macaulay Culkin on you.
They need to talk to the guy
prequels
from
to
the
Saw.
collector.
Kevin McAllister, out there.
No, and they need to go darker than that. They need to talk to the guy from the movie The Collector, where he literally goes into people's houses,
Oh,
set up all these
yeah.
morbid traps, and like
Oh.
they need to talk to him because he was really good at beheading and taking off limbs and shit with just like wire.
Just go full saw.
Is that the collector or was that the bone collector?
No, the Bone Collector was the one with
Denzel Washington
and Angelina Jolie. That was
I haven't
maybe
seen the collector.
Yeah, the Collector is this guy, and he sets all these basic
elaborate traps.
a la, if Home Alone had more of a satanic-ish.
Well, no, actually, if Home Alone actually caused the damage it
You mean
would
if Home
cause in
Alone
real
was
life.
Have you not seen the video?
Killing
if
those.
it wasn't
Have you not seen
kiddified.
the YouTube video of Home Alone rated R? All they did was just add blood splatter.
Well, no, one of my favorite theories ever on the internet's been that Macaulay Culkin grows up to be the Saw guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Jigsaw, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
He goes
Actually, I
up to
watched the
Jigsaw.
new Jigsaw. It was
Same
not
universe.
that terrible.
All right, guys. Well, anyways.
What are we supposed to talk about?
Well, no, predictions for next week or for Sunday.
Jamie survives the trial.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I love going first. I get the easy ones.
I know. God damn it. All right. I think.
Sansa makes herself look stupid, and everybody says she's smart.
Wait, no. Okay, so let's
Snowfalls.
Let's streamline this.
Snowballs.
Going back to the previous episode, is none of the Starks die.
None of Stark's die.
When the snow falls and the winter winds blow, the lone wolf dies,
Oh,
but the pack survives.
But the pack
Yeah,
survives,
yeah.
and they echo that in the last episode
long
from
as they're
last
together.
season and the first
Yeah.
episode.
So
from this one.
that doesn't put John in that group,
Why
but
don't
that
they
leaves
just
Bronn,
group
Arya,
around
and Sansa.
Bran and be like,
No, just call him Raisin Bread. It's
yeah,
fine.
I almost
creepy
have to say that
eye-
because
yeah.
I want to say Bronn, but that's a different character.
That's giving him
Yeah.
way too much credit because it makes him.
I'm
sound
just gonna
very...
call him Creepy Ironsides from now on. But
You've seen the meme from The Office with Angela and Dwight, where it's like Dwight's looking up and it's like, oh, everybody at Winterfell, and then it's like Bronn is Angela under his arm and he looks over, he's like, ah, what the?
My favorite meme that's come out of this is like where it's like nobody, and then it's like Braun just like staring at people in his wheelchair.
All right, prediction. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Where did it? I'm having a blind moment. My coffee's wearing off. Where do we leave off as far as?
Jamie thought he
and
snuck
Bran.
into Winterfell
Oh,
and
okay.
takes his
well,
cloak off.
you said some kind of trial though.
I say because it's in the preview you see him standing in front of everybody, and again everybody wants to kill him. All the Starks want to kill before he did the Bran.
Okay, the
And
Great
Daenerys,
how
he
did
killed
sneak
Daenerys'
in
father.
there anyways.
Well, he had a cloak
He had the
on.
cloak.
Yeah, but they didn't let Arya in.
Well, that was different. They
Well,
weren't.
she-
Well, they
that
weren't.
house snuck in.
I mean, Sansa, Lady Stark, had asked for everybody to come in from all
Yeah.
the surrounding areas. So
Okay.
maybe they're less concerned
Objection.
with that.
Objection.
No, I completely agree. This again.
Calm down,
You can
Judge
tell.
Judy.
You can tell every point, every individual storylines where they stopped George R.R. Martin's story
Yeah.
and they started
Yeah.
guessing what's going to happen.
Or you
Maybe
can
they're
see the
just like,
bits and
we need
pieces
to
where they
get this
kept it.
done.
Yeah, but it's the stare. I mean, there's going to be a trial, and he
Yeah.
killed Daenerys' father. He
He
pushed
is
Bronn over
literally the
thing.
king.
He is the
Mad
Kingslayer.
Yeah.
And so there's plenty of reason for everybody there just to dislike
Well,
him.
you
out
know
of hand.
what? Danny's already going to give him the Caesar thumbs down. Like, fuck you, fuck you, you killed. Or maybe she does the
With his
like-
right hand. You know.
Yeah, or maybe she does the same thing that she saw. The the Dothraki do to her crazy, creepy brother.
Well, I mean, isn't it most likely that Bronn's going to be the one to defend, other than Tyrion? But Bronn's going to be Bran's going to be the one to defend because he knows. Because if he doesn't push him out the window, then none of those events happen, and then Bran doesn't become the three-eyed raven.
I'm secretly hoping that they melt down Jaime's gold arm and they just give him the crown since he is the Kingslayer.
I'm poetic justice.
Poetic justice.
Going deep into the books,
but that's just fan
of the words in the Raelorian language, whatever language that Valyrian maybe, that they use to describe Lightbringer. It's like golden sword or something, but it also means like golden hand. So I mean, he could also be the prince. I mean, that's sort of the books. There's so many, which is great.
There's
about
a
the
lot
books.
of complexity going on with trying to figure out that character.
All right, Carlton prediction. Oh, did you give yours?
No,
I don't think I actually gave it. I think I'm pretty sure that something's gonna happen with Rob Baratheon's bastard for sure.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Like they'll see some importance come out of him. Or?
Yeah, because Gendry, because he's so pivotal to like this whole like scheme being carried out. He is the blacksmith that is crafting all of this dragon glass stuff. I think there's something that's going to happen with that.
And that puts 3 different potential heirs to the throne.
Yeah, he does complicate things. I mean, but Targaryens do supersede Baratheons to the throne to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, that's
maybe. I don't know how it works.
It depends. Well, it depends on if the people want to continue on. This is the whole War of the Roses thing, which is a lot of this is based off. They want to follow
Battle of the Bastards,
the House of Lancaster, the House of York. I mean, if they see the last true king being the Mad King, then
yes,
the Targaryen side. But if they see the last true king being Robert and the others being bastards, then it's like, well, or even just Robert and they just want to usurp, then Gendry comes into the conversation.
I do think they're going to allow Jaime to fight with them. I think the fact that
I think so too.
I think especially the way Cersei treated him in the last episode of the last season, where he was basically like, "Fuck this, I'm done." Like this is more important than my love for you, kind of thing. Or you could look at it like, I'm doing this for our child out of love. I'm leaving you, kind of thing. That whole shtick.
Tyrion's gonna come to his aid as well because I think.
Jamie's
Jamie's always come to his. Jamie, no matter what's happened, he's always looked down.
They
are
serious, bros.
Yeah.
Like Cersei's just the crazy one thrown in there, but
But they're not actually brothers, possibly.
Well,
that's true.
In this story, they totally
in this
are.
story they are. But
no, they are because
in the book they're not.
Well, no, they are because in the Southern way of doing this, if it's the same mother, it's not halves. It's only if the parents where they'll say Even regardless if it's a different father, it's like if it's the same mother, everybody's like, well, that's my brother, that's my sister. The people typically don't bring up the half brother or half sister unless it's like the same dad and different moms.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to start off, and I think you make a good point about the trial. I think it's going to start off with that kind of, and then towards the end of the episode, maybe halfway, they're going to realize, oh crap, the White Walkers are pretty close. Because enter scene or episode 3. They're gonna start with the battle, right?
Well, I think too that they're gonna let Jaime fight or believe him. They're gonna give him mercy because he's probably gonna drop the bomb of "Yo, Cersei ain't got your back."
Yeah,
and I think that's gonna be his redemption.
Well,
that not only
the fact that he showed up at all.
Yeah, the fact that he's here, but he's also gonna be like, "Look, Cersei ain't coming."
Yeah,
She's
so that's what's
gonna
save him, and then the whole second half of that episode, I think, is gonna be gearing up for the fight.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The other thing isn't the whole trial the exact thing that John's been railing about? It's like, why are we wasting time in politics?
Yeah,
this guy wants to fight. This guy wants to fight. Let's fight.
But then he's like, literally, we don't have time for this. They're going to be here tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Like,
we're going to spend a couple of days sitting on this.
But then tomorrow morning, we're going to have a trial.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're going to do in King's Landing.
Be a trial by combat, or
Tommen outlawed those throughout the kingdom.
Yeah, Tommen was the one that said nay to that one. After the mountain gouged out that dude's eyes. From Dorne.
When Cersei was totally going to use Robert the Strong to defend her and sent Jaime to take River Run back and said, "Oh, I got my guy. We'll have the Battle of Things." And Tommen says, "It's like speaking to the High Septon, we're going to outlaw trial by combat because it always favored the rich and the wealthy and not have that. So we're going to have a trial by the Seven Septons." And Cersei's like, "Fuck, I'm going to blow everybody up."
She's now queen, though, so basically she could basically be like, okay, we brought those
You
back.
act like she's smart enough to have the hindsight and remember this.
Well, no, first off, Cersei isn't concerned about defending
this is true.
Jaime because she just hired Bronn, as I say the right name correctly,
to
kill him. And Daenerys and the Starks and Sansa are going to be like, no, we're not going to give you the opportunity to defend yourself. So the trial by combat thing is a non-starter. Also, trial by combat is an entire end of an episode. Bronn sending the dude out the moon door, saving Tyrion, the Viper in the mountain. That's an end of an episode. That's not where
we're heading.
That's not what we should be heading with. And
again, with these people,
John, Tyrion, and Bran, for different reasons, should be saying it's like we're wasting our fucking time with this. Get over yourselves.
Yeah.
You think Tormund's going to kick in the door?
I cannot wait to see Bran during that trial, just sitting there creepily.
Well, no, Tormund's going to shove.
I can't wait for the battle. Are we going to just put his wheelchair in the battle?
He's never out of breath, but he's everywhere. I don't get it.
And Hodor's not around to move him.
How many ramps are there in Winterfell? Everything is through 2 to 3
ramps.
Well, he's actually been in the same spot the entire
time. But he always has his hands under...
He literally goes, I'm waiting for an old friend. Because he knew Jay was going to show up. So I'm like...
Yeah, but like...
He literally sat in the same spot the entire time.
You the three-eyed raven, you know exactly like when this dude is showing up. Because you can pick up... Why are you going to sit out there all night?
Well, no, he has the power of foresight, and all he does is use it to sneak up on people.
Oh, yeah, and give everyone like the fucking stink eye.
That's all he does with it.
He very well could have said... He could have gotten a couple of guards. He's like, okay, stand here. There's going to be a guy on a horse that's going to fall by like right past the high sky or whatever. It's like
you'll notice him by his gold hand,
and then when he does, just come and bring him straight to me, and then bring in my sister and say, look, he's here to help. Don't kill him. Because if I didn't do this, I wouldn't know this. We wouldn't have the defense.
They honestly jumped the shark a little bit with them. If you ask me.
I expected that more to be like episode 2 or something. How they kick it off instead of how they end one.
Unbent, unbroken is when they jumped the shark. When they raped Sansa on her wedding night, and they made that moment be the beginning of Theon's redemption. That's when they jumped the shark.
I'm with you, yeah. Well, no, how creepy was it? That was the one thing he brought up with Sansa when he sees her and he's like, "Oh, you're really lovely on the night you got raped."
It's like, I'm sorry this happened to you here. Your dress was beautiful. With everything happened. Yeah. Well, it's literally for the unbelieving Stark, the one who believes in none of these things.
It is like
I'll give you. It's like, well, I surely didn't tell anybody this. Theon hasn't seen him, so obviously he must know.
Well, when did they stop just doing like guess the fingers, behind my back,
Well, I mean, he could have said it's like, I know that Theon and you jumped the wall into the snow and Brienne found you and brought you here. No, he didn't do that. That's not what he did.
I'm very, very, very also just drama interested in how this conversation goes between Bran and Jaime.
It's going to be dry and have no point.
No, it's going to have no point, but it's going to be Jaime not knowing what to say and spending 20 minutes saying it, and Bronn being like,
Bran.
God,
remember, Raisin Bran is bland.
Brandon. I should say Brandon.
Raisin Bran is bland.
Bran is just going to be like, hey, dude.
You have to have some brawn to bang some chicks. That's how I get keep
Jaime, what's going to happen?
And Brandon's going to say, it doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal because I wouldn't be here now without you doing
I wouldn't be waiting for you here.
It's going to be 5 minutes of silence of Jaime going,
do you really think HBO is going to spend all that production time for them to just like
it'll be 30 seconds of silence.
No, Bran's going to be shouting, hey guys, it doesn't matter, while Sansa and everyone else like, fuck this guy. And Bran's like, dude, no.
I'm waiting for Bran to open his mouth and be like, how's your sister?
John and Bran and probably Tyrion. I'm assuming.
Tyrion, no, it would be Tyrion.
It's going to be Tyrion, Bran, and John are like, guys, it doesn't matter. He's here, but fuck that. We need to focus on this while Sansa and
you're absolutely right.
Dany
is like it's going to end with as they're about to let's go kill him and waste our time.
No, Tormund. Tormund's going to be showing up at the last second.
Tormund coming through.
Hey guys, this family and these soldiers aren't showing up because they are white.
You're never going to guess the shit I just saw.
I have blue eyes, guys.
They're going to scurry down.
Because that kid was supposed to go get him. He said
Lord Ned Umber, named after Ned Stark.
The beginning of that show, I was like, dude, that kid's the man, and then just nailed to the.
I was hoping he was like the male version of.
Well, the White Walkers are
Mormont,
Lyanna Mormont.
The White Walkers are way closer.
Lyanna Mormont, who's named after Jon's mother.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing. It's like the houses would name after the important people.
So
in the
much more incest going on than just Jaime and Cersei.
Well, that's one of the things in the book. One of the things in the book leads into the two stories talking about Bear Island, and that Lady Mormont, Jorah's.
Sister, aunt,
is that she's not married and yet she has all these daughters, and then
Lyanna
being the youngest one, and that one of the things that Tormund is known for is being a bear fucker, and so the thought was is that they went
my God,
poaching. Well, that's the story. It's like he's a giant's bane and all of these things. Is that he went to Tormund? Tormund went to Bear Island, and that lady.
Are you talking about
the
gay
mom,
bear or like physical, like rawr bear?
No, not real bears,
Okay.
but that's the story that gets told
Joke,
because you
sorry.
know the way that the stories get more than, and he probably said yes, but no, is that, and it was one of the ladies of Bear Island, and that he could possibly be the dad of all of the mom Mormont's kids, so he could be Lyanna's father. Is one of the things that's alluded to in the books. Which would be completely
cool.
Make sense.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right.
I see John squirming over here to talk about Endgame.
I feel bad about Hash not being able to be involved in this.
Yeah. No, he finally shows up and.
No. We're gonna go ahead and end our Thrones talk. We already got.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tormund shows up.
I think we thoroughly fucked this episode up.
Tormund stops the trial.
Yeah, he stops the trial. He's like, guys, they're here. Like literally, it's gonna be given the way these guys have been directing these episodes and writing this shit. The White Walkers are gonna be literally chasing them. And you're gonna see Tormund.
I mean, they do run,
and they're gonna be behind her, like,
okay.
They have blue eyes too, but not me.
Like, it's gonna be so corny.
Well, here's one of the things. Well, he says in the
It's very
teaser, it says
Mulan-esque.
by the sunrise of the next morning, so it's like less than 12 hours. But here's the thing: it's like, why is the undead not just running to everywhere?
Who?
The dead, the whites.
Oh yeah, why are they just not running all the time?
So when they run down in the great dragon thing, and when the Suicide Squad went north and they're stuck on the island, they run down to the thing and then they wait, and then once they realize that the ice is frozen again, they run again. And oh, by the way, the ice, which was broken by a crack, and then the dead walking on it, which goes all the way around. One shot of dragon fire doesn't melt all of it and all cracks again, and then everybody's safe in the middle. No, that doesn't happen because dragon fire is the most strongest fire in the world.
Also,
can't melt ice in a lake.
Also, physics does not work that way with that kind of weight on top of it.
Well, especially not in that context.
Supplies in this place?
It does when it needs to. And then that, but
it does what it needs to.
But
what I say, so
we saw them run.
It.
It's like once they break through the wall, why don't they just run to Last Hearth and then kill everybody and raise them and then run to Winterfell? It's like, you want to win. It's like, don't give them.
Yeah.
It's not like they're getting tired. You don't have to feed them.
I mean, literally, like John's like they don't eat, they don't sleep,
They'll
don't
never
rest.
stop. They'll never quit.
But so why are they walking then? Unless the Night King has some kind of incentive to let them prepare.
Well, no, he doesn't. But that's why George Romero said zombies can't run. Because that way he creates the opportunity for the victims to win.
Well, also the Three-Eyed Raven in season 6 also states that there's like a connection between the Three-Eyed Raven and the Night King.
Well,
like,
he after he touched him. After he touched
him. So I'm
Bran is the three, or Bran is the
became.
He is quote unquote the Three-Eyed. He's not the Night King. But I mean,
this is the worst part of people watching shows and not paying attention to him.
He totally is.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he's the Night King. But like, if he's got Bran seems to be so calm about all of this going on, and I know you want to segue. So this is like the last thing I'm going to say.
Well, no, I'm saying,
but Bran
he
is
Doctor Stranged it. And somehow he fucked it all up.
But he's so calm. I mean, he's calm, but he's not. It's like he knows that there's a certain like steps that need to occur in order for things to happen the right way. So he's got to know why the White Walkers are walking.
Well, Bran can go into the past and he can warg into people in the past.
Well, he doesn't. No, he doesn't warg into the people. He
wargs into the scene.
But he affects because now he has a connection between that character in two different time frames. But that's one of the theories in the book is that he might be the cause of Aerys becoming the Mad King. Is that he tries to go back in the past and explain to him about the burning, and that's why he does the wildfires to help protect King's Landing from that, and that's what helps drive him nuts. Which that's clever. I kind of like that. And in the books, it'll work out.
I mean, I can see it coming like that, where Bran's actually been the instigator of a lot of major shit.
He's been the instigator of all of it because he fucked up.
Which again,
Strange and fucked up.
Which goes to show him to be just like his older sister and not nearly as smart as everybody thinks that they are, and just screws things up.
Bran also acknowledges he's like, I'm not yet a man, but like he also acknowledges that he became the Three-Eyed Raven way too soon.
He said I'm not a man.
Well,
I'm not that.
I mean,
he's no longer his brother.
I mean, I also got a chuckle out of that because I'm just like, I don't know, does it work? I mean, like maybe. I mean, you might never be.
That's what I thought when he first said it. I was like, oh, poor him.
No, yeah, I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Mirror would totally take.
Or maybe he was like, I've been doing a lot of stuff I haven't been a chance chance to get laid yet. Maybe that's what he was saying. Like, help
I've
me.
been busy. Well, he shouldn't have
I've been
kicked the
busy
mirror
fucking
out
up
the
different
door.
parts of history and skewing the time ratios.
He shouldn't have kicked the mirror out the door when she was leaving.
Clearly, I'm not good with conversation.
All right, your segue, John. Since
yeah,
apparently we can.
I'm happy to move
You
on.
guys can fucking talk about Game of Thrones forever.
We literally could.
I'm happy to move on.
I'm happy to move on because we're a week away from what really matters.
What is that?
Endgame?
Endgame.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone seems so depressed in the trailer.
That's the point. I've been
that's kind of the point.
media blocking everything. So
I'm sorry. Let me.
Well, no,
I'm the new Marvel character, Captain Obvious.
The embargo for the reviews gets dropped on
joke.
Tuesday.
I'm going to be the person that is complaining and whining about people that reference what Thanos did as the decimation, which would be 1/10 and not half. People are idiots.
I call it the snapping, so whatever.
That's fine.
Well, so do they refer to it as the decimation? They do.
Well, a
called
couple
the
people,
fappening?
not within the context of the movie.
The snapping, but no, the fappening.
The snapping.
Oh, the snapping,
The snapping, not the fappening.
No,
Even though
I know.
I'm a huge fan of the
No, I
fappening,
went
too.
Thanos, fappening, the fappening.
Only for a short while.
See, you're the dirty mind for once. Thank you.
See, I like Portman too, so the snapping is clever.
Well,
The
that's
snapping.
been like my least favorite story to why.
Yeah, get up in here, Hash. Come on.
In all of the probably all the Marvel movies is
Now that
why
we're done.
Thanos is trying to do anything because he hates population. I mean, I get why they had to write it like that. I do, but I mean, then again, if he has all that power, he could snap and make more food, that kind of stuff.
Well, but this fits into this because
All right, hold on.
in
Let's
order
recap real quick. What Marvel? What characters do we still have alive? Which ones did not? Because it's been a while.
the original six
original.
Avengers.
Original plus Groot.
No,
Rocket.
Rocket.
Rocket's in
Rocket.
there.
Rocket has Groot.
Nebula.
Nebula.
Nebula's still there.
We've got Black Widow still.
The original
all the
six
original
Avengers.
are still there.
The original six
okay,
Avengers.
War Machine.
War
War
Machine. There you
Machine,
go. Good one.
Ant-Man.
Well, yeah, of
but
course,
they don't know.
'cause-
But
or
they
else-
don't know
They
yet.
don't know that he's still there, but he's still there.
Yeah, but Cat, Thor,
It's probably not the first time he's heard that.
Black Widow.
Bruce Banner's still there.
Banner,
Captain
yeah.
Marvel's still there. By the way, they filmed her scenes for this movie before she filmed
That first
Marvel.
appearance was, yeah.
Yeah. That's
They were still writing the other thing.
They had no idea. Like, I don't know how that's going to work out.
So Thanos did the snap at the end of the last movie. So where are they going with it now? I'm not the comic book person, so I don't know. So it's
They
like-
want to reverse it. They want to bring it back. But
Yeah.
going back to it, it's like
how
why
do you
doesn't
reverse
why?
it?
It's like people. It's like why don't you double all the things? It's like anybody whose thought is well, why don't I kill half the people is kind of a psychopath. So they're not going to
That's
think
why
of
they
the
call him
other option.
That's why they call him the Mad Titan.
Yes.
Call him
Well,
Mad Titan
no,
for a
they're not going to
reason.
think of the other option.
One of my biggest things is, you can always trace back some of the biggest problems in our world to overpopulation. So I've been saying this, snapping thing for years. But
should happen. If
Well,
you
that,
apply
I mean, that was
He's
snapping
be
might
applied to
need
real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the snapping might need
Yeah.
to happen.
I mean, that was the basis of Dan Brown's fourth book.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno.
Dante's
book.
Inferno,
Was
release
about
a virus.
release a virus to
yeah.
kill half the population,
Yeah.
or make half the population sterile.
I mean,
Yeah.
even
Which
the
again,
leftovers.
and-
There's so many
and-
shows about
That's
it.
what they're trying to do with mosquitoes, anyways. Yeah.
What do you got against mosquitoes, man? I mean,
They're
they're
disease
itchy.
carriers.
Bloodsuckers.
They're disease carriers.
They're just mini vampires, man. They just want to suck blood and shit.
no, they're in the
live.
daytime. They will come after you all times. There's no safety.
Livin.
Are you going to carry on the conversation?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just.
Sorry, I broke it
I
up
don't
there
know how that
with
went
my
from
Matthew
vampires to
McConaughey.
mosquitoes. I think you're going to go somewhere with mosquitoes, though. I mean, what were you going to say about that?
Yeah, where are you going with it?
I mean, they've caused more deaths than anything, in mankind, I think.
You can say the same
Probably
thing
them
about
and
bats,
rats.
too.
Yeah, them and rats,
Bats,
Bats,
rats, dogs, them
pigs.
sort of things. Yeah. Tsetse flies, that sort of stuff.
African sleeping sickness.
African sleeping
Malaria.
sickness, yeah.
Malaria.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Avian bird flu.
Yeah, I mean, no, mosquitoes suck.
Humankind in general.
But no,
Bump.
yeah. But
you out dad joked me.
All right, so we got one mom
well,
joke
I
and
was
then
gonna
two
say
dad
that
jokes so far.
I was gonna say earlier with the Game of Thrones things that the White Walkers have a bone to pick with humanity, but I didn't want to keep going on it. So
Get in here, Hatch. Come on.
yeah,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We're talking about Endgame.
we're in game.
Yeah.
You can talk about this. You got the socks to match. I was actually talking about your Tupac socks last
I'm
week.
just kind of like antsy about it. I don't want to watch it and then be disappointed.
Well, that's why I haven't watched
Then-
any of the trailers.
Then
or
do
anything
it.
like
Oh,
that.
what were you
Yeah,
talking about?
there's
I thought you were talking about the
shit
podcast. For
Yeah,
a
I was like,
second.
damn, I listened to the podcast like yesterday, the one that John put out, and I was like, wow, I don't sound like as much of an airhead
I'm
as
his
I
roommate.
thought.
Didn't even tell me.
It was on his Facebook.
It was on his. Yeah, it was
see,
on his.
I'm the guy who produced this, and I didn't find out.
It was on his Instagram.
I see. I don't even know how to do any of that stuff, so I'm completely worthless in that matter.
Yeah, he has it in his bio on his IG.
He changed his Instagram title, face picture.
Did he really?
This is also called
picture of his
Simon
logo.
Says, by the way.
Yeah.
What's
Nice.
it
Yeah.
supposed to be
I knew
called?
that. Yeah.
What's it supposed to be called?
Simon Says.
I mean, apparently my idea of the things said
says.
between heavy breathing definitely got shot down. Obviously, because when
Star Wars are heavy breathing, man. Best
Star
game
Wars-
ever.
Star Wars or porn.
Star Wars are porn.
Did you listen to last week, Hash? We literally came. We're gonna do a segment where it's like, is this Star Wars or porn?
Because
like,
the last trailer showed with Rey with heavy breathing,
15
and then
seconds
Karl
away.
jumped in with the Darth Vader one. It's like, oh God, yes.
So you literally there are multiple scenes where you in Star Wars where you can just be like,
No,
is
and
this
even
porn? That's
even in the last trailer, I think what's his name was heavy breathing. Not Brian Boitano. What's his name?
That's a figure skater.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be in that.
They have
one,
the
I don't
same
know.
sort of name. It's gonna kill me.
It's not Oscar Isaac, is it?
No.
What Mr. Encyclopedia?
Finn.
You know this.
Finn.
Oh, Finn is
Not Finn.
Oh, John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yeah, he's
Brian
Oh, no, he had-
Boitano. John Boyega. Yeah.
He had in the
He had
Force
deep-
Awakens.
yeah, deep
when he
breathing.
pops in.
Yeah. Deep
Yeah,
breathing.
I don't know. I thought you were supposed to see eyes in the corner, aren't you? No.
No,
No, I don't think anybody's there, right?
no, we have people watching. It's just join.
It would say, yeah, but nah. Somebody comment.
You look like Mickey Mouse right now. With
I feel like Mickey
He's
Mouse.
he's doing what
Okay, I
everybody who
listened to-
thinks they look cool when they put the headsets on top of their
You
head. They
should
don't
see-
listen to
you
them.
should
where
see
they-
Calm down,
helium
Joe
that I
Rogan.
get.
Calm down, Joe
You
Rogan.
should see the amount of helium I can inhale.
Oh my god! I actually really did when I was listening to last week's recap podcast. I actually very much enjoyed your ha came across very good.
Oh boy.
Oh, Cody.
No, I
Okay, so
I didn't say she was crazy. I said she was goofy.
But no, in game. I know what people are saying that it's going to start off with them battling Thanos.
Well, there's clearly two time frames
gonna
because we
start
see
like that?
we see blonde-haired Black Widow, and then we see longer red hair with blonde tips Black Widow. So that's to let us know that time has passed.
It could be flashbacks though.
She's going back in time to where she has blonde tips and red hair when her hair is currently blonde.
Well, wait,
No.
what does she
You
what does she
don't-
have
you
when she
don't
sees
regress
Ronan?
like that.
But we have Tony Stark with blonde hair too, so definitely time has passed.
When what
gray
hair does she
hair,
have when she
blonde
has when she
The end
sees
of Infinity
Ronan?
War. The end of Infinity War is blonde. At
Yeah.
the end of Captain Marvel and the teaser, she's got the blonde bob still,
Yeah.
or Page Boy. Is it more of a Page Boy?
Okay, so
As we try to figure out what the static
I
was.
was gonna say, so everyone's predictions for what they're gonna include in Endgame, because we already know they're gonna battle Thanos. How? What are they gonna do?
Two of
I
them
don't-
are dying.
How
for
do they
sure.
plan? How does?
Yeah.
I mean, now that you,
100%
I mean, you've got.
Captain's gone.
Well, I mean, you've got Tony Stark too. So many Starks. So Jesus.
Well, they're implying that he's got a wedding set up and that Pepper is pregnant. So I don't know that they're going to kill him
Wait,
off.
Pepper didn't die in the snap.
Whichever one.
We don't know, but we see that
They're
she
not
didn't.
killing.
Which,
they're not killing off Tony.
Whichever
They're not, and they can't kill
refers that
Pepper too. They can't. They
if
can't
anyone
kill
ever
both of them.
says retirement, which one says retirement? So which one's gonna die? That's gonna die. I'm pretty sure.
Death or
That's how it always goes in every movie. Anyone that refers to I'm so close to retirement always dies.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
a that's a
the
that's a
cop
law.
movie. The
Yeah,
cop
that's a
movie death
law.
bet.
Yeah, that's
and they're
for
basically
movies.
world cops.
Yes.
So
No, they are.
yeah,
Universe cops.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Can't forget Guardians of the Galaxy, man. That was like awesome. You can't forget that.
universe cops.
Literally.
Yeah. But no, it'll be nice to finally see the Avengers avenge something.
Doctor Strange is
Which
still
is
alive,
which I've
right?
heard somebody say this wrong and
Strange is
before,
gone.
and you're absolutely wrong because they
he's gone.
avenged Coulson in
Okay.
the first
Well, not
movie.
dead, but
They,
Oh, you're right.
they avenged.
You're right.
They avenged all of the Shield agents that were killed by Hydra and Age of Ultron and Infinity. I mean, every movie that they've avenged somebody.
somebody or something.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I was thinking.
Somebody said, "Oh no,
They're
they're going to
literally
avenge somebody."
called
It's like,
the
oh no, you
Avengers.
don't care about all these other people that have sacrificed their lives previously.
Well, I
Coulson's-
personally don't.
Well,
No, except
they're
for
non-
Coulson.
they're non-existent people.
Coulson should come back.
And, well, Coulson, he exists as I air quote, but he's literally the reason the Avengers got back together.
Yeah,
he
but
was
time
he was the person
has
they were
now
envisioning.
passed.
Yes.
I think they're over it, and now he can come back and be like, yay.
Well, especially with what will be going on after, who knows what could occur at that point.
Oh yeah.
Captain America definitely dies, and
He definitely does.
I wonder who chops off Thanos' arm and gets the glove.
Nebula.
Well,
if they go by comics, Nebula gets the glove, and then they have to take it from Nebula.
But the
Nebula
glove doesn't work anymore.
But at that Nebula, it wasn't bad.
He uses it to
She's
get
not.
away.
No, but
yeah, he does use it to get away.
No, he uses the Space Stone to get away.
No, the time one.
But he uses it through the.
No, that's a Space Stone.
Yeah, because he warps out.
Yeah, he still
But
uses
the glove is burnt out.
it's damaged. It's definitely damaged.
but it still works.
So
a
it
little
can't
bit.
use
It
the
does
stones
seem like
to
it's
its full
fused to his
potential
arm.
anymore. Every stone now has.
I don't know if it's damaged or just fused to him.
Does it? I mean, is it?
I don't think
if
it was
it's
on his hand at the end when he's sitting and looking out at his.
No.
Well,
He
if it's fused to him, obviously they can't take it from him. Then
I mean, it's a glove.
So it can't be fused to him, now that I think about it.
Put it and
He was
hit
able
it
to take
somewhere.
But it's damaged. So now
I'm sure he has to take it off.
it doesn't have its full
Oh,
potential anymore.
oh, maybe I need to go watch it, but I don't remember seeing it like off to the side.
He can't use the power to its fullest potential anymore. So now
You don't think?
Yeah, he is right. It's damaged.
That's fair. Because how are you going to beat him if
I think that's
he
probably
can?
one of the theories
He
as
has
to why Strange gave him the stone, because one of the he went through 14 million
605.
605
605
and only one
scenarios.
of them they won.
Yeah.
That one is possible.
Him
where
getting all of his power.
He has to do it first
Yeah.
for them to be able to destroy him in the end. It's kind of like
Like
in
self-sacrifice.
chess.
Yeah.
What's that?
The Endgame.
The Endgame.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah, that's why it's called Endgame.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
If they have another one coming out, they call it checkmate. I'm
You
just
should.
gonna eye roll so fucking
You
hard.
should have let him wait. It's like, what's that term in
Oh,
chess?
yeah.
What's it called? It's what is it?
I love him too
the
much to
Endgame?
let him be that
I
blonde
don't
for
see many people
so
playing
long.
chess nowadays. So I mean,
Chess is dope. Anyone that knocks chess is a checkers person.
We're in the game. In game now.
Yeah, if they name the next one like Avengers Checkmate, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
That's a DC thing.
Avengers King me.
Damn, I don't think we're gonna get an Avengers movie for a while. For this one.
Oh
No,
it's
no,
gonna
no,
be
I
a
think we'll
minute.
absolutely get one within 3 years.
3 years?
Within 3 years, I don't think
that's a
so.
lot.
That's rather
I don't
ambitious
think-
of you,
I don't think
darling.
we get another Avengers movie for until.
That's
Well-
2022.
I don't think we get one until.
I can do math, Jerry.
I'm not saying
As
you
you
can.
remember how many scenarios
I think
Doctor Strange
I think
went
we don't get
through.
one for. I think they're gonna take the time
Say they
for
do.
another
What?
Avengers movie.
Who could they consist of? Who would they?
We'll know about the cutscenes in the last one.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
they're
your
gonna all
basis
be there
going
right there.
forward.
Yeah.
Based on the
I was
Disney
not mad
Plus
that
shows,
Spider-Man
Vision
child
and
died.
Scarlet Witch will still be around. With
I
with
hope-
the thought of a
leaning
potentially
towards, like,
being
the
a
West
House
Coast
of
Avengers,
N
I
thing
feel
sitting
like.
at some point, Scarlet Witch will be around.
Do you think Scarlet Witch and Vision? Do you think that ends up being a rom com?
Lord have mercy.
I would not
camera,
mind.
Single camera. They're at the Stark compound. Single camera.
There's gonna be-
rom-com show.
There'll be some
I
mystical
think that
boning.
should be-
No, I will
With a
allow
laugh
that
track, too.
as long as Vision is the klutzy one that always injures himself. Like
As opposed
they
to
already have-
Ant-Man going
yeah.
up Thanos' ass.
They already have him being the bad cook, so I mean that's setting up toward
like
that.
him stubbing his toe when he wakes
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
That kind because that's what Infinity War was. Is just him getting the shit kicked out of him, just over and over.
Yeah, but it was funny, so
battering
it was
him
okay.
this way and that way.
I mean,
He's killed twice.
yeah.
They're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull this rock out of
do you
his
think
head.
that was necessary? No, they wanted him to suffer
I
more.
think it's strange because he's one of the most powerful.
Yeah, which
They
was
really
peculiar.
they lead him up to be one of the
They
most
literally
powerful.
Took him
Yeah.
out right away. They were
Yeah.
like,
I was really sad about that one.
Well,
Well, it's the same reason Thor and the Hulk weren't in Civil War. You have to
Yeah,
take some pieces
yeah,
off.
you
the
can't
board.
really
It's on the
have,
board
yeah.
and you can't have it all going on. But I mean, do you think which version of Hulk do you think we get in this movie?
I'm hoping
Professor Hulk.
Yeah, Professor Hulk.
You think we get Professor Hulk?
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're.
I think we just get Smash Bash.
Yeah.
And I think Hulk ends up actually is the one who gives. I mean,
The sacrifice
I
play.
mean-
no.
I mean, he's the only
okay.
one size-wise who can beat the shit out of
No,
Thanos.
Captain
Like, if
Marvel.
we're
Well,
just
apparently
looking
not.
at...
Not
'cause of
apparently
the
not.
game. Yeah,
All right,
Infinity
apparently
War. Yeah.
Captain Marvel will end up getting a good blow. I think Hulk ends up getting good.
We all,
Sexist
I was gonna say,
jackass.
we all hope for good blows. Let's be honest here.
Giving Thanos a good blow? You jerk.
What if he tricks them seductively to take back the...
Oh,
do not
can
like
only
any
can
girl right
only
now,
use
not
her
gonna do.
feminine wiles to beat Thanos, huh?
Well, it's
Depends on
Yeah.
preference.
Is
Based
she
on-
allowed to leave the kitchen, John?
There's got to be a sandwich scene then if that's good.
That's gonna be the movie. That's gonna be the stinger at the end.
Pepper
Eat
making
this
a
sandwich.
sandwich.
It's Captain Marvel making the entire making them all sandwiches at
Like
the end of
mass
the movie.
with his massive blimpy sauce.
It's a regular cheese sandwich that she grills as she hands it with her.
Like, you asked for the sandwich, here you go.
Where did our viewership go?
Oh, I can't imagine mine.
No, that's Instagram now.
Well, based off of Captain Marvel and the Scarlet Witch's power structures, because they got their powers off of Infinity Stones, they should be at the upper tier of the abilities wise. And we were shown that the Scarlet Witch is the strongest current Avenger because she was holding off Thanos and the 5 stones while destroying the 6th one.
So gangster. Loved her.
That was actually
underrated character of the whole.
Well, the thing is, Feige came out and had to fuck everything up and say that Captain Marvel's the most powerful character.
Yeah, but I don't think we have to believe him, because when he said that every movie takes place in the year that it's released, none of the movies at that point took place in the year that they were released.
Spider-Man takes place 8 years later.
I mean, he has been throwing some misdirection lately, so.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy 2 took place a couple of months after Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know what? Talking about that, so I went to Disney trivia yesterday.
Oh, how did that go?
Okay, so we came in second place.
Wait, where was
what
this,
question did you
we
miss?
Did Marvel. No. So this is what happened. So we went and did Marvel trivia yesterday. We came in second place. So we actually did really well. The directors knocked it out of the park. The stinger scenes knocked it out of the park. So 2 of the rounds was name the director for the movies. Easy. And then another round was name the stinger scenes. What happens at the end of blah, blah, blah. What happens. What song is playing. Yada, yada, yada. Easy.
Oh, if they asked me the Deadpool ones, I would have it.
They asked
all
me to, in chronological order, based on what IMDb says, list the movies in order. And that fucked it. That's the reason why we lost.
Is that release order or time frame?
No, time frame. But then the problem is they put Ant-Man and the Wasp basically third to last. Even though Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place right after Civil War.
Because that's going off of release, not timeline-wise.
Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place before Infinity War, and the Stinger is after Infinity War.
Yeah, but it takes place before Black Panther. I think Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, all those movies literally take place literally right after Civil War.
Civil War happens. Black Panther's immediately
after. I think.
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp is several months later, because he's literally 2 months away from being off of house arrest. So that's at least that's after Black Panther.
Well, then how long did they give him house arrest for then?
Well, it's been 2 years from Civil War to Infinity War.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what, you're right.
He's trying to make something that's like, oh, it's totally their fault. And it's like, oh, I totally missed him.
Yeah, I missed. I fucked that up.
Ant-Man happens, and then boom, Infinity War.
And then after Infinity War is the Stinger for Ant-Man and Wasp.
So I guess it happens almost congruently, but not quite.
Well, I mean, it's the whole Thor, Hulk,
and
the end of Iron Man 2.
Well, Thor Ragnarok takes place literally right before. Well, maybe not, because who knows how they've been floating in space.
Right.
Trying to get to Earth or where the fuck they're going.
I wonder how they're going to incorporate.
No, because it ends with at the end of Thor Ragnarok you see Sanctuary 2 showing up.
So that literally takes place right before, but at the same time.
Yeah. I think they're just going to let him be.
Ant-Man and Wasp is before.
Ant-Man
and Wasp takes place after Endgame.
They're going to come back, and then they're going to.
Well, only the Stinger.
Then just go.
Hold on. We're having 2 different conversations. This is going to get complicated.
Anyway, so no, we lost by 2 points because of that. I got the bad odor on that. And now I want to avenge. I want to avenge my loss. I'm so angry about
all right, that makes 3 dad jokes. I'm gonna avenge. Come on.
Shut up. It worked.
I did.
Give me a break. It worked.
Dad joke.
I got to even use the title of the movie we're discussing in my joke.
What's the thing in chess when you're trying to sacrifice?
The Endgame. So thank you. Anyways, the same.
The end is the game.
At the end of the game.
The guy who hosted the
thing
trivia,
at the end of the game.
The guy who hosts that trivia, he also hosts a Harry Potter and Disney trivia, and I'm going to go crush at those. So maybe not Harry Potter so much.
Well,
Disney
is that movie or book related Harry Potter?
I was say I could fuck up some Disney. Ask me anything about Mulan, I got you, man. I'll make a man out of you.
That's literally my favorite Disney movie.
It's that
Avatar?
It was on Freeform like a couple of days ago. It's like, oh, I'll get to sleep early at like 2 a.m. Damn it.
Speaking of our fuck, marry, kill, it's actually Mulan is on Netflix and has been for like a hot minute. I love it. I watch it like 4 times.
I don't watch things on Netflix.
Don't get used to it being on Netflix for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be off there pretty soon.
I don't watch things on Netflix.
What do you think about the idea? Well, not the even. All right, so I guess we're done talking about Endgame. Do you think?
Are we, Mr. Moderator?
Never.
It can always come back.
Do you genuinely think? Like, so the review embargo for that movie drops on Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yes, which I
Damn,
think
you got it down to like.
Well, I think that's
time.
actually when it's released as when the first international.
I think it's social media. It's gonna be basically.
I think it's that's also the same time the international people can see the movie the first time.
So this could be the first Marvel movie who doesn't get like a 2-week review. Do you think that affects anything at all? Like as far as
no, because it's intentional because they want to limit the opportunity for the leaks. Other than the first hour that was recorded on a phone.
Is that what released?
It was the first hour of it. Was apparently somebody shot it on a phone
in the Middle East, right? Somewhere in the Middle East, I think it was.
But this is the thing though, and this is what's good because I can't believe this. The first I had heard about this was on a Facebook toy line page because I collect Marvel toys, and it was released about 2 weeks ago. So it's taken 2 weeks to go from and I'm sure that those people that were referencing that were in the Hong Kong area where all of the leaks and the early toy things come out. So it took about 2 weeks for it to go from the underground internet to the periphery of the internet, like 48 hours ago.
Like in the bowels of the internet of Reddit, that there was this video.
So that's a good sign that people aren't completely like crapping all over everything.
And they don't want to. No, who wants to get that? Who wants to watch?
Everyone's been downvoting it.
Sadistic asshole wants to go watch the
I
first
don't know.
hour.
Maybe somebody who wants the Night King to win.
Not me. Granted. No,
or thinks that Raisin Bran is the
I know. I'm. You know me. I'm a cinemaphile.
You're a contrarian. You're a contrarian, though.
Yes, but I'm also a person who I have movies that I have to see in theaters.
Oh, no.
I have movies I'm not going to spoil.
But I think there's
when it goes, give them my taste and how I like to watch
and also,
it.
I think the other thing is because Game of Thrones is occurring at the same time, there's the opportunity to spoil things like that, which is since it's a week-to-week thing can continue more. So I think maybe Avengers Endgame is being overlooked by the trolls of the internet because they can ruin people on a weekly, continuous basis for 6 weeks.
Oh, the trolls do love drawing out the torture.
Well, you mean like how the first episode of Game of Thrones was actually accidentally leaked on DirecTV now?
Like
DirecTV now,
3 days before?
No, it was like 3 hours before.
Yeah, no, somebody glitched accidentally, like hit the wrong button and
well, that's
made it visible.
was it last DirecTV Spain, DirecTV HBO uploaded the Beyond the Wall, where the dragons last season's episode 6 or 5.
Yeah, it leaked
like 6 days before.
6 days
I totally watched that on Reddit because it's like I'm not going to wait.
Oh yeah, no.
because I watched the first part. It's like, oh no, this is good quality. I mean, it was on my phone, but it was
Reddit
HD.
Sponsorship for as much as all 4 or 5 of us use Reddit.
Reddit, get us free stuff.
Yeah, Reddit, we'll give you a shout out every time, man. We use you.
But free stuff. I think
what's Reddit going to give us?
But that's absolutely
our own forum. I mean, like here you go, here's your own forum.
In fact, I think the critic screening in Charlotte, I don't think is until
probably till Wednesday.
Today is Thursday. I think as I'd seen what my critics posted about, I think it's next Wednesday, either
it's
late Tuesday or Wednesday.
No,
so barely.
You're not getting any.
Typically, it's Tuesday.
Well, basically, what I'm just going to do, since I'm a week away from seeing the movie, I'm just going to take a bunch of sleeping pills and hopefully sleep for about a week.
One
and
of the
then wake up
listed all of the terms that he's blocking on the internet for the next 7 days. One of them was that move at the end of chess.
Yeah, there you go.
Endgame, right?
Yes.
No,
yes.
Endgame.
Endgame.
King me, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's King me, right?
Which has only been I think 3 times in the entire franchise.
Endgame.
Yes, the most important one besides Doctor Strange was when Tony is in Age of Ultron. It's like up there is the Endgame.
That's the Endgame.
That's the Endgame. Yeah, that's true. I was going to say it was a Tony Stark one for sure.
Yeah, that's where I got chills.
That's the Endgame.
Nice.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah.
When he's explaining
why he was setting up Ultron.
Yeah.
We can hear him, just not as clearly.
You sound like a beautiful echo.
He sounds like a ghost, unlike the one we don't see in Game of Thrones.
He would be a great narrator.
Well, they're terrifically important.
People like animals, John.
Well, it's not even that. It's the first scene. It's like the first couple of scenes in the show of the importance of like, oh, the wolves with the kids of the Starks. It's important. It matters. It's like we're not good enough.
Yeah. No, they pretty much stopped showing them.
Well, they killed them. They killed most of them off as quickly as possible. And there's 2 of them still alive, and one of them they said, "Well, nope, they're in the wild. We're never going to use them." And the other one
got sent away.
That should be present at all times, is never seen.
Well, maybe he's taking like a dog siesta, you know?
It sucks.
I mean, he's literally
he could be laying down in the snow with his eyes closed. We don't know.
I was going to say, literally, his name is Ghost. He could literally just be observing all of this.
The last 2 episodes just for your.
Oh, he needs to be the one to kill the Night King.
I hope.
Ghost just
you know what they made?
Down.
You know what they did?
God.
They need to. Gendry needs to make a
some
what is the teeth cover things?
A muzzle?
Muzzle?
No, that's covering the whole
Caps?
mouth. the grill. He needs to make a Valerian style, like a dragon glass grill for wolves. So he just go and like eat them and
you know those horrible contraptions you can put on your cat's paws to give them nails so they can't claw shit. He should make those, but out of dragon glass for for the dire wolves.
Yeah. He just goes through and swaths through them as a whole.
Oh man, I would love that so much. Or maybe like a tail attachment where his tail like just swishes and then it's like.
Well, you know he's got to be in it. Well, I hate to come back to Game of Thrones.
But in theory,
this is just my thing for it because dogs love bones. And it's just an army of just a banquet. A banquet coming at Ghost. He's like, oh, this is nice.
Well, you're right. Just give him,
Was it Ghost or was it Grey Wind? Like in the very first season, brings back the hand from one of the...
Grey Wind.
Grey Wind. So Grey Wind, they already showed that they're into that.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, before we get off topic. No, I'm not sure what it's going to take for, Thanos to be ungloved in Endgame
as we go to hand removal in a different
yeah.
But I think the
good job.
I
appreciate that.
I think the Twitter it'll be fun at about what? So 8:00 Monday, so 11:00 Eastern, 11:15 when the tweets start coming from or it might be even a 7:00 showing.
No, the movie drops. I do believe Wednesday,
but the official screening with the
Tuesday.
It's technically Tuesday.
No, I'm talking about like Monday for the screening that Disney puts on with the stars and the red carpet one. Monday, Monday at like 7:00 Pacific. So it'll be 10:05.
No, but typically Disney and all these studios they put a embargo for social media as well.
They allow the tweets. They'll allow the tweets. They have
first reactions.
Yeah, the first reaction. So at about 10:30.
Yeah, there's like
Eastern,
rules for it. Like if you're gonna tweet about it,
like you can only say certain things.
You can only give your reaction.
It was fantastic, or best movie ever.
So
where you can't say specific. You can only generalize. Or Disney apparently can just own your house and your children. And
a purple guy.
I'm still freaking.
So I mean that'll be
taken
the
out
thing.
by a man in a red costume.
The not what you expect tweet. That's my. I'm putting that in. Is we'll see the not what you expect at least 3 times.
If
by
we don't have
reviewers.
the same dude that did the dope soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, I'm gonna be so angry if Endgame has like the shittiest soundtrack.
Well, the thing, speaking of soundtracks, as we go back to Game of Thrones, which has the best one on television, Jawadi did Iron Man 1.
Floppy Wee.
Yes.
Floppy Wee.
Or 2. He did 2, and you could see some of the themes that he was building with that. It's like, oh, it's unfortunate that they didn't use him to lay out all the sound work of the movie, so when it got to Avengers, it could combine all the different themes together, which is the greatest thing when you listen to, the first time you hear the love theme for Danny and John is when they're in Dragonstone, and if you go backwards and you can find the tracks, you can go the tracks. Well, you can go tracks of all of the scenes, like all of the Danny scenes and all of the John scenes, and they have the 2 different themes that are half of what's part of the love scene. So they like all of Danny's themes when they're used like throughout from season 1 on.
It's pretty clever.
He had planned that from the beginning to where it's like, oh no, you go through this, and here's John's theme, okay, because this is a John's theme. You can kind of hear his motif, and then the same thing with her, and then all of a sudden they're together. It's like, oh, there they are, both of them together. It's like, it's fantastic.
The thing with me is I always watch that love scene when it's muted. So that's the problem.
Wait, which
that's when they're on the boat. Oh no, it's creepy listening to with Bran giving the all of that, and that was a terrible choice.
I hope Bran gets a sex scene this season.
At the beginning of season 7, he's still kind of like normal talking Bran,
just for equality
and then he shows up
purposes.
In Winterfell.
Goes up to the blacksmith. Can you make me a penis pump?
I mean, just for equality purposes, you know.
I've gone into the future. Here's the plan.
I haven't seen one episode of the show, and I can tell you he probably won't.
Debbie fucking Downer.
Anybody that sounds like bread, not gonna say
or breakfast cereal.
Dude has 0 game.
His dad's name is also Ned. Okay,
he's so pasty.
Does he have a boyish haircut?
And he has a pudding bowl haircut. He literally has a pudding bowl haircut.
Yes, like just like whiskers on his face, maybe.
Not even bald as a baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he does have superpowers, so he is Wonder Bread.
Your live video ended, my dear.
Oh no, the live video's over.
We had 7 viewers.
Did he get Wonder Bread?
We actually had like 20 on the Facebook one apparently.
Not bad.
No, not bad.
You gotta start somewhere.
It grew from it was like 1 last time.
Maybe it's because you had a chick.
Oh yeah, ooh, flash of some titty. No, I'm joking.
Well, now that's all.
We need the viewers.
Do it for the podcast.
Sorry, Dad. I had to.
Oh, that just got kinky.
Back to Game of Thrones, are we?
If you okay, well, anyway, since we're telling dad jokes all up in here, so my dad's favorite. This is like a little segue before we swap to whatever new topic on the docket.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about.
All right. Well, while the encyclopedia's taking a restroom break,
the pickings have been slim this week.
So
other than Game of Thrones and Endgame being a week away, nothing's really happened this week as far
okay,
as
but you said anything
Report,
flies.
Well, pop culture wise and sports wise. I mean, you're not gonna talk sports yet, so and maybe we'll discuss Mueller afterwards. But I'm just saying, like,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I wonder if there's a Guinness. I'm gonna preface this with I wonder if there's a Guinness Book of World Record like thing for the longest running dad joke, because I think my dad would win. He has had this joke going for at least 20 years. I think the first time I remember ever him saying this joke, I was probably like 7 or 8. I am 28. So
that's a good lead up.
Right. So let me preface this with this man has had this joke going for 20 years, and he really does it just because, like, every time he does it, and he'll only do it when we're together. I don't think he does it. Sorry, Dad. Wow. Answer me in the comments if you do this when I'm not around.
Share, and subscribe.
Right. Like, share, subscribe.
Actually, you guys have to share, and subscribe.
I don't
think any of y'all have.
I'm getting there.
Whoa. Calm down.
I'm doing the sharing part when I get home. Anyways, so pause. So
what are we talking about sharing? Did you say salon pause? What?
I said stop, pause.
Oh, okay, go on.
Anyways, so every time my dad and I get together, or we go to the grocery store together, for some, it's always, I don't know, like anytime my dad comes down to Charlotte to visit, like he'll be like, you have a bachelor fridge, like we need to go shopping.
My mom did the same thing. Yeah.
So like I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. Like I buy like the little things here and there, right? So he's like, no, and then like takes me to Costco, right? We're talking an industrial sized portions of stuff. I'm like, Dad,
mustard.
I am right here. You never have to buy mustard or toilet paper. Well, that's not a good example. But you never have to buy mayonnaise ever again. So we're talking about like industrial sized quantity of food. There's a build up to this. So every time we get to the checkout counter, he always goes, I would like this to go, please. No. As if the fucking alternative was to eat it there like it's a fucking restaurant. And honestly,
I'm using that.
The delivery is better when it's at Costco.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I was 8 and I heard him say this, I literally was just like, but Dad, that doesn't make sense. This is before I got my sarcasm, was leveled up.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been fluent for many, many years now, but this is before I got the subtle nuances of it.
The chops.
Yeah. And so literally I think he just keeps doing it now just because like there's a shift in the universe with how much my eyes roll, because I can't get mad because every time he does it, to me it's like the umpteenth time. To the lady at the, not to be sexist, but the lady running the register.
Sex away.
Ha 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 ha. Like, that is so funny. And I'm like, it makes it even worse.
So there's a friend I graduated college with, and he called one time when it was over the summer. And so this is like 25 plus years. So this is running on this. And he goes, hey, Jerry, it's Joe. Because it's before caller ID or anything like that. So I respond and it's like,
That's
hey Joe, it's Jerry.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, whenever we talk to each other on the phone, it's like, hey Joe, it's Jerry. Oh, hey Jerry, it's Joe. And then then we follow it up with like, we both at this time say this part, ha 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 ha, it never gets old. And then we get into our conversation. So it was literally getting old. He was married, I was married.
You were also getting old.
And so this was probably about 4 or 5 years into the
dad
joke.
joke inside of a dad joke.
And then we're both there, and you can tell because it's getting strained, and it's like, hey Jerry, it's Joe. It's like, hey Joe, it's Jerry. It's getting old. And then we each hear each of our wives at the same time says, it's getting old, and we're like, oh, we're totally in now. It's back in. Now we're back.
Well, no, now you've got more people in on it.
So it's like 26 years. Well, no, because I'm no longer married, and I'm sure his wife never get involved in this now because they know it's like, oh no, you hit the stop button, so we're totally going. And so that's been 20 about that long. But it's I haven't spoken to him on the phone in probably 3 years. The next time either one of us talks, it'll go that, and we'll go.
You're gonna get a phone call after this. After this.
Oh no, he doesn't watch. He's got kids. He doesn't care about anybody else on social
media. This is like NPR, but like not. So I mean, this is like shit you can listen to in your car.
It is, but he doesn't know to listen to it.
HTTP SimonSays.buzzsprout.com.
I'm now super hungry seeing you eat that and smell blueberries now. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so in my defense, this Views thing I got, I normally get the ones that are like rich tobacco, and I was deliriously tired one night after working a show. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gas station to buy these things, and the assholes have the packaging that looks all the same. So I'm like, yeah, give me these ones. Don't even look down. Go home. Swap out the pod. And I'm like, why the fuck does this taste like children's cough syrup? And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just that tired and it tastes weird. And then the next day I look at the packaging and it says mixed berry. And I'm like, motherfuckers.
The name on every, Tylenol. Anything that you have to drink as a child is named mixed berry.
I know. I was so disappointed. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Took advantage of my tiredness.
Natural fig.
Ooh, is that a bakery right around the corner? Oh, no, wait. It's someone vaping.
Wait, what did you say, Hash?
I said always make sure you know what you're buying before you buy it.
I usually am very good about that. But
Girls
again,
very, very special with drugs.
In my defense,
I'll take it to go.
In my defense, this was a purchase made after the Kodak Black show. So, like, my intuition and logic, I was just on autopilot.
Kodak Black, the
Nipsey Hussle haters haven't taken him out yet?
Oh, my God, no. It was
I'm sorry, Lisa Simpson.
I don't even want to talk about that show.
He's just brown or black.
Let's just say it's never, Hash can validate this, it is never a dull day working at a music venue. I love my job so much. It is different every single day. It is a different clientele. It's different demands. But honestly, it is a whole wild ride working at a music venue.
I want all the green M&Ms.
Can you please pick them out, even though you don't have green M&Ms? But this is a customer, not the talent asking.
I would love 2 fresh puppies to dry my hands with every time.
Specifically,
short hair. I'm hypoallergenic.
I was going to say specifically small Doberman puppies. Let's see.
But not min pins. They've got to be small Doberman puppies.
Yeah.
Not min pins.
Definitely can't be a whippet either.
But I want them trained in German before.
They must also respond to German before their eyes open.
How they always get back to German today?
I don't know. Das ist gut. We were cooking out on the grill earlier, and we were talking German.
Kielbasa's.
Polish and German up in here.
And I could tell that one of the people that was suntanning might have been Austrian because she looked over scared.
I'm actually part Austrian. That's the origin of my last name.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not going to throw my last name out on the internet because it's definitely not anywhere.
You really need to tell us your address and a list of your 5 top fears.
Yeah, this is also my social security number along with my debit card information.
Your mother's maiden name and where you're a mascot in high school.
Right.
And the name of your first pet.
My grandmother's maiden name, stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
Nobody wants my finance information. I'm a senior in college, which is like a non-existent finance.
You can have the debt.
Please, you can be Sally Mae's bitch from now on.
In a really slow pop culture day.
Let's see what else is going on.
That's because we spent an hour and almost hour and 40 minutes on Game of Thrones, and now it's just a wait for Endgame.
Did we talk about the Mueller Report yet, or did we kind of touch on it?
I mean, what is there to really talk about? The fact that half of it got redacted.
True.
And at the same time, everything, it doesn't exonerate of him of doing any wrongdoing.
No, well, it says me. It does that. It just says me.
Did he obstruct justice? Maybe.
Well, no. See, I think they are also in their end game with this, whereas they're waiting for him not to be president anymore to actually,
Do you think that this shit stain of a human being is actually going to get reelected? Sorry, all you Trump lovers out there.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, if people don't show up, yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, I have a uterus, so by default, I am very against Trump. Just
at the same time, he did carry,
even though he loves uteruses.
He does.
He carried a good percentage of the female vote.
It is disgusting how many women can be easily persuaded and brainwashed by money. Are you surprised? He literally had a sugar daddy as president.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, women from the LGBT community as well. Actually voted
for him as well.
Yeah, he has a big following.
Lesbians,
I think that just shows how much we hate Hillary.
I don't know if you guys touched up on this.
That's the other thing
but it
about
was
you want somebody to vote for rather than vote against.
Remember a few weeks ago we had that drama with Pizza Peel, and there was an employee there that got fired because he's a rights activist. He's an immigration rights
people complained about him on social media.
And those people happen to be a group called Deplorable Pride.
It's LGBT.
Oh, I did read about this.
Not Nazi community, right?
Yeah, they are. It is it's like a
essentially
white supremacy.
It's like can you
group.
be Nazi related and
is
that a possibility?
I don't know the bylaws.
That is an absolute definition of an oxymoron.
It really
that is
is.
so ass backwards.
It might not even be oxy.
It's bass backwards.
It's a moron.
I bet you that's how many people,
moron that later.
moron that later.
I mean, this whole election, just in general, like, and it's weird having multiple perspectives. Like, I have family that works, as DoD contractors, so they're like, well, we're not mad if a Republican, especially an ass fuck like Trump, gets elected because that means defense budgets go up and we get more money.
Defense budgets can still go up. You just don't have to use the ammo. You can say, like, hey, let's build a lot of stuff. Because that's what happened mostly in the 80s.
But
the 80s was just like building it all.
But the build a lot of stuff budget goes up generally when Republicans are
that's true.
predominant.
Use it or lose it kind of thing.
I'm just saying you don't have to expend the actual assets.
We're not even addressing the black budget that that's not part of public record.
The $100,000 hammer.
Basically, or Trump's toilet is also probably part of it.
The space pen.
The Russians used a pencil.
This inanimate carbon rod for $500,000.
Is that what you're calling it nowadays?
Simpsons employee of the month. Well, no, that was yes.
No, it was employee of the month.
It was the employee of the month one.
Capacitor.
Oh my god!
It's an inanimate carbon rod.
But it's weird.
It's my time. It's my time. I'm the only one that hasn't been named.
Yeah.
Because I tend to be more moderate, but
they're about to show the rod.
Well, I'm a.
That's probably the women's reaction you get
rod.
as well.
Well, I was a big Trump supporter for a little while because I'm a day trader, and he was really messing up the stock market for a bit. And that
in your favor?
In my favor, yeah, because I was betting for the market to go down, and it bought
shorting.
Yeah, I was shorting, the market, and it bought my new car.
He was expecting people to panic.
Dope, not bad.
Yeah, awesome. And then now,
And then he opened his mouth more.
Well, yeah, now that crazy stuff, everyone's kind of become not oblivious. I mean, I think
Maybe more awake than anything.
Well, see, but this is the danger because where you're headed is you are planning on the odd and ridiculous things he was going to say to benefit you. But now within the U.S., people
the shock factor's gone.
Yeah, they're numb to that. But the problem for the United States as a whole is internationally, people are not trusting that he's all talk and no bite, and they're afraid that he's going to do any of the things that he says.
He's partially bite. I mean, he's proven that with some of the policies he's put forward.
Yeah, he'll
I mean, they're half-assed.
But you say policies as if there's an overreaching plan. There's individual decisions that he's made over time.
He's not afraid to pull the trigger.
And that's the thing that got him the people to support him, and the middle class that should not have not benefiting with a lot of the things that are going on. It's like, no, we want somebody to make a decision.
But in general, the election itself was just fucked because, I mean, my mom's a Hillary supporter. That's totally fine. I'm always down for a woman president. Do I think it should have been Hillary Clinton? No. Do I know a better option?
I was kind of an Achilles heel a little
but
bit.
It really
That's
was
entirely
like,
the
what is
Her
less
electability was not exactly there. So. She has 40 years of people hating the Clintons.
Well, okay, so
and her being a woman, that didn't really help anything.
But this is
oddly, I think that's what balanced her back and made it closer. If it wasn't that, I think it would have been even worse.
But no, like she just said, like I'm sure a lot of women were like, we would love a woman president, just not you.
Like I would fuck with Michelle Obama as president hard.
Who's never going to run.
She's never
She'll never run, but I'm just saying.
Well, she also has the highest favorability ratings of almost any political figure on the planet,
and especially first ladies. She outranked Nancy Reagan.
No, she was voted like the most respected woman person in the United States, like the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
which is
really impressive for a former first lady.
Former first lady.
Typically, that's just the fault. She's a first lady.
If you see anyone share that article, you'll definitely see a bunch of.
We'll see where people stand.
Basement dwellers. You'll see where people stand.
As we record this in a basement.
Yeah. You should say that every episode, please, because I remember you.
It has been said every episode.
We should keep that going. I'm a fan of this.
It's going to keep going.
Jerry, but it really was a lesser of two evils kind of thing, and I really didn't like that it came down to that.
This is the
bat signals in the sky.
The disappointing thing with the.
Are you leaving us? Bye, honey. I'll see you at work Friday.
It's a pleasure to see everybody here.
Come back next week.
I will. I'll let you know how this music festival goes. Always, Jared.
No, we definitely want to talk about the music festival that you're going to.
Yeah, it's called s01e02.
Oh, you're going with
I'll
Travi?
let you know about all the drug use I have.
No, actually, I'm gonna want to interview
Actually,
you about that.
Yeah, because I'm going to Epicenter with like Ashton and a bunch of people, so I want your perspective on all of this.
It's like right by a lake, and it's like on this like Indian travel ground and shit. So.
Oh, so it's gonna be like poltergeist and shit.
There's it's actually the trees there are Spanish moss trees, like some of the oldest trees.
Beautiful.
So next week we'll smoke some DMT and we'll talk about it.
Oh my god.
Not on premises.
Okay.
Not on premises.
Okay.
Duh.
Speaking of DMT, so we don't lose any more viewers talking about politics. So I recently
alienated half our.
I know.
Talking about drugs is talking about politics.
Well, no. So I recently put myself back out there and into the dating world, and
Dear God.
I know.
I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, I know.
The dating world in 2019.
Well,
is a nightmare.
and then as somebody who's a full-time,
it's the same as it's always been. It's just now guys are more aware of how horrible we are.
There's evidence, physical screenshot proof.
I mean, before women would just tell each other, it's like, we know. It's like, but no, it's like, oh no, we're not that bad. Now women can say, no, look, read
No,
this.
literally.
Here.
Shame.
Look at this.
Can we have a shame? Can we have a shame bell?
Look at this plethora of dicks being thrown in my face via every social media.
In my
outlet.
defense,
It's
I
awful.
have.
What is the gif or whatever? It's like a woman
the hot
opens
dogs?
DMs and you just get 100 hot dogs.
There's one where it's a bouquet of dicks. Like there's some flowers in there, but it's just a bouquet of dicks.
Yeah, I've all but given up on an idea of even dating today, so I'm just like, I don't even care.
Well, I mean,
It's
I'm trying to go outside of my
So you're on
comfort
the Tinder
zone.
or the Bumble?
In my defense,
Or the Hinge? Or the Grinder?
I'm on Hinge. Don't fucking look for me. That would be weird. Although I have come across people that I actually know, and it's really awkward. I'm like, nope. X. But in my defense, I have never been on Tinder. Actually, the only Tinder I've ever been on was my sister's, and I was shit-faced. I don't drink anymore, but I was shit-faced at the time. And I'm like, no, he's not cute. He doesn't look like Liam Hemsworth, like whatever. Yeah. Whatever she was into at the time.
So on Luke to Liam to Chris Hemsworth.
Ouch. The format stands.
I mean, okay, so anyway, so to tie this all together, so I went on this date with this guy. We had decent, I in my defense, I always kind of date a little bit older. I'm 28. My dating range is usually like 30 to mid-30s.
50.
They're a little bit more fucking mature, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really meet too many 28-year-olds that actually have their shit together, because I definitely for sure don't. So this guy and I have good conversation over, the app or whatever. We follow each other on Instagram, so we're like talking about stuff like that. And then we decide to meet for coffee.
You share your memes with him?
No, I don't share my memes. That's personal.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. No, I don't share my memes. I don't.
Fifth base.
Fifth base.
That's a home fucking run.
If
I share the bowels of the internet with you that I've like dug up. Anyways, so this guy and I, we meet for coffee. It's decent enough conversation. And then I somehow drugs came up, and we were talking about things that influence our artwork. He's an artist as well of some sort. And he was like, yeah, on my bucket list is to try DMT. I've done a bunch of mushrooms. I've done a bunch of LSD. He was like, my bucket list, like I need to cross off soon, is to do a bunch of DMT. He used
DMT
quote
is
unquote.
what?
DMT is the death chemical, and
so
I'm not going to go all organic
chemistry. Did you dry up after that?
No, I mean, but do those letters stand for particular things?
Dimethyl something.
Oh, okay, get it right.
Yeah.
So
I've taken away.
It's not yet gotten a cool name for the street.
No, it's literally
DMT.
It's literally the chemical name.
No, it's literally like an acronym or a shortened version of it.
No, it's an acronym basically of the actual one word that it's called.
Okay, hold on. I took enough organic chemistry. N, N-dimethyltryptamine.
There you go.
Tryptamine.
There you go. Thanks, Dad, for all that college education. Thanks for all that college education.
Dimethyltryptamine. There we go.
So it's a dangerous turkey?
Yeah, it's a very dangerous turkey. But for those that aren't familiar
it's always
with
scary when you see that many Y's in a word.
It only lasts for
But
10
that's
minutes.
actually, so the reason it looks like that is because
That's a true
IUPAC
story,
is
by
the
the
chemical, like the demigods that name chemical compounds. It's IUPAC. So it's a way of categorizing it. So the reason it says like NN.
I love when we start talking about the one thing Hatch would love to talk about. He laughed.
I know. And it's all because he said drugs and then left.
Smoke bomb.
But then I know.
I'm going to go do drugs in a swamp halfway across the U.S. I'll see you guys later. We'll talk about this next time.
That's the most hash thing ever, though. Like,
No,
all
we
right,
tell
guys,
me.
I'm going to go do Lord knows what.
He doesn't show up for 3 shows, and he does, and he has nothing to talk about.
And then
He opens that suitcase from Pulp Fiction, which is almost a human soul.
so
Hash, we love you. If you're listening, hopefully you're tripping on DMT.
I
in
hope you're
Florida,
having a great
in a
time
swamp,
on DMT.
and you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
for
hopefully
whatever
police
reason.
don't listen to this podcast.
So, anyways, so yeah, he's talking about.
You said a Florida swamp? They're letting that take care of that.
Uh,
If you make it back out of there, you deserve to live.
I mean,
considering one of the major problems in Florida is anacondas recently.
my anaconda.
From an
don't
anaconda,
want-
wait, from an anaconda to a alligator to a
How
tropical
Florida
storm.
are you?
How Florida are you? What takes out Hash first?
from a scale to Key West to Fort Lauderdale.
How Floridian are you?
How Floridian are you?
How hot are your feet in Ugg boots?
How much would you miss a Miami Heat game to go like?
That is the entire population of Miami.
No, actually, literally, I was listening to somebody like who would like leave. I think it was you actually who was talking about who would leave a fucking Miami Heat game when there's like a beach right there.
Yeah.
Who would go?
Oh, that was yeah,
that was
Jerry.
you.
That's
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, but also side note. It
No,
makes
I'm the
sense.
person who said it. though.
So anyway, so this guy literally, and it was towards the end of the date, thank God, because I was starting to look for an exit. Because I realized the guy hadn't asked me one question about myself. It was constantly like talking. I'm being
Wait,
talked.
we're supposed to do that?
Apparently.
I'm joking.
I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm a human being or just a succubus part time. Who knows?
Joking.
I know.
Calm down. I'm just saying, like,
No, I'm just laughing at the hilarity of it. And but yeah, so he didn't ask one question about myself, like, oh, poor me. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm already over this. And then he throws a DMT out there, and I'm like, yeah, so this has been great, but you're a waste of my time. Somebody,
said that to him.
Yeah, I was like, literally, I was like, no offense, do you? Like, that's all great.
Yep.
I hope you have.
I'm reading why Ghost doesn't appear in Game of Thrones. Sansa, what do dragons eat? Daenerys, the CGI budget.
This is also true, but they're badass. Yeah, so I literally looked at him because I'd been looking for an out anyways, and I was like, yeah, so you're a waste of my time, and also when I'm looking for in a partner, it's not somebody who considers a bucket list item is to just be out of their mind
a
on
psychotropic drug that lasts for 10 minutes.
That-
Okay,
yeah, something.
Now,
Like,
if you said like I'm gonna go hike Peru,
and
do some ayahuasca for like 3 days,
and I
like,
tried to rationalize
with a
with him
shaman.
because I was like that does not sound. I was just like just talking to him with person to person. I was like, doing DMT should not be something that's on your bucket list. I mean, just think pragmatically, biologically here. Like for those listening, I'm working
my
on a
bucket
Bachelor
list
of
is to
Science
jump
in
out of a
biology.
plane without a parachute. Like it's that type of thing.
Exactly. So I broke it down logically for him. I'm like, look, if your body can produce this chemical. It's a death chemical. It's the shit that makes you hallucinate.
Yeah,
and,
it's already there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, if your body was meant to have any massive amount of this chemical in your system, there would be a way other than death to stimulate it, like an orgasm that gives you dopamine and serotonin and all this endorphins and shit. Like there would be a glandular way of triggering it that doesn't require you like dying in like 5 seconds. Yeah, right. give them a dose of that. Maybe you'll see what happens.
I just blow it in their face.
And so I was like, I broke it down like that, and he was just like, yeah, no, I'm still gonna do a fuck ton of it. And I'm like, cool, so have a great life. Didn't even hug him on the way out. Literally just like boom, beeline.
Where were you?
Didn't even
Where
get
was
a
the
hug.
date at?
No,
Where was the date at?
no.
Oh,
Where was-
what was the date at?
All right, it was low key. It was Amelie's.
Swear to me.
Oh, Amelie's. What time of the day was it?
It was like 7, 8 o'clock. Well, I mean,
People go to Amelie's before midnight?
yeah.
There are other,
Usually I just-
locations of Amelie's.
Yeah.
I know there's one of them Park Road. And
Yeah, but those
That would be
those
that would
ones
be
all
a
close
daytime
early.
one.
yeah, the Uptown one's actually a
Also
daytime one.
also a daytime
The
one.
Noto one, I've only been on Amelie's around 3 a.m. between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 p.m.
You're the basic bitch going for pastries after a night out drinking.
No,
Because that's
actually.
usually when their line is longest. If I'm one of those people, the night
Well,
dwellers that
when-
goes and studies there at 5 a.m, and you see like the parade of I call them Bambis, where their legs are like shaking from wearing their heels.
Walkers.
The White Walkers coming
Literally
in.
the White Walkers, but
As
it's all
they're
these.
no, they're literally White Walkers.
They're literally. I mean, they're barely walking to be.
Yeah,
They're
but
barely White
Who
Walkers.
knows how much white they're on?
But
They can eat through the blow. God bless them.
But it's literally literally like how Benny Pinellas gets like slammed with pizza orders on the weekend at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like Amelie's gets smashed with white bitches wanting, pastries because they're drunk.
You know how many girls I've taken to Amelie's at like 3 in the morning? Like, I just want some salted caramel.
A lot of the dates I've had in Charlotte always end up at Amelie's somehow. But no, here's my thing. Like I'm not a big sweets guy. I'm not. I like cheesecake well enough, but it's not something.
Have you had Drussel's cheesecake?
And you've been laid? Just kidding. That's a joke.
But no, like I mentioned that, like they're always like, "Do you want to go to Amelie's?" I'm I'm not like or no, I'll talk to somebody in Charlotte. I'm like, I'm not a big Amelie's fan just because I don't like pastries. I don't think
people get
bad.
really defensive about that.
Yeah, so I moved away from Charlotte for a few many years, and then I came back. I half expected just to be robots of Amelie's everywhere.
Yeah,
like
close enough.
I call on my friends' like phones and be like, "You've reached the Amelie hotline." Something like that to happen. I honestly thought there would be like 20 different Amelies somewhere.
Oh, there's like 6.
Yeah, I was surprised that there wasn't 20 because there's almost.
They're not Sabor.
Well, Rhino Market's opening a huge host of places.
Yeah. Rhino Market isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, and they're going to be opening 4.
And they're all within a mile of each other. They're the fancy Harris Teeter.
It's like Common Market and Harris Teeter had a baby that's a little bit edgy, but like only Pinterest edgy.
I like how you put that.
But they're opening one by the airport.
Hot
they're
Topic
opening
Mall.
I believe that's what they told me last time I was at the one on Moorhead.
Are you actually making friends with those people now?
Oh.
Which one is it?
Chris knows them.
Which one's on Moorhead?
As he buys his $9 chocolates.
The Rhino Market on Moorhead, right next to.
And then there's one
is that the one near
Church.
Lucky Dog?
There's one in Church. We're literally
Moorhead one.
4 or 6 blocks.
Oh no,
Moorhead
Moorhead near the baseball park.
Hey, Rhino Market, give us free stuff.
Yeah. Well, no.
I know, right?
I love your hoodies.
Where's the other one?
I'm sorry for calling you a
basic. Can I get a discount on your $9 chocolate?
The original one is where?
The original one, I do believe the original one was Moorhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the original one, or was it the one on Church?
No,
that's new.
Okay.
That
one's Church is brand
new-ish.
Yeah.
So you ghosted this guy.
Yeah, straight up.
Full blown ghost.
Oh no! I mean, I didn't block him or anything.
But
you
just
made it clear that he ain't getting the second one.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like part 2, if it goes well, is usually like I'll take you to like a Bari because it's right down the street. Because
Bari's amazing.
Because step number 2, I wanted to see your angry face when I kick your ass in pinball. Or like a shooting game or the Terminator game, they have like a fucking crush that shit. Like so,
can you handle losing to a woman?
Can you handle losing to a nerd girl?
You can't handle the truth.
I never have, so I have no idea.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, pound it.
I don't let them win because they're women. I play to win.
When he
I don't doubt that you play to win. I'm doubting that you win all the time.
No, if John loses, he blanks it out completely. Trust me.
He's the restart guy. And restarted. The cartridge came out. I restart.
He just won't remember it.
He's that asshole that plays rock paper scissors, loses the first round, and goes best of 2 out of 3.
I just throw scissors.
3 out of 4, 5 out of 9, 11 out of 22.
And then he's wanted to play rock paper scissors with me the other day, and we're doing it. And instead, it was on the food truck. It was one of the employees on there. Like we're trying to.
Is this what you're doing when you're not handling food? You're touching your own hands.
We're doing rock paper scissors to like who's gonna do something.
Rochambeau.
And she literally Rochambeau'd me. I was furious, and she won. She won. So I let her win that one.
Yeah,
you let her win.
You just said you never let anybody win.
You said you were angry.
I was angry.
You were angry for letting her win?
No, I was angry because she hit me in the balls.
Oh, it was a literal Rochambeau.
She literally
Rochambeau
hit me in the balls. I'm like, you win.
I mean, I think Theon took
you got both of them.
Theon took that nut hit better than you did. Then
it totally did.
It was strategy by Theon. He doesn't have to worry about the consequences of Rochambeau now.
How many times you got kneed in the chick crotch, basically equivalent of having
a cunt punt?
I mean, he basically got kicked in the baby box, like, and didn't even the not baby box, and then didn't even flinch. And the dude kept his uncle kept kneeing him, like it's gonna, like he maybe missed because it's so small. Like, not dude, straight up. Somebody actually, speaking of that, somebody actually asked me the other day. We were talking about the Unsullied and the whole Unix thing undertone that goes on in GOT. Not to like bring up GOT again.
And still, Grey Worm's getting more than most people.
This is true. I mean, he's great at oral. We already learned
that's Miss Sandy, who's also in the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yes,
there we go.
Anyways, so we were talking.
How does this get back to God?
Oh no! No, I have a point. I promise.
Go
ahead. So somebody was like,
The next 8 weeks.
Game of Thrones are porn.
5. You only have 5 more weeks to worry
5
about
more weeks, you're right. 5
So,
more weeks.
so we were talking about
You haven't even hit
how
sports yet.
the Theon getting kneed and the crotch or not crotch,
Yeah.
and then somebody brought up the fact he's like, well, what about the unsullied? And he was like, there's got to be like an infection thing, da 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 da. And I was like, well, that's what makes you an unsullied. You get your dick cut off, and either you die from infection, or then you're a badass warrior because you survived. It was like, getting your dick cut off.
Well, I think they said they addressed that in the show as well. Is that it's like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5.
Yeah,
you're
losing
you're
losing like a third of your army just in the process of creating. You're
and
weeding out the weak,
and the killing the puppy thing and so on.
Don't say killing puppies around me.
I think the guy that started that whole progress was just like a little worried about his manliness, so he's like, "Oh, the dudes can't have dicks now."
Yeah, none of you.
None of you. No.
Also, this creepy
can't be
bald
banging my
fat dude
woman.
that looks like Buddha cannot also have a dick.
Yeah.
So now that
He
we've
didn't
talked
want
about,
that to be distracted, obviously.
so since we were talking about dick and dating, how is everyone else's dating life?
Well,
going?
no, I was actually thinking about getting on a dating service because
Finally, Carl, I've been trying to convince him to do it since we moved in together.
Yeah.
He won't do it.
Yeah, I was
Do you
thinking
wanna
about
go on a
getting.
date?
I was thinking about going on Bumble.
Bubble.
You mean Grinder?
Oh my god.
But no, I was thinking about getting on Bumble just because the fact that I don't meet a lot of women anywhere, and I hate meeting women at bars. I can't stand it.
I have had my last 4 relationships start either at a house party where a keg was involved. Like the last dude I was engaged to for years. Like literally, we met because he helped me do a keg stand.
That's love.
In my defense, this was also in like 2010.
I'm pretty sure a few Disney movies started that way.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
the
romantic.
plot to Up, right?
Yeah, it was really romantic. He didn't even grab me by the torso or anything. Yeah,
That's
no,
how
it was
Baby
really
starts, right?
romantic.
But no, yeah, I don't like meeting girls at bars.
It never ends well. It's either you smash and then it's awkward because you've already gotten into the smash phase.
Well,
you jump right ahead to the first phase, and you're like, oh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of try the shoes on before you buy them. But I'm not gonna put a ring on it. But but I mean, also you gotta have some build up before you bump uglies.
Nobody believes in that build up anymore. Are you kidding me?
Maybe I'm just old school then.
I'm old school. No,
I think that's all the women that John are with.
Because
you said this.
Moment of silence for John's
You've
sex
said
life.
this on your social media before. It's like, where are the women who want to wait?
No one's out there.
So that implies that very specifically states that's every woman that you've come in contact with.
In defense,
John, why aren't you wearing your purity ring today?
Yeah, right. He's got his purity.
It's all green.
Is it vodka or gin today in there? In your handle of hydration.
This is actually
Mine straight Kentucky moonshine.
I was gonna say, who
That's
the
the
fuck
most amazing.
Who the fuck brought their growler
As
to
I
the
brought
show?
my jug.
Paul. He brought his jug today.
I didn't know you could
Lisa,
fit
never stop in the middle of a hoedown.
What's the proper? This is the
That's
proper
it.
way,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I didn't know you could fit a still inside an uptown overpriced 3-bedroom apartment.
Well,
And again, it's not the making the alcohol that's illegal. It's not paying the revenue or the taxes for selling the alcohol.
today's gallon is brought to you by Tito's. So, Tito's, give us free stuff.
Actually, they already give me a bunch of free stuff because I sell so much of their
Today's gallon
vodka.
jug is brought to you by Tito's.
Would you like our shitting rubbing alcohol aristocrat, or for $2 more you can have a Tito's? Would you like to make it a double for $5 more?
House,
Oh my
please.
I just want to
They
mention.
what? They go, "What's your house?" And then I hold up the bottle and of aristocrat
Aristocrat
and
or
make
burn
like a grimacing face, and I'm I'm just like, so this is our house, or you can pay $2 more and not hate me as much in the morning. But I'm still going to
Upsell
try and sell you a
techniques right
double.
there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, the face sells it. Anyway, so your dating life,
Yeah, no.
aside from making
I'm
your
not
own
a big. Yeah.
views.
Well, the last girl that Carl brought into our lives walked in on our house without even knocking.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Soft
Wait,
soft core broken.
This is a pop-in?
How many, how long
Cherry
do you know
hates the
this
pop-in.
chick?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, no, that's way too soon. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, when I found out, I'm like, you got rid of her, right?
Yeah, no, for real. Like, 2 months.
I'm very happy I
understand.
wasn't there when this happened.
Yeah. So she knew your car.
That's not
I don't know
creepy
how
enough.
she knew your car.
Oh,
but
yeah. She goes, I didn't see John's car. I'm like, how does she know what I drive?
I don't know
I
his
don't
car,
even
and
know
I've
what
seen
you-
it like every week for
I
the
don't
last
even
month.
know what you drive, and I've known you for like 2.5 years.
I've driven 3 different cars over the last 6 months, so yeah. 3 different cars.
So yeah, no, that was an utter disaster. But no, it's just.
I mean, no, that wasn't a disaster. That was a swerve and curve. You swerved.
missed
Well, it gave me because I'm terrible at breaking up with women. I'm not good at it.
And is anybody really good at it? I don't think that's a skill you should put on
I'm
a
sure
resume.
like doctors that like tell people they're dying probably have a little bit.
They're
of,
totally
but they
people that are
practice
good
that.
at
They
Yeah.
practice that shit in the mirror. Maybe you should practice that in the mirror.
Maybe that's what I should do. Like, it's over.
Yeah, you gotta meet it. Gotta give eye contact.
In-game.
I don't want to be.
What's that thing? Yeah. Hey, have you played chess? You know at the end.
That thing you do at the end. What is it? What is it called?
So like,
I'm
have you
gonna
seen
sacrifice my pride to beat you out of here? Get out.
Just like, so have you seen like Infinity War? They're like, yes, and like, there's two of us here.
My way of breaking up with somebody is always take it to neutral territory. Like
I totally saw that coming. Still ridiculously
that was
funny.
what, high five. Also, that was really fucking.
perfect.
That
So-
was good. Yeah, bring a little air of humor.
So what's your
to
take?
it.
What's your take on Endgame, or what's your take on Infinity War at the end? Huh? Bye.
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 Thanos survey says.
You're gone.
As I throw ash at her.
Or you just start throwing ash and just blowing in her direction.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit! No, what's that dude's name from? Oh no.
Yeah, that one
Wayne's
show
World
with
guy.
that one
No,
dude.
with the confetti.
Mike Myers?
No, the guy with the confetti.
Rob Lowe.
He's like, okay, guys, it's overtime. Oh fuck, what's his name?
Yeah, he's.
you blow fucking dust in their face like
Yeah.
and you're bye. Like, okay, guys, game over. That's not end game. You can leave now. Bye.
As I wave.
I think I've only broken up with like one person in my entire life.
I always take breakups to neutral territory, like because.
Well, you just friend zone them?
No, I mean neutral territory as far as like it's not at my house,
restaurant.
it's not at your house.
Oh, you
It's-
find a public place.
Yeah, but
where
that's,
they, where they
Execute
can't. Yeah.
Like you're trying to meet
They
it to
can't
buy
make a
something off.
scene.
Like you're trying to buy something off Craigslist. So I'm gonna meet you at the mall.
but I'm not doing it in the
With
parking.
cameras.
Bring my friend.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Bring my friend.
I mean, I'm not doing it in like the parking lot of the police department for safety reasons. Like I'm like,
Yet.
oh, like let's. Yes. Yeah,
Yet.
right. This is what I get for meeting dudes on the internet. Sorry, Dad, you taught me wrong. You said don't talk to strangers in person.
As you get to a car of a stranger
In
to
person.
get home from a night out
Right. As you summon strangers from the internet. Best meme ever.
to pick you up.
But I can tell you from not using any other dating app and just feedback, Hinge is actually something I like. It's very simple. I mean, sponsorship from Hinge, so you're welcome. Shout out. I mean, because
She doesn't want money. She just wants a match.
Hinge, give me the D.
Make me a match. Find me a fine.
Add penis
Catch me
size
a
to
catch.
the qualifications.
My God, my dad hears this. He's gonna be so fucking disappointed. I don't know if he's gonna laugh.
Oh,
or
by the way,
cry.
Rip Taylor is who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You cheated. You googled.
I
It's fine.
absolutely did.
You totally.
Nah.
Why don't you just ask Jerry?
Yeah, he knows everything.
He literally
That
heard me
is-
do the voice. And he's
That
like,
is such. Well, no, it's
No, he
like
leaned
'cause
back and cackled.
I don't remember that from Wayne's World, but
He's in Wayne's World too.
with the ridiculous mustache and
And
the
with his
hair.
mustache and the confetti and
Yeah.
everything. He's like, okay, guy. Oh, and he's also in Jackass.
Yeah.
You definitely sound
watch
like
Didn't watch
Nick
Jackass.
Kroll in when you do that voice. The way you do it, you sound like Nick Kroll, the gym teacher. In
Oh,
Big Ed.
yeah.
Because like that. I mean, I know that's not who it was, but like in my
Yeah,
mind,
in
like
your
that's
mind.
That
exactly
does
where it
sound
went.
like that.
You do-
Yeah.
Okay, guys. so
Okay, guys, it's over. I sound like what's his face?
No, that
from
is closer to
No,
gym
that's
teacher.
really
I'm
the
back.
I've been fired
Stan's
and they haven't
cousin.
paid me for
So
3
back-
years, but I still show up.
So back to your dating life. That doesn't sound like a creepy perv gym teacher.
Well, now we're definitely on the track. Yeah.
So my last relationship. So you don't like bars? No bars.
No. Well, no. I don't know. I'll take a date to a bar, sure, but I refuse to meet a girl at a bar now. One, I don't like going up to one.
I mean,
Girls
are you
make
into like
it,
prohibition where like it's just trash central? No offense.
No, no.
offense.
Carl's in the middle of courting, so he likes to go through stages.
That's
Yeah.
good, though.
So you know, one, girls make it really terrifying nowadays to actually pick up a girl at a bar. I'm sorry, you guys surround yourself with 5 friends. It's
you
terrifying.
need to find the lone wolf that's sitting there having
Half
like
hammered,
an
like,
No.
crying in a corner.
No,
with
no.
with one heel off,
Please
mascara
stop
right down her
putting
face.
rupees in my drink. Yeah, that one.
No, you need to find the girl that's sitting there, classy, having like a Manhattan or something, or like a really
Yeah.
well-made old fashioned
know
by
what?
herself.
What expensive location is this?
Hey, I had I had a
cocktail spot in
relation. Actually,
Charlotte.
okay, that girl was me actually, and I actually had a relationship start out of it. The guy ended up being a complete fucking prick.
What type of location was that?
Oh, this was Syl. Shout out to Syl Gastro Lounge for making a baller ass whiskey collection.
So again,
and
Gastro Lounge.
Gastro Lounge.
Cellar Duckworth might be a good place.
Cellar Duckworth. ...
Yeah, and
Cellar Duckworth. I mean,
go someplace a little classier. I mean, you lowbrow, John, but you also highbrow. You know.
I actually will happily go to one of those spots by myself and treat yourself, and I do.
No, I do. I've definitely gone to
roll around in the mud, but live in the skies.
Did you say tweet yourself?
Tweet.
No,
tweet myself
because you definitely do those things on social media. You don't do them alone. You let everybody know you're there alone.
Oh, absolutely. I'm by myself.
He's like on IG Live,
look at
me treating myself.
Me and all of you.
Watch this guy make this smoked whiskey sour. Like, here you go.
You mean everyone that ever goes to Dot?
Absolutely.
Okay, so maybe you're just going to the wrong places.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
I mean, where are you going? Tell the world where you're going. Since I obviously showed my hand about going to a Bari.
Well, I'll probably be going to a Live After 5 pretty soon.
Mistake.
Yeah, you don't pick up a girl at a Live After 5.
No, because
I have too. It's always the worst.
That's when they throw their business heels to the side and they're 5 deep in double.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't want to see a girl like
Thursday.
that I'm interested in dating talk about complete nonsense because they're drunk. It's never a good look. That's the thing.
I just don't date people that really heavily drink anymore. Like, if your idea of fun and a date revolves around alcohol, like, get the fuck out of here.
People don't realize how ridiculously hard it is to find people when they're not required to go to somewhere, a la school/college.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
And it's like, I work with just all these dudes or nobody I want to talk to. And it's like, now, and then I go home. It's like, now it's very confined groups. So I have to reach out into the internet. That's not a good place.
Because I think most people also rightly have realized don't shit where you eat, aka don't fuck date your coworkers.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
when you work from home.
I work from home, so me and my cat Malcolm.
So you and John are never going to happen.
I'm really against bestiality, dude. Don't go there.
Me and my cat Malcolm decided we're going to be platonic friends.
You mean Malcolm?
Yeah, but I'll let him.
Oh, this is Malcolm. Malcolm's
his
yours.
cat.
Okay, because I've seen it in his IG times.
Because I've named it 5,000 names already.
Malcolm's the best one. But after our really passionate tongue kiss that one time, after that we've just become friends.
That's fair.
Salty.
My cat likes to lick my cheeks sometimes.
His tongue is pronged, so they have pronged tongues. It's a fact.
I know. No, I'm just thinking about this video of.
And also, a fun fact: that's not the only thing that's pronged.
Things about penises I did not need to know.
Koalas.
Actually, if you want to get really full on nerdy, so
ducks.
No,
pigs.
even better.
Well, yeah.
No, even better. So we're gonna talk about not centipedes. Fuck was it? Praying mantises. Okay.
Yeah.
So praying mantises have.
You mean dating in real life?
Essentially. So one of these I learned from one of these classes, these bio classes I had to take. It was called animal behavior. And a lot of it was centered around mating and shit like that, because that's just, when you're not a human, that's like all you want to do is fucking reproduce. Yay. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. That's the circle of life. And so there's actually this thing called a nuptial gift, which basically equates to if the dude actually successfully mates, he purposely breaks his penis off in the vag canal so that no other man can mate with the same praying mantis woman, but also while the young are growing in her belly right before they're born, they can eat it.
Oh, wow.
So he's nourishing his potential or future young.
There's never been that good of a dad in the human.
If he broke his dick, it was definitely on accident. It was not meant to stay in there. This is not an episode of Dexter.
Well, my favorite one of the things I've seen from praying mantis memes.
Are there memes about this?
Yeah, no.
There's plenty.
There's one where
it was
Brack was playing.
Yeah, Brack from but no, it was this shirt actually, and it was praying mantis eating another praying mantis. Obviously, they just had sex, and it's the praying mantis doing like thumbs up. He's like, doesn't matter, had sex.
Well, no, you know why that is. Well, you know why that is, though. I'm gonna like nerd explain why real quick. Because praying mantises have a 4-part central nervous system. So we have one. We have our brain.
Yeah.
So praying mantises have 4. They have one up in their head, one that controls their upper torso, one that controls their midsection, and then one that controls literally their genitalia. But it flows congressively. Like
Okay.
you have to basically do your proper mating dance to override the neurosynapses in the front, the brain,
Yeah.
Brown chicken,
I
brown
want to
cow.
fucking kill you. The second one in the arms that say I want to fucking kill you, and then you have to override. Your mating dance has to be so good that you have to override the one in the torso that says I want to fucking kill you. And then if you get to the fourth one that's in the genitalia, then you get to smash maybe.
No kidding.
So if you can't override all of those basically tripwires that are inherently like that's the selective pressure is how good your mating dance is to override the nervous system of the opposite sex, essentially. Well, actually, that sounds really like human dating too. So
It really does. I mean, like you kind of described it right there.
No one's ever seen me do the lawnmower on the dance floor here, have they?
But yeah, so that's the nerd behind him getting his head eaten off. Is because if you don't properly mating dance, you get eaten either way.
No kidding.
You can smash and still get eaten.
Yeah.
So you're making the decision to die. It's just a matter of how it goes.
It's very valiant. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, a lot of animals in the animal kingdom have, they take reproduction over living,
over their own self-life.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I do like that. Also, male seahorses are the ones that get pregnant. I'm so down with that.
I'm surprised that's not been in a Cardi B song yet.
It should be.
What, she is the voice of women empowerment right now.
Oh, fuck that hoe. No, that woman does not speak for me. Hell no.
When's the last time you've been out to a bar and not seen like the paradigm shift between like?
Side note: the only time I've ever been in the bar, and actually John can vouch for this, is I've actually been sober 1 year on purpose, not because I had a problem, just because I got tired of wasting my time doing that shit.
Yeah.
I got tired of all my relationships coming from meeting dudes at bars. But the only time John knows, the only time I'm at a bar is because I'm working, and that's because that's yob.
From zero to Cardi B, how crazy do you get on the dance floor?
So I mean, like literally, the last time I went to Prohibition, we'll just use that as like from trash, from Prohibition to ... Like, where is your dating pool at?
From Sycamore Brewery
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
To any kind of Sunday get shit faced Sid night at like the local or something.
Yeah.
You know how is your dating life?
From Sycamore to Sip. How's your dating life?
The basement of Sip. You have to specify.
Shh, I like it down there.
So far, hand.
Maybe he's the hand of the king.
Pamela.
Paula.
Well, that's what I named my tree.
Wait. No, we should. We should go and create. As a segment, we should go and create your Bumble profile right now.
Yes. Or maybe we can do that next
time.
Next week. We can do that next week.
Next week we create Carl's.
We're going to create your. Stay tuned, guys, for next week. Ooh, there we go. Segue to next week.
Okay.
We're going to create Carl's Tinder, Grindr, and Bumble account.
To make you feel better, I will actually let each of you either say yay or nay to somebody on my Hinge account. How about that?
Oh, there we go. Tit for tat.
Can we do that right now?
You can do that.
Unfortunately,
right now.
someone's not up.
You can do it. That's
Can we name? Can we actually give them a name?
No.
Oh, come on.
That's like giving.
But no, I'll throw in the beep.
No.
All right.
You can throw that in anyway.
Ignoring all of the matches I already have. Let's see.
My dating life is non-existent.
All right, so I'm not even. So all right, so Hinge thinks that this is my most compatible. So you can just pass around. Everyone gets either one yay or one nay. That's it.
It's like I don't even need to look anymore.
Because it's on the internet? Or no, you already saw a picture.
I saw just enough of it.
Oh, yeah, no. Geez. I mean, I'm going to
Most traumatizing childhood movie. Stephen King's It. You pussy.
Yeah, okay. Can you just X that for me? Because I love that movie.
Go to dish, bake ziti. Fuck you.
He's like a
my dream job if money doesn't matter. The job I have now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you delicate butterfly.
This guy. No, left.
I don't
Thank
see
you.
that guy.
Which one is
that
he?
guy just needs to go to church and have his people hook them up.
Okay, so
he doesn't need to go
is he
do
the
anything.
One that's the most.
I don't know. You can.
Is he sure this isn't
like,
Christian Mingle?
No, wait.
Like, what's going on here?
No, that's totally Christian Mingle.
This isn't Christian Mingle, bro. Like,
oh no, what I wanted to say, there is actually a farmer's
daughter,
farmers only dating app.
I want to go on there.
Okay, hold on.
For shits and giggles.
I've actually had this conversation with a friend because it always pops up on TV. Farmers. I'm like, first off, if you're a farmer and you're in like rural bumfuck nowhere like Minnesota or like Wisconsin or Arkansas, like my uncle.
All the states I could think of, the ones you just are listed.
Well, no,
not the farm ones.
And I say this like knowing like my grandfather lives in bumfuck nowhere, Arkansas. Like he knows everyone. I mean, he owns like 10 acres around where his house is.
And
he knows
town
everyone.
He knows everyone for the
him.
surrounding 250
so
miles.
why the fuck are you on a dating profile for somebody who's probably maybe in another state, clearly can't leave because they're a farmer?
That's totally why he wants somebody out of state.
But why though? Because if they're a farmer then they probably own some kind of property, which means they're not going to move and leave.
No, that's the thing. They want to bring the woman to whoever they are.
That looks like the dude from that looks like Scarface, but like after a lot of cocaine.
Oh, there's a lot of pictures of him and his buddies. He's pretty much saying we're going on a date, but my buddies are coming with me.
Oh my god, I can't.
Is that what you get? Hold on, is that what you get when you see group photos?
I didn't sign up for that.
Is that what you get when you have group photos?
I know, but my buddy's coming with me.
If he looks like a Brad or a Chad, just go ahead and exit.
Let me see Chad.
I don't know.
You guys know what I mean when I say Brad or Chad. Like he wears Sperry's. His dad has like.
Sorry, bro, you're gone. Ooh,
no,
here's
it's
Aaron.
Frat boy.
He's got a beard and long hair. He looks slightly disheveled.
Oh, maybe
he looks like someone just broke into his house and he's wondering like where that noise came from.
Yes.
Why does he look so concerned?
He's trying too hard.
Because that's his last picture.
I predict that something in his profile says that he likes emo music and long walks on the beach.
The secret to getting to know me is ask about any stories I have that are funny and be patient while I get to the punchline. I don't like him already.
He's telling you he's a bad storyteller.
I'm giving you an insight into like this is the crap you have to sift through.
Jeez.
This is like trying to find the needle in a shit stack.
Last time I cried.
Why pick that question? You have like 50 questions.
Why
pick that question?
See that you made an excellent point here. It's not even the answer doesn't even matter.
It's what
the fact,
question.
It's the fact that question was chosen.
Yeah. There's a lot more to
that
this than
damn
I thought there
Kit
was.
Bull Pixar short.
No, I mean,
wait, what did you say?
It's because the worst part is like you have no opportunity to correct it. Like if you misstate something person to person, you have the opportunity to correct and say what you want. If you kind of misstate what you post, it's like that's what they saw. That's it.
And you never see the person.
Okay, here we go.
Wait.
Look at this answer. Don't hate me if I get a little too passionate about a topic you didn't realize I had previously spent a day researching for no reason.
Wait, when
pretentious?
Wait, go back. I need to reread this and see how I'm the opposite of this, but totally that at the same time.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Jerry.
I was like, I didn't already put my
that's how
profile
you become
up,
an
did I?
encyclopedia.
No,
Jerry.
but I mean, I'm confused on what he's actually saying.
Don't hate me if I get a little too passionate about a topic you didn't realize I had previously spent an entire day researching.
Oh, I'm good. I don't care about what you think about me, and I don't get too passionate about it because I'm too busy worrying about the next thing I'm going to learn.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I get, ooh, that existed, and then I learn about it, and I'm like suddenly like I'm a nerd for something, but I'm intrigued,
Oh wait, but he has a corgi.
No,
I'd sweat right.
No, don't you dare.
John just got a boner.
I just got a boner.
You can date him then. You can take him to Amelie's.
I would take him to a dog bar.
He'd walk the dog.
I would take him to a dog bar.
You dog snatch. You're gonna end up with a corgi in your house tomorrow.
Oh, man, he's under 6 foot. Sorry, bro.
Meowcom can take him.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's it. Oh,
John wants to be the little spoon.
I want the elder perspective over here. Come on, Jared.
Here's the next guy. Here you go. Actually, I'm curious here.
I am curious.
Scroll up.
Yeah, so scroll up. So
Yeah,
no, X on the side means like fuck
no,
off.
No. I know that was part of it. I didn't know if this is a sideways scroll or an up.
No, it's an upward scroll. Oh yeah, he's gonna move his glasses. This is intense. He's actually learning and doing. Learning very intently, very quickly.
Dicey opening question again. First question they choose: how my mother would describe me. That's a little weird. You don't bring the mother up that quick in a situation.
That's little Norman Bates for me.
I don't like that's an awful question. Why would Hinge even have that?
Also, why are you bringing your mom into this? We haven't even met yet.
We've totally told
you.
That's
all she'll say.
Hinge is the answer is even worse. So Hinge is perfectly good because again, as we said, it's not that the question's in there; it's that they chose to answer that.
I analyzed the shit.
And so how my
good.
mother would describe me, that's already a dicey question to begin with. And then he follows up with
good kisser,
a mixture, more or less what he said, a mixture of Deadpool and House.
Oh, whoa!
So, you self-righteous piece of
a psychopath,
a psychopath,
and a sociopath,
and a narcissist.
A narcissist.
A
narcissistic
totally slams the door on sociopath. That's the next picture.
But Jesus makes it okay.
It's a sleeve on one arm and the Roman cross on the other. Well, not quite a Roman cross.
Yeah, it's a little Roman Catholic.
You, sir, are a tool.
Your artwork sucks. I do not want to know who your tattoo artist is.
So he's a drug addicted.
Wait.
Heroin.
This is going to bring John back in, a 6'4".
Oh. He's a contender.
Oh, yeah. That means he can breed. See, that's what I've been wanting to do.
See,
hold on. My whole dating criteria right now is not even. I don't want to date. I want to breed a child. That's it. I want to find a woman that's like 6'5".
You can find women on the internet for that, by the way.
Okay,
really?
So this picture.
Why don't you just go to a sperm bank and just
Literally, you can make.
No.
I think he wants to see the child.
I want to breed the next like LeBron James.
You want to be
eugenics.
I want to be part of the upbringing, or you just want to have the
he wants to be
genetics
part of the downfall.
I'm going to create the child. I'm going to abandon him. Come back when he's 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Because single moms raised.
So you're going to give him hella daddy
issues.
issues.
So the next photo.
Him.
Yeah, he's going to push. He's going to be strong. And
that's very the strong side.
So this shows a little insecurity on this person's part, which you have to delve into.
I haven't seen the insecurity
because
no.
But this is why though, because it clearly the shirtless picture. So I'm not insecure. However, he uses the mirror so he can show both sides. What the picture is showing, and the mirror reflects the other side. No, he's looking away.
Oh,
he's looking
is
away.
He coyly looking
yes,
away?
because he is emotive looking away because he wants. It's like, oh, I don't care. Yet I still have the mirror in the background, so you can see.
Oh my god!
So you can see what's going on. Don't scroll. Don't touch.
No touchy.
Because I want you to
Oh
be surprised.
Oh my god!
I want you to be surprised at the next picture.
Full circle.
I've never seen men's profiles. See, I don't
Okay.
obviously
Wait.
This is the shit you have to sift through.
One thing I'll never do again. Work for the government.
As if the government would employ you.
No, basically, here's what was said with that.
I'm sure those toll
I'm an
booths are gonna be really
individualist
sad.
who can't be told what to do.
Oh.
I'm not gonna let the man
what?
put me down.
Wait, what was
You
the
would
word?
work for
really
the
say that?
government.
You work at all. That's what happens.
The
you
question
fucking
is
tool.
one thing I'll never do
Is
again.
he self-employed?
Work for the government. So that's,
Is he self-employed?
It doesn't
Maybe.
say. This isn't all the information. I'm going step by step. Don't skip ahead.
There's the next part where they list you can give the opportunity to list your job.
So when they say never work for the government, it's like I'm not going to let the man put me down. Don't be a tool. If you have to get money, don't be defined by their job. That's what you should say.
Yeah.
Okay. Stylish hat, or as I air quote this,
Is it
only
a beret
only
or
seeing
a
one
fedora?
only seeing one eye because it's looking straight ahead. So
It's
got
a
to look
beanie.
in. Nope, not a
That's
beanie.
on a beanie.
It's a faux Stetson cowboy hat.
Oh god, I wasn't even close. I said fedora if it was gonna be brimmed.
Dear Christ, dude.
Man.
Oh my god, can you please
No,
not?
I'm not.
Can we just make
I already know at the
us
beginning. I'm just
judging
going through all the
people's-
steps on this.
Can we just go ahead and just? No, we're no longer going to talk about pop culture. And
Now
sports.
Carl, I'm gonna
here's
tell you dating
we're
on the
going to
internet
break down
sucks.
Hinge profiles.
here's
from now
the
on.
danger here because this is literally something that is true, but you don't actually. Excuse me. You want to say this? I know I found the one when I'm not competing with her phone. But literally, your entire standard is like I lose out to the phone all the
found
time.
her.
You always lose out to
I
the
lose
phone.
to the phone.
But also, I take really
you're losing
intricate.
You're losing out to the fact that
selfies.
she's currently on Tinder in front of you, trying to find someone.
Find
else.
somebody
She's like,
else.
Fuck
Right.
Hinge.
Well,
I'm
here's
gonna go
also
on
the
Tinder.
thing. He's saying that he doesn't want to be second rate to the phone, yet he's putting
Trying this on a phone.
on a phone.
So it's like clearly, it's like no. That's the thing. It's like if there's a conversation going, you don't want somebody to stop in the middle. And again, this is basically my basis for. I don't believe that spoilers exist. You can know what's happening in a movie.
No, you can spoil my dating life. It's fine.
But I'm saying like when you're in a movie and if you're thinking about what you're told before, then the movie is telling the bad story.
Oh, for sure.
So if you're in the middle of the conversation and somebody picks up the phone, well, you're not telling a good story.
Probably not.
Okay, so he tries to save it. So he brings in the dog
Yeah,
picture
what's
with
that?
Is it a corgi?
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's the longing eyes and a German Shepherd mix.
I knew.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
I knew he'd have something
Except-
like that.
except-
we're back to German.
And-
I was
but-
thinking golden retriever.
But they're
Shiza.
in bed, which is nice. But shirtless dog picture in bed.
Oh my
what?
god. I cannot. Please just.
Oh,
X
no,
this
no, 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 no,
motherfucker.
no.
Did,
This
did
was-
an algorithm make his profile?
I don't know. This is what I get for swiping left on DMT guy. Okay, this is like the repercussions
this
of my
scares
actions.
the
I don't.
the
I'm
pants
not.
off me
I'm not
'cause
even
I've
sure
never-
what this picture's supposed to be. Is it like a handmade wooden lightsaber handle? That's my
Yeah,
guess.
I'm pretty
Let me
handy.
see.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
But I don't think that's what it is. But I'm just guessing.
No, it's a call. I think it's a.
What is that?
Oh, like a duck.
I
don't think it's a whistle.
I think it's a call of some sort because I don't know what the orange thing is.
See, that's what's confusing me.
yeah.
Can I see?
Don't scroll though.
Oh my god.
See, this scares me though.
No, I want to
'cause
surprise you because I
I
already
don't
looked
know
ahead.
what
I
it
have
is.
till this day never taken a selfie.
Maybe that's like
So
the key
I've-
to it.
I've
If you
n-
can message him and tell him what it is,
Yeah.
then you're worthy of his time.
So
is this a toe or a finger?
let me tell you the part where looking at this where I said no. The longing look away picture.
Oh yeah, the first thing that pops up.
Done.
Because okay, in my defense, so you can arrange these pictures however you want. Like, so you can pick 6 pictures. And did you do the thing that you weren't supposed to do?
I absolutely said no.
Oh
the
my
next
God.
picture popped up, and I was like, oh my God.
Well, is that like is it a good one or a bad one? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just it's weird because obviously he's driving, but who took the picture?
I don't know. He also kind of has serial killer
That's
eyes.
the thing. That's the thing that frightens me.
I don't
Carl's
want.
Carl's big
No,
on serial
literally,
killers.
no, literally.
You can tell a lot about a person when you look at the serial killer.
Pet peeves. People that hate fun.
Oh, because they're so likable. What the? Now, out of
First
everything,
off,
this,
if I wanted to make
everything
the
this
male
guy's
pet
done.
peeve.
Literally, all we've seen of this dude is one picture and one question answer, and I'm already like, get out of here. This is how you end up on a Lifetime special about how you got
I'm
killed.
gonna show you no pictures. I'm just gonna read what I've X'd out these pictures.
Ooh, yeah, do that.
Most controversial opinion is Point Break is the pinnacle of cinema. Here's the problem with this. That's not controversial. A lot of people think this.
People like Point Break.
Yes.
It's okay. You're also dumb and you don't like fun.
Okay. No, this is the second one. This is another one. The serial killer eyes is gone.
Hold on. We should make you swipe right on just based on the answers.
I am not ever going to go on a date because you for your podcast, John. Fuck you.
Is this?
You brought it up.
Okay,
I know
idea.
where you're going.
Okay, this person is entirely trying too hard.
You're going to
Because
go on a
again,
date based on my
most
fucking
controversial
podcast.
opinion. Point Break
For
is the
the
pinnacle of
podcast.
cinema.
for the cast.
For the cast.
Do it for the podcast.
You're
Do it
missing
for the
good
cast.
radio.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So the first part is this person is totally trying too hard. My most controversial opinion is Point Break is the pinnacle of cinema. People really like that movie, so that's on it.
Yeah.
Roadhouse is better.
I'm weirdly attracted
Agreed.
to a good laugh.
But fuck fun.
Again, no, that was the first one. That was the previous one.
This is a
This is the
different
second one. You should have you should leave a comment if you have a favorite car seat headrest song that isn't Bodies, although Bodies is a banger to be fair.
Does he mean like bodies at the floor?
He is a serial killer.
Yeah, no,
is he
I
talking
don't.
about-
This is not the serial killer eyes guy. This is the next one.
Oh yeah, no, we're on to.
Maybe they're a team.
He already X'd out Dexter.
Ooh, yeah. This was what was that? Kiss the Girls, where there's the two serial killers. Okay. I admittedly like this last picture because this has to be staged, and why would you have that as the picture that you're posting?
Yeah, I see.
I
That's
am
so weird.
Is it
baffled.
him during
the
a
fuck
job
is that?
interview?
Yeah.
Hinge, if you're listening, I'm really baffled, and I want
that's
my
clearly a
not money
staged
back.
photo, and you're like, why is that the choice? Go
It
ahead and
looks
scroll
like
through
it's
the
a
other
wax
ones.
figure, but at least if you're gonna post a wax figure like
And
photo,
oh, by
let
the-
it be like Madame Tussauds creepy.
I've
shit.
only looked at 3 profiles. 2 of them have had dudes in bed with their dog.
Yeah, no, this one does too.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Oh
Okay.
fucking Christ!
They all do.
I'm really gonna change the game when I have a picture of me and my cat in bed.
Yeah, switch it up.
What you're telling is like, hey ladies, here's me and my
Yeah.
pussy.
Hey.
Cats.
Yeah.
X out because I like you.
Okay, you
okay.
guys want to roast my profile? You can always roast
No,
my
no, no, no,
profile.
no.
No, we'll save that for next when you're creating mine. I can be like, oh wait.
Okay, so he starts off with life goal of mine to own my own business.
Not bad.
Safe,
Decent.
easy answer.
Yeah,
It's a
easy.
safe question, easy answer. There's nothing you could read one way or the other.
Harmless, yeah. Non-threatening.
Let's see.
My own murder business.
2 decidedly different looks in the pictures. There's 3 pictures, 2 of them, 2 decidedly different looks. One with the beard and hair, one nothing.
Yeah.
All shaved off. So so like a before and after. You can see
but
a
that-
before
so
and
he
after.
went
that
from
one
the
looks-
Hound to Lord Viserys, like real
Kind
quickly.
of. Yes.
Well, no, it looks like he was younger.
Well, this
and
no,
then-
this is yeah. Well,
Oh, is this a different guy?
different guy. No,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's already,
Oh,
after the
okay.
weird picture guy. We already.
Oh, he's like flying through these profiles.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Oh,
this, fuck that.
Okay,
Nope.
we'll get along if you're goal-oriented, self-motivated, blunt. Okay, that's coming back to like I would like somebody with an opinion,
Yeah.
honest, still saying that.
But I don't want them to push back or have like any firm beliefs of their own.
Speak well, no. So speak. Well, no. Speak sarcasm and ends with respect yourself. So they're saying it, but will they follow through with it? That's
My
the
thing
question.
too is like if you say like okay, if you say like oh I'm an
Forearm
empath, you're probably
tattoos.
fucking not. If you say that, I don't know. Maybe that's my.
It's kind of people
this
saying-
You don't
this
say it, you
person,
do
Yeah.
it, you know?
this person's.
I'm so humble.
is
that
at
kind of
least
thing.
has
Be humble.
consistent message.
I'm not humble.
Sit down, be humble. So this guy's
Jerry's got a rap career coming on next.
this guy is at least consistent with his story and his act. So the key to making me laugh is keeping a straight face while you say something dark and controversial.
Okay,
I should
deadpan.
wonder.
Yeah,
I should
fine.
wonder if it's a joke or if you're serious. Good luck. So
Yeah,
he's
that's okay.
it's a consistent story. This person has been consistent.
Is he busted?
I don't. This is the thing. It's like I don't know what women find attractive because I see what I see people.
How tall is
I
he?
didn't. I skipped over that.
How
one.
tall is he?
I think that's a possible.
Yeah,
but
if
nope,
he's 6'2" and
you're not
above,
interested
he's
in
in.
that. He does have the arm tattoos.
I'm down for tattoos and all that. 6 foot. I don't know.
It's see that's where it's because there's some guys who are like, oh yeah, this is like.
No, I'm just gonna X on
Do
that.
I
no, I
want
wouldn't think so.
my vitals?
The first picture
we're
is
gonna
like
create my Hinge profile.
is the crew. I don't even know if this is a chick's profile
We're gonna
because
go
there's a chick in the middle.
No, we're gonna go ahead and create my Hinge profile. Do I want kids, or should I prefer not to say?
I don't fucking say.
Family plans.
I just say I don't have
fucking
kids.
know, dude.
Okay, again, we don't know which one of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm
is.
saying. I don't know if it's a chick profile or not.
So the my mantra
Job.
is embrace
Hold
everything.
on, time out. My job's gonna be podcaster. No, we're doing
Okay,
this.
so it's the dude.
You're
on
like-
the
Are you
left.
really creating
I'm
one?
creating a Hinge
Are you,
profile. right now.
wait, are you creating a fake one or a real
Oh
one?
no,
No, this
because
would
I
be
don't
very
think we'll
much
have
real.
enough time to finish it because it's 5.
Education
So we're
school.
3,
School
4.
of Hard Knocks.
Like everybody else.
Like everyone's
Hogwarts.
Of the shit getting kicked out
I
of me.
hate people that say that shit.
Hogwarts?
No,
That's
yes.
Hogwarts.
Yeah,
Oh my god. So he's a bro, and
Yes.
he's brotastic.
No, literally,
You'll-
you need
you'll-
to look at this picture.
Bro.
That's the second bro pic I've seen, and I've only
Of 3 pictures. That's the second.
Oh, Lord have mercy on me.
The
Your algorithms blow
you know
Hinge.
I like you if I come back from the bathroom during the first date.
Should I say I'm an atheist or agnostic?
You
Religious
know I
belief.
like you if I'm not a complete prick and
Prefer
like,
not to
walk
say-
out on you.
So
Back-to-back shirtless
you actually give a
pictures,
shit
one
about
with a beard.
religious belief. Does that matter to you?
I have mine set to either spiritual, other agnostic
typically-
or
I-
atheist,
I would put
and
atheist.
I say it as like it's a firm,
Yeah,
like limit. Like I don't want to date somebody who's
Politics.
my-
Does that matter too? I'm like,
No, well, everything in my mind, everything should matter because you're trying to find a good match for yourself.
But
So
there's
you should
only
be
so
as
much you wanna
blunt or
put-
honest.
put
I
out
don't want
there.
someone with. I don't want someone. Typically, for me, I don't want someone with the same beliefs as me with everything. You know what I mean? Like,
That was-
I
and
have
that's
my
why-
own fucking opinions.
And he looks like a fucking dentist.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I prefer someone. Just, does he really?
There's an interesting story.
Go
Drinking,
to
yes.
karaoke song S.O.B.
Yeah, well,
by
if that's
Nathaniel
the case, you
Radcliffe
might
and the
fi-
Night Sweats.
You
At least
might
he has
find
decent
someone
music.
that's the same thing.
Decent
if you
but
put
basic
everything honest
music
or everything
choice.
blunt. Yeah, you'll find someone that
Safe
thinks
music
the same
choice.
thing.
Marijuana. Sure. I don't care. Drugs. Sure.
Okay, every picture of him, he's got alcohol in his hand or he's doing something bro-ish.
Well, and then the bear story.
I didn't even read his responses. My mantra is Yam Miss Wea, to live young at heart, mature in spirit, and wise in action.
That dude's totally not old enough to believe that.
Or to know that it's fucking
Good
horseshit.
call.
Best travel story. Me and my brother followed a bear into the woods in Yellowstone. Real smart. Awesome. Great. So genetics are really solidly
No
there.
life skills at all.
Admitted a very stupid thing to do, but
Follow
one
a bear into
Mildly
the woods.
self-aware.
You can't see this, listeners, but I'm banging my head against the microphone
I've-
profusely.
I've put my palm through my face.
Yeah, so that's what you're up against, Karl. You're welcome. It sucks. It really does. Honestly, I'm pretty much given up on it. My phone. It's to the point that my phone reminds me I haven't looked at it in forever, and purposely goes.
So, John, you're
you
building
might
on
really
what
like
No,
this person.
what's actually
Which
spurred this
platform?
on is
I'm on Hinge now. I'm creating a profile on Hinge. As
Hold
we
on.
speak.
So we're not gonna have enough time to finish it. So you finish this,
I will.
and then next week
We'll talk about
we'll
it.
see.
we'll see the results.
See who pops up on there or what we want to do with this.
Yeah, it will be a great idea for next week. So,
And
Carl.
then, wait, Karl,
we
your
will actually-
homework is to actually create yours.
No,
and
we're
that
not-
way we can-
I'm going to
no.
create my Hinge today, tomorrow. I'm going to have y'all judge it next
Carl,
week.
Okay.
between now and next week, you have to find a way to get pictures.
That's the thing. I've never taken a selfie
You've got
ever
a week,
before in
a
my
week
life.
to figure
You
this
all
out.
learned today, boy.
Yeah. So no, what I was thinking about doing actually while we were talking about it was like, I bet there's like a Google
You
search
take
I can
a-
look like
you want to take
how
a
to
picture
take
of me
a
on
good
the podcast?
good picture.
So would you judge me if I had a photo of my progress? Like, ooh, here's me fat. Here's me a little bit slightly skinnier.
Yes.
You got to
Done and done.
You
Put
show,
it
That's
up.
a
you show
bro
truth.
fucking thing.
Done. I am a bro. I'm
Yeah,
really
but
a bro.
they should know what they're getting
I don't want
into.
Yeah,
to
they
put
need to
my-
know.
Yeah,
Does
they
it?
need to
I'm
know.
a firm believer, like, the past, yeah, it matters, but it doesn't fucking matter.
Everybody's
It's-
totally
like,
lying when
it's-
they say that.
Yeah, no. that
when
matters.
when it's a body
Okay, well,
type
I'm-
specific. No. When it's body type
Body type
specific.
Yeah.
When it's like,
It's not gonna matter
what's the
now.
range?
Yeah.
Is this Luke Hemsworth or is this Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, I don't
Exactly,
know.
it
Last year
matters,
I was
so I'm sorry.
160
Well, no.
pounds. I
To
don't
her
know.
point. I'm thinking what she's saying is like, I don't care if they were heavy in the past.
They're not heavy now.
They're not heavy now.
And they put in the work to not be heavy now. So cool, it doesn't matter.
I'm
putting it in my profile, work in progress.
That's totally a Gross Point Plank reference.
Thank you.
Do you have your handle of vodka in it? Because that would just be the crew de table, bro.
Especially that one.
Especially
that one.
The broish gallon of water you've ever seen.
It's not even a milk jug. It's a purposely brittle mini Brita bottle.
It's like it's a 1 gallon water cooler bottle.
It's BPA free. Thank you very much. So.
Thank you for being environmentally friendly and anti-carcinogen.
Huh? Oh, go ahead and close it out. Well, guys, thank you for listening. I'm not even sure how I'm going to break this down by chapter, but it'll be fun to edit this one.
Definitely put this in an episode.
Well, now we have a dating.
I know.
There's a recurring segment.
Which is going to become a recurring, because now, wait, I'm going to go on my first ever date using one of these fucking apps.
I feel like I just created
I'm going
to
recreate my Bumble, I'm going to recreate my Tinder, and I'm going to recreate my Hinge, because I deleted all these apps about 4 months ago.
Okay, so you're not.
So I'm
going to
recreate.
I'm
deleting the old ones.
Hints or help on creating this.
Wait, why can't I have
picture hit? So
because it has to be
picture help.
Picture
help.
Picture help.
I'm going to teach Karl how to make a selfie.
I
can't.
There's Apple tutorials online. You don't need John's help.
I just think it's the
you don't
most
want my help. I don't like using these apps.
You should drag him to the gym just so he can take a mirror selfie.
Here's the deal about these gyms. Hold on, wait, the gyms. Wow. Here's the deal about these apps. I don't like using dating apps because I think you're getting all the bullshit. You don't get any substance at all out of this.
That's why you go on a date and tear it out.
You literally don't. Like even the shit. I'm sure. Hold on. Time out. Even the shit. I'm sure these guys are spewing at you is all bullshit. Like all of it.
But that's dating in the first. Anyways.
No.
Everyone puts on their best.
Everyone say their goodbyes. Karl, say your goodbye.
Bye.
As he learns to take a picture of himself.
As he takes a selfie. Goodbye, guys. This has been Rachel Lauren signing off. Your lavender-haired potty mouth.
That's a really good sign off.
You're welcome.
All right, producer man.
And she's only done this twice, and she has a sign off.
And I don't even have one yet. I don't even have a sign off or an opening yet. So whatever. Karl, you have anything to say?
I don't want to follow that.
No.
I'm sorry. Did I just upstage you?
God damn it, Jerry. Do you have anything to say?
And we're out.